No one. Oh, that is not good. These ultimates are not it. They're not getting the impact that Brad was hoping for, and Nightmare gets to stabilize off their invisible boundary and block any line of sight from an exterior Hela. Brad, though, are on the point. They've gathered a first take. It's Nightmare that has to retake.
Good morning.
Chime into this fight.
Okay.
2 elimination. Kraken impacted. He's doing the Lord's work. With the Eye of Agamotto, though, from Luca, did disrupt Rad for a moment, but Nightmare could not capitalize off such a beautiful ultimate. It is overtime, though. Rad should be able to cap unless there's a strange ultimate, but I don't, or a strange teleport. I don't think that's going to happen. Rad, those signs of life.
Yeah, wow. Honestly, Chime just putting the team on the back there, making sure they get that cap. Unfortunately, Luca was the last to die, so they had no portal to go back and try to contest at that point. Able to just kind of fall because there's not much they could do past that. And the Agamotto coming out late to stall a little bit, but the team too far behind. Chime there, very well bit, but the team too far behind. Chime there, very well done. This just showcases Bucky and what he does in Marvel Rivals. Such a freaky threat of a hero.
Oh, that is gross manually, but Melina does get resurrected back up. The power of the Baser Rocket Raccoon and a damage boost available once he's ready to pop that ult. But Melina needs heals a bit quicker because another shot from Manually, that could be it. And look at this, guys. Giga Chat in the backline. What takes an L to Melina? Take a seat, brother. But Rad will not give up this fight. The Eye of Agamotto from Connie does catch a stun. It was booked away by Pizza Demon, and it could have been even deadlier from Connie. He will be neutralized. This Nightmare have to take a step back, only having 1 Vanguard up. They'll have respawns, but they have time to wait.
The ult usage just all over the place. Much better eye from Connie. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize fully on that. Want to see Nightmare come back together, get their ults back, and actually make a bit more use of it, as we saw from what we didn't see from the first point there. Now we have Chime trying to go around, going to get rid of the res beacon and potentially sniping that rocket as well. We have Spinny trying to protect Manually, trying to get the pick. Spinny, though, gets it instead and takes down the K member in Kindred.
Meteor M from Major. Abs with the copy, needs help support the team, and this is a power position though from Melina and the invisible boundary from Pizza. This is some safe space for Nightmare, but they're getting pushed out of their own invisible woman ultimate. This is insane. Probably thanks to Abs, the Goddess of Death, and the Galactic Legend from Chime. I don't know, but Rad are surely able to capture these last few meters. But here's the Vanguard stepping up. The damage boost from Baser and Nightmare, but they get hit by a rock, and that's gonna hurt in the morning. But who will get the last capture? It's 25 seconds, and Rad, this is their last chance. They can't afford the reset, and the last clap into Spenny from the Goddess of Death with love. XOXO, we say goodbye to Rad unless they can race back in time with 10 seconds left.
Bro, I'm telling you, the Hela
there
in
was
this
so much
game
survival happening with the Goddess of Death up there. I mean, they didn't even have anything to respond to it. Here comes the portal, but Luca sniped it out, made sure to get no stranger part of this fight. They're trying to claw their way back in. The Loki Lanterns are down. They have all of their abilities gone, and Kendrick is back and ready for vengeance after that. We have Chime swapping
Punk Spider-Man.
That's gonna pick there on Melania, which is huge, but the rest does happen as well, and you can hear it in the background again. As Nightmare finishes off this match with dominance and makes it a 1-0.
Luca is
they actually won with
big
a fucking
to
raccoon.
already know that teleport was gonna come out. They had used it. It was on or off cooldown, and getting that Doctor Strange so low, that is just one of the
surely the Hela is the
the
MVP.
power of being able to play around your health and your shield.
Kendrick.
Next level teamwork.
Bro, I was watching the match.
And friends going all the way with such
Commentator
a healthy
goes
timing
like,
to putting a stop at.
the Kendrick goes like again, and the commentator says,
from Rad, they had invested
here we have
so
Kendrick
much,
saying, hey
but
Drake.
as soon as they would put invisible boundary down, there was so much more of a response
on my
from the
boy
other side, probably from Abs and Spenny, who set up their own strategist ultimates to counter Pizza Demon and Baser. And of course, the resurrects from Baser on the Rocket Raccoon meant that the long game favored Nightmare the whole time.
Yeah, that was really Nightmare's game. They had everything rolling for them. Shime did have that one response, which was nice, but my goodness, just an absolute dominant performance is exactly what you want to see when you get into your first taste here of the elimination rounds and you see what happens when teams do have their back against the wall. And I've got to say, Azor has done great as that fill-in for Mace there, doing a solid job on the Magneto.
It was this
and
guy,
Luca, just
Cozy.
incredible
Bro
strength as well,
said
even with
hit
Venom
it.
gone. Great Vanguard play we've seen.
This has been a great first match. Nightmare take map number 1, but Rad Esports will have our map pick coming up next. And can they put a stop to this bad dream? Well, we'll find out after this.
Like dog. Well, this is actually game changing. The infinite ammo. Holy Kendrick. It's insane. So I think when Bucky ultimate uses ultimate, the crazy part is the fucking team can help you get again. I mean again. Pun intended. No pun intended. No pun intended. Bro, I just woke up. I can't speak. When is the main one? Motherfucker, get me copyrighted. When is this? 50 minutes, 1 hour? 2 hours. This is the main match. 21 hours. This is 2 hours. Yo, let's. What else? No world. Let's see what we have for world today. They have EAM. Oh shit. I might be confused there. This. No. There's M, there's E, there's A. Okay. There's M, there's E, there's A. How about there's M, there's E. The E is M. Fuck on. I'm just trying. So the M is not here, the M is not here, the M is not here. The M is. Oh, wait, what? Could be somewhere middle. M has to be in the middle. Like smack smur. Ah, bro, I'm so dumb. I just checked. There's no R, bro. See, my brain is. There is no S. A-M-E. Okay, there is a. E is not here. E is not here. E is not here. Has to be here. No, has to be at the last. AM. I. It's something like this. AM. AM. I. RE. AM. Something with AM. Let me do the speed up thing. AM. No, AM. E, no, E. AM. I. We should have checked an I. EMO. Amble. I didn't even know there's a word called album. What does amble mean? What the fuck, man? How am I supposed to know that? Yo. I have to do the glitch again. I don't think.
It's time for Rad to wake up. Okay, this is not very Rad. This is not very cash money. You're down 0-1 in the series in an elimination match because we got a best of 5. Shroud were up in the series.
I can't expect Rad to wake up when I have to wake up.
This keeps up. I mean, Rad's gonna have nightmares of Kendrick and of what we saw from Linear and her hella play. He's doing a great job.
Okay.
Invisible Woman, just having that shield up, always kind of a underrated
How
strat with Invisible Woman is
was
you just can't get to the snipers, and it allows them to get the 2 taps. We saw that often. This went according to plan perfectly for what Nightmare wanted out of it, and I gotta highlight Luca is a fantastic Strange. We highlight TTK, we've highlighted some of the other Stranges in this Invitational. My gosh, Luca, good job.
Yeah, and to be versatile on even the Venom, that got banned out this last match, and to show us that Nightmare have the better Vanguard
I
setup,
think Rad's
and
winning this.
to really temper that
joking.
aggression, but to also have the,
I mean,
the trust
Nightmare's
into the
winning this.
Baser with the Rocket Raccoon allowed the
Just
rebounds
because
to come
of
through, Nightmare to
Raccoon.
keep pacing up,
Fucking
tempoing up,
Raccoon, man.
and Pizza Demon, like you said, providing so much to the team, but mainly trading invisible boundaries so that Rad Esports never had an advantage ever. And Nightmare is just kind of non-stop, and to force Rad Esports all the way to an overtime cap, and I think it's all thanks to Chime, who I think had an ace on his crack and impact to even allow Rad Esports to get to that point. There's definitely some silver linings, there's some high points to Rad Esports, but still didn't end up winning.
Yeah, I mean, Bucky, he just snowballs so quickly. We saw it there. I mean, Millennia had awesome eliminations as hella, but then just Kendrick being able to clean up. And same with Chime. I mean, Chime did literally save that from being
I'm just waiting for him to say that Drake thing.
What's tough, though, is because of how well Kendrick is playing, it doesn't matter that they have Loki. And Abs, you know, great. Loki's a fantastic hero, but with Bucky, it just allows him to do that snowball thing even more. And we're going to see what they pick here for the map to counter. Again, loser gets to counter. Are they going to go with domination? What do you think Rad feels confident in?
Well, I got cheats.
They need Raccoon.
Cheats,
They
bro.
need
X-ray
to
vision.
ban Raccoon.
We got Midtown Convoy. I could have had a big brain, but
Fucking
if I have a cheat
Raccoon.
sheet, I'm just going to go with that. But Midtown Convoy picked by Rad. Looking through their matches, they did have this Midtown scuffle against Envy, and that was pretty close. They did end up losing that, but this is where Rad brought out the Punisher Rocket team up. So did Nightmare
really?
do their homework? We'll see if that gets affected.
We've seen some great matchups on Midtown here. Like, Midtown has been probably my favorite map to watch here competitively. Just great play all around. I mean, we've seen Clutch, Strange,
Midtown
Portal,
is,
shut down and honestly eliminate Dreams. And again, I want to highlight
Herbie
Azor
map,
doing
right?
just a great job to fill in, because we saw that Team Shroudex had to have a fill in as well. And Mace is not just a simple player to fill. The guy, again, is multi-faceted, can do a lot here. Now, do we see the exact same thing from Rad? Are they going to ban something a little bit different this time around? What do you look at when Rad is looking at Nightmare? who do you even get rid of to slow down that matchup? Is
Probably
it Strange?
fucking
What do
Hela,
they do?
bro. Their Hela is so crazy.
It depends. I think Rad have fires in their own camp to worry about, which is just the rotations, which
Snow.
are very tough on the Spider Islands that we had. Midtown
Venom?
Convoy ban picks going
Fucking
through.
Strange.
And we
Why?
have the Strange being
Ban
taken
Venom,
out from
bro.
Rad. Yeah, that was tough for Connie to deal with. He did have a great Eye of Agamotto block, but other than that, that was a tough mirror.
We
I'm shocked. I
saved
kind of just
Ray.
threw that up there. I
Rude.
didn't think they were going to actually go with the Strange ban, but it just goes to show you how good Luca was and just dominant force and really just completely getting the advantage on Eye of Agamotto and everything in between.
I told you,
looking
ban
at, in
Venom,
return, the
bro.
Groot is
These
gonna be saved,
dumbass
and
people,
Venom
Rad
in
Esports, you deserve to
response
lose.
to it, Venom for the save. This is going to be a potential dive matchup. Typically, you like to see Magneto and Venom together. Nightmare could have a strat going on there. As they look at their last ban here,
Okay.
and Nightmare going and getting rid
Nightmare
of
ban
Hela.
Hela?
Millennia, obviously very
Isn't
good Hela,
Manelia fucking
but
insane
is
Hela?
going to get rid of it. They don't want to deal with
He's a
Mandalay,
good-
who did do a
he's
good
a good
job as
Star
well.
Lord
No
too.
Goddess of Death this time around. This is a very different look here.
Very different.
Oh, they
Just
ban.
give
Oh,
yourself,
did they
the
ban
win con of those
Adam,
outlaw
so they can't have the
isolations,
res
No Adam
thing.
Warlock, no Resurrect Business, because we've seen a lot of Chime Star Lord.
No
so
way we
far,
get
but
another
he's a
Raccoon.
flex. And we'll see going
They don't
forward.
go Punisher?
Millennia forced off the
And
Hela.
Raccoon?
We'll see if this matchup will be a little more even.
I mean, we got a
Bro,
Luca
go
on
Punisher.
Penny Parker, which I believe we saw light
Go
play
Punisher, I'm
on
telling you,
not
Rad.
offense, but defense, so who knows if that's even the full lineup that
If
we're
Rad
gonna
goes
see.
Punisher
Now we do
and
have Rad defending first.
Rocket,
and they're
they win.
not going anything too crazy from what we've seen from them. Obviously,
Wait,
the group
was-
play
why
out is
was
going to stay there.
this caster
on
talking
the
about
Loki.
domination? This is not
Are we seeing a
domination.
tease here, or are we going to get the
Dumbass.
Venom and Penny Parker team up from Nightmare?
I'm a Penny Parker enjoyer. I'm sorry.
of course
Don't
you
avoid
are.
me yet. Don't avoid me
Okay.
yet. Hear me out.
I'm
If
just
you
kidding.
can master the Penny
I should have
Parker,
said that.
there's just gonna be a no
But of
fun
course,
zone
this
for
girl
you.
is a
But I'm
Penny
gonna focus
Parker
on the defense
enjoyer.
first. Everyone trolls on the offense. So having the Star Lord Bucky got the pulls, not only just one. How about 2 pulls with the Invisible Woman?
Penny
as
Parker is
well?
so annoying.
So I was hoping to see some
The
Punisher
grab
action from Rad.
is
There's
so
always
insane.
a chance on the second half,
I said it.
guess, but Rad will begin on our defense very
You can
soon.
grab,
They
like,
got the
every
high
second.
ground. That's going to be the power
This is
position to
actually
fight for
insane.
first for Nightmare.
Now Luca gonna flex into that
I
Venom
told
role.
you,
was
ban
playing Doctor
Venom,
Strange,
bro.
now gonna go a
Lucas
little bit
Venom is
more
really
divey.
nice.
Azor gonna look to bubble him to put a
But
lot
they
of
don't
pressure
listen
at
to
Chime,
me.
trying to make sure to
Just
slow
because they
down
are pro
Luca
players.
right away, spots him from a distance, making sure that Venom the symbiote has 0 place in this matchup. As they are both on the high ground here. Chime though getting a little poke damage from the back. Beautiful for great poke damage and building up. Trying to build up that ultimate for both himself and the
Wait,
strategist.
did I just see 3 Loki clones in
So
a?
far, so good. Good progression from Nightmare and with Luca on
In
the
a
Venom.
corner?
Good luck, strategist.
I did.
We salute you.
What is this
Good
guy doing?
luck, because this,
What-
we just
what
saw
are
how
these
much
Loki
Shroud
clones?
X, like, suffered, how much the strategist will be under fire, and Nightmare are getting non-stop space because of this harassment.
What am I
Oh,
watching?
what a pull, a 2-man pull
Nah,
at
bro,
that from
GG.
manually, not fully capitalized
GG.
on, and you see the fall back from Melina on the Star-Lord needing to keep themselves safe, but
Bro,
the
these-
wall up and the execute
Aha,
on
bro.
Connie, the double kill, and
What am I
more.
watching?
The dominoes are falling for Rad.
The MVP Vanguard play continues. Beautiful
Jeez.
close in there. And that's why we're seeing Venom even outside of a dive comp, right? We're seeing
What is
Rocket
Rad
with
doing?
him a lot, able to heal from a distance.
They don't go
That was a
Raccoon and Punisher.
beautiful use of both Vanguards playing
I don't know
both
why they
now
even
and
have a
push up.
Star-Lord.
Still gonna be another fight they're gonna have to get, but Melina does have that legend. Loki though immediately
Nah, bro.
Wowzer with the 4 going down. Nightmare getting a 4-piece easy cleanup, and they didn't even have to use much of anything.
This is so easy.
Yeah, just the damage
This is actually
boosts from
crazy.
either side, and Nightmare just hasn't stopped yet, and the bubbles have been pretty well coordinated from Azure, that substitute that has to kind of put the pieces together, and Luca who can keep diving in. This is a good recipe for Nightmare.
Yeah, this
Bro,
gonna be
what
a
is
really
Rad
big
actually
jump for
doing?
Rad
Tell
as we
me.
look at the
Okay, they
ultimate
went-
and what hit
they
your
went
voice,
Raccoon.
Kraken impact. Is it the meteor coming from above from Azor, or is it just going to be Melina and the legend making them uncomfortable? They almost want to stay inside that little rock dome. They don't want to peek their
But
heads
it's
out
too
because they
late
have
to
a
go
lot heading
Raccoon.
towards
Could
them.
have just
They need to
used
make
the
sure Nightmare
ultimate.
didn't coordinate their ultimates perfectly
And Loki
on
was
the
so
map, but we
dumb.
see them,
He had 3
being able
clones,
to
cones
alter
in a
and stagger these
clones
ultimates
in a
right away.
corner where he
Desert
could
just
he
got
could not
pulled,
heal
but he's
anybody.
brought back in.
I don't know what he was doing.
Well, Nightmare needs to take a step back. They got the ultimates, and it's Rad that tried to hold it down. The Kraken impact first from Kendrick, and the strangling prison from Len to keep Nightmare where they belong. And what a block from Connie against the Meteor M from Azure. It is the invisible boundaries though popping up, and I only see one pop up.
This is the biggest GG I've ever seen in my life.
Doing something legendary, another block from the Meteor M. Connie gets nothing, and they're being pushed to the brink. Nightmare has so much space.
Hey team!
Pressure.
Okay, wait a minute.
Oh, it's just automatic when you watch him. The turn, the burn.
No, chill, brother, chill.
Okay, not
Chill,
letting
brother.
the asylum level plays happen yet.
My gosh, he was on another map when he started that ultimate. He came from around the wall and secured the double piece. As we just talked about that snowball happening. That was great usage of the ultimates from Nightmare, but manually just making sure to put his chime hat on.
This chime should go Punisher
if
they want to win.
On his back for that defensive hold here. Now the Venom dives in immediately. Magneto bubbles.
And just focus on the Venom diving.
As we have Nightmare trying to put the aggression back on with only a couple ultimates. They're gonna have to build some things up before they get a lot of aggression.
Yeah, good toss up from Luca.
And I'm telling you, infinite ammo is actually insane.
For the ace. And Rad, the convoy is almost at the end of point B.
Even the raccoon is getting kills now.
This time bank is getting out of hand. It's 4 minutes plus for Nightmare, and Rad need to have a pushback, or this is gonna get ugly.
Yeah, my Vanguard players out there, you guys are seeing a show today. From Graceman last match to now Luca, just putting up a performance for the tanks. Phenomenal play all the way around as they're able to now build up the Galactic Legend. They've got the Kraken impact. This is going to be rough. Now, strategist-wise, we do have
and
the
they're stuck in one corner.
Spinny, but again,
yeah, why did they even go up in the first place?
No defensible. There's a lot about
I understand they want to go high ground, but all of them, even with a tank,
go for a flank, but tries to go unnoticed. This is a good CC hitting Rad, and the Kraken impact activated.
I'm telling you, bro, GG's.
Shut down by manually, and of course the Resurrects from Ads keeps Rad on their toes and with 2 legs under them. So Nightmare may just have to face their first reset, but the respawns are so close. Pizza Demon placed the invisible boundary as Rad continues to back away. Galactic Legend ready. Melania telling us a story. Given the hands too. So Rad are in trouble trying to find cover. The Vanguards have a lot of health to chew through. Kraken back from the response. On the other side, Len with the strangling prison to set up these ultimates for manually to knock them all down. But it's only 1 elimination for manually and that strangling prison. That's an investment. And I don't know if Rad are really profiting. And it's the fight back from Nightmare with the damage boost. We'll see if
he finally went Punisher, but I think it's too late.
Love it. Goodness, that invisible woman falling the shield.
Holy Kendrick. Hey, Drake.
Kendrick finishing up the kill on Connie, but there's where the res beacon comes in handy. They're going to be able to put on a little bit more pressure, trying to stop them. They don't have much to go to get
Punisher
the point.
so early, bro. I was telling him, but they don't listen. They don't listen to me.
99%, it is active. Luca can now have the health, and they can finish it off. The 1-2 combo. Here it is. No. Comes the boundary. Spinny able to pop that up.
Holy sheesh.
Right there
What?
on Nightmare.
The shots were insane.
Could have been a different result without the phenomenal ultimate play.
Manually just having a 180
Kill him.
performance too, flipping this whole game on its head, showing up on the Bucky, and even that chime Punisher swap. I said I was looking forward to seeing it from Rad, and it was at the end. Break the glass, emergency Punisher team up with the infinite ammo. This can just melt down the Vanguards, but Luca may try to dive that, put more focus
we
on
have
that
Z in
Punisher,
2 seconds,
especially
1
once it sets
second.
up as
Let's
Rad
go, play
control
together.
the high ground, and we'll stay on the convoy.
Should have waited a few seconds.
To push aggressive here because they don't have the physical ultimates to deal with all the aggression that they're about to be able to have, and they're doing just that. Nightmare just closing in. They've got the Galactic Legend to deal with. You have obviously the huge presence in.
How are we not shooting? We have unlimited ammo, but somehow we didn't shoot the Star-Lord.
Tries to get a little something going from their impact, doesn't have an impact, and that looks like it's going to be the point.
GG.
Kind of control there. 1 minute cap. They did have some pushback. They still had gas in the tank for point C, and it took a heroic effort from Manually to have to go on the flank by yourself on the Bucky. You know, there's some mobility on the guy, but
please stay this
calm.
calm.
The jetpacks that Star-Lord
It's
does.
a calm div.
Manually, I think, really impressed me there on the
Magic?
Bucky to try and
He's
have
not
some
gonna go
fight
Magic.
wins for
Yeah,
Rad,
of course.
but ultimately Nightmare knew how to distance themselves and go for the retakes, and also to play more cautiously, because when there's a Punisher, that damage can be so overwhelming, especially if that turret
Indeed, bro,
ever
it's a
comes out.
GG.
And Nightmare knew how to play that tug of war.
Yeah, this is what makes Millennia great. If they notice they have a good Hela on the other team, Millennia just
Bro,
goes
this
to
guy's
Star-Lord, and we
trying
saw
to copy
a
my
lot
name.
of play from that Star-Lord. Kind of shut out Pizza Demon and just
Kani?
tracking the legendary
More
with
like
the shields,
Kami.
keeping the Star-Lord protected in the air. Absolute legit top tier play that we see. I'm gonna have to write that one in my notebook. Nightmare looking at the stats here. Great play all around. I mean, honestly, Luca there doing a tremendous job. Having 4 final hits, love to see it. And Millennia,
Bro, how's my trick?
22-1. I mean, that is going to win you any game.
For sure. The Kraken impacts have been huge from Kendrick. Just thinking about point B and how he broke that open and was able to carry a lot of momentum. But he had like a 12-ult fight for point B. And as soon as Rad lost that, there was just not going to be retaking the final fight for B without those. So Rad have to go all the way to the end, or they will face series point against Nightmare and on the brink of elimination. Rad fight for the power position. They come well studied with a thing. They can throw some haymakers down with Connie's bubble. They have quite a sturdy front line to go through. But Luca's focus won't be on the front. It will be on the back. So keep in mind how
Where
the
are we
defense sets them
fighting?
up.
Yeah, we do see the triple C. We are seeing the Punisher, the infinite ammo will make a big difference. With
Why
Luna
is
as
defense
well.
attacking and
We've seen them
attack
swapping the thing
defensing?
before, but, you know, no Doctor
Defending,
Strange
I
to
mean.
counter this time. Just the Magneto building up ult fast though. Nightmare is able to
Oh,
really
no.
get things going and rocking and rolling
Oh,
as
no.
they're pushing it, trying to get something going with the infinite ammo. This is your time to get the damage out there, but kind of stuck inside. No,
Yes,
Chime
nice, good
does
work,
take
good
out the
work.
big helpful Luca in Venom.
And they have
that
a
was
res.
massive pick here, but the
Bro, the rocket res
res
is too
slow
OP.
down.
I fucking said it.
Lucas, but I don't think you
It's
want to
actually
be
really,
though.
really
It's definitely
OP.
harder to swing, and that extra health is already activated. And Luca
Holy
fades off into the
shit,
distance,
nice.
and Connie takes
No
advantage
heals?
of his
I mean, only
absence
one heals?
to roll through the
Rockets
rest of
healing is
Nightmare.
not enough.
And the convoy is on its way. Nightmare, though, aren't running a strange, so they won't be able to teleport back as easily. And Shime
Wait, what?
takes out the back line, and now
Did he
there
use
is
his
no shot for Nightmare
did
to have a
Kendrick use
good
his
fight. They
ultimate?
know it. They may just want to play for the choke.
In a
although Luca's
1v6?
a lot more health to play with, and Pizza Demon having the
What the
invisible boundary
fuck?
soon could be possible. And Melania slapped in the face. Chime and
What?
Rad working in tandem.
What am I
And you
watching,
got
bro? Are
the
these
random
people
meteor
dumb?
M that won't have the effect Azure was looking for. Rad though, really starting to shake up
I
Nightmare.
understand they
Yeah, Nightmare
wanted
chose keep
to
that
play
fight because they
time,
had
but
the ultimate
there was no
advantage
point of
massively,
playing
but then you
time.
see that infinite ammo land at the perfect time, allowing Chime to just help the
By the way,
balance
if someone
the bullets
doesn't know,
into that Star-Lord,
they are
and
shooting
Millennia
this,
had zero
so
effect
the
there.
map
With
changes
the Punisher,
fast.
you're not gonna live long. We've been wanting to see Triple Z in the tournament. Here we have it. It's arrived, and
So they can play
Rad
high
with the
ground.
perfect response into what was a tough defensive first matchup. Can they keep this thing going?
Actually, the
Now with Nightmare, their backs against
The
the wall.
defense
There's
is
still a
playing
lot of
high
progression
ground,
that the
not
card has to
them.
do. It actually
I don't know
Lucas
why they are
disrupting
not
it,
playing
so
card.
Rad have to
They don't
kinda
even
pick
have
their
card. Okay, now
poison,
they
and
get
both of them
card.
taste so good. The high ground though was earned from
they,
Nightmare.
they,
Try and see if they can get a pull.
they don't even
and
play high ground. It's
full
actually
damage that
fucking
Rad
dumb by
has to
that.
Be careful for the Guardian Shield has to come up to allow Shine to pop off. And the Kraken impact at the perfect
Holy
moment.
again.
Both strategist ultimates out for Nightmare, but they can't group up around it. 2 or 3 kills for Chime, and he'll even
Holy
step up.
again.
All up
Holy
in your face.
again.
Chime is loud and he's proud, and Rad depended on him to
He's
show up,
loud and he's
so
proud.
he did. Chime iced the veins, one-man army. I mean, perfect finds for that Kraken. Yes,
Chime
he
actually
snowballed,
saved
but
them.
He made it happen.
It was actually really
Massively
dumb by
there. Beautiful play from
Rad.
Chime to get this thing going even more, and that is gonna be a tough choke, very tough choke. Now they are gonna have to obviously get through yet another team fight here, and this time on defense, Nightmare having no support ults in the name. The strategist ultimates are
They
gone.
get one more
Smitty's gonna
fight.
have There's available though, and here we go, Millennia taking down
But what are we
Chime,
doing?
and that's going to set up Nightmare massively.
Yeah, Rad could only revive one of them, though. Only one of their favorite children could be part of the show. And Rad just got
GG.
way too aggressive.
Yes.
Went in solo.
What was
and lost their
fucking Chime
duels. And
doing?
that's a
You
risk
get
that
2
you
or
could take,
3
as long as
against, you
win
think
that
you're the
1v1
shit,
Nightmare,
brother?
Don't have a chance to retake. But now Rad have
Still.
lost so much wind in their sails.
Yeah, I mean, that went from just a complete momentum to stopping it on its heels. 2 minutes and 46 seconds left, and Millennia's got the legend. We've got, I mean, this is going to be tough as long as these ultimates get their value. Gotta watch out for the infinite aim open. Here comes Millennia.
Oh, steady was huge with the
Holy, he tried to snipe the Starlord.
After Luca had set up all the pins for the strike, and it just won't be enough. But no one has died yet for Rad. They get to keep moving forward. They get it by
Okay,
the Venom
unlimited
ultimate
ammo.
as Rad
For Venom,
regenerate
see, I
all
was
of that
telling
health.
you.
The damage boost
Go
from Ab
pun.
is not over yet. Here's the edge army.
Holy dunk. Go Punisher,
Double
unlimited
kills,
ammo
and
for
the Reds was
Venom.
already used. Stabilization for Nightmare and a breath of relief as they send away Rad once again.
Yeah, with a 60% pick rate, Magneto
what is
obviously
happening?
best counter to
The
Punisher, and all
FPS
those
drop.
bullets charging up the meteor, and we saw it explode right into their face there. Again, great push there, and I'm shocked at the value. We don't typically see Punisher in this top level of play all the time. In fact, one of the least picked heroes here. So it's cool to see the attempt being made, but against Magneto, it can be rough.
Yeah, it's consistent damage, but less damage per shot. We'll see. Oh, Kendrick cracking him back just off the rip. Rips his opponent apart, and the res comes through. But I don't know if you want to be part of this. Put me back in my grave, says Rad. But they still have some fight.
This is insane, bro. We actually lost one fight, and we lose everything.
And Nightmare are still holding the space because they blocked up the line of sight because of an invisible boundary from Pizza Demon. He has been critical at stalling things out, stunting
finally
the
pushing.
aggression from Rad. But you got the damage boost from Rad. You got Chime up next as the MVP. Kendrick knows he has to catch up. The couple of shots manually reacts. He gets into cover and healed back up. That could have been dangerous.
Don't let the Bucky. We did let the Bucky go.
Rad, sure
okay, we kill Venom. That's nice. It's fine if we let
Here we go. We've got
Bucky
John
go.
coming in with what we've seen been a snowball after snowball, and Kendrick trying to make a big difference.
And Chime couldn't get the resets on the Kraken impact that
Holy.
off the rip. Just so much
Holy
health out of
dung
Nightmare,
dung.
not even needing a strategist ultimate. Just stayed on their
And this
feet
is what
and
one
kicked
fight
back
one
at
fight
Rad,
can
who have
do.
25 seconds to
They
get
lost
back into
momentum
this, and
because the
Luca's already
Bucky
pushing
threw,
out. And look,
and they
along
just
with this
lost.
Star-Lord, they want to stop Rad before they even touch.
Holy
Luca
lag.
created that nightmare that Venom does, right? I mean, just completely trying to bring the aggression early. There's no strange swap, so they're going to go right through with
Strange is
8 seconds.
bad.
Let's look at Kendrick patiently waiting, patiently
Can
ready
they
to
even
get
touch?
things going with the cracking impact.
Couple of seconds.
Holy.
Kraken
Yo, yo,
has
yo,
passed
yo, yo,
out.
yo.
Those Kraken foreheads cracking Rad like an egg. And
did
they
get
get
a touch.
scrambled right back to spawn. Nightmare, the true Canyon, the masterminds of the comp.
GG.
They will go up in the series 2-0 unless there's some next level sneakers on Rad to run back
Look
there.
at
No
this bunny
strange, no
house.
teleport, and no
Bro,
hope
hello, hello,
on
hello.
this
What
map.
are these lags?
What a performance from Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, Red, they played well. They did play well, but my goodness.
No,
just
they did not
complete
play
perfect
well.
play.
Those
Luca
were
being
some
able to show it
dumbass
up with
plays.
plenty of
Can't
heroes,
even
from
lie.
Strange to Venom. Good play all around. Again, nice to see Millennia here getting the MVP. We've got a lot of Buckies today, and there's been big MVP plays from Bucky. Millennia, though, 37-3 with 28K and
37
15
and
final
3 is
hits.
insane.
Beautiful around the board. And again, the stats don't tell the full story, but they're telling us something here, Lemon.
Just Rad went for
28K
such cheeky plays.
damage.
Remember when they had such a progressive push at point
No
B,
one in
and
their
then they
team
went
had
all solo. They went
28K damage.
way too deep
Punisher
to
had
get picks
26.
so that they could
closest.
catch Nightmare off guard, and they were the ones that ate it, and it did not taste good. And Rad lost so much heat and lost so much energy and had to keep pushing and pushing, and then the Kraken impacts just. I think Kendrick and manually tried to go for
Rad
flares too. That
really
had an
threw.
impact, forced
Can't lie.
manually to have to shift back and forth on the Punisher.
They
not
had the
able to really
momentum,
set
but
up.
one
And
mistake
then
by
you saw
Bucky
kind
and
of
it's
the weakness
GG.
of Punisher. If you're not in that turret form, you don't do as much damage, and the
I'll
shot
pee
per
and
count
come.
or the damage per count per shot is a lot lower on the Punisher, but that was something special about Rad that we saw that obviously Nightmare were ready for.
Yeah, hey, listen, we saw the reverse sweep yesterday. That's a good thing about having a best of 5 scenario. It's not over. It's not over for Rad. They could definitely get things going together here. And let's go ahead and take a look back at those highlights and how that last map finished up.
fell in love with the hustle. Did it again and did it again and did it again. Again. The fuck, my alarm goes off now. Said right. Shawty's like a melody in my head. Food guesser. Oops. Did it again and did it again and did it again. It's not working. Hello. What the fuck? Leo. Let's do daily. Leo. 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 ऊपर 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 of course, you dumbass. I moved my laptop seat so it doesn't have problem getting up and it doesn't jump on my laptop or and he comes from where I put my laptop. This dumbass dog. Did it again and did it again. This is definitely ish. I mean, I can go Afghanistan, but I think it's Turkey. I've been to Turkey. Hey, hey. Oh shit. Wait, what? What did I do? Sour cream, France, Belgium. It is Europe. Could be Nordic. No. A soup, sorrel soup. What the fuck is sorrel? I don't know. Spain, can't be Spain. I don't know, man. Let's just fucking guess. Germany, borders. Ah, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck is this? Spain? It looked like Spain. But what the fuck was that? What language is this? Swedish? No, that's not Swedish. I don't know. Maybe Asia. No. Not Europe. Oh, I already guess. Maybe South Nigeria. Australia was so far away. Well, Australia, what the fuck is that food? Oh, this is a pie? Wait. I have to get it right now. Is this a pie? Colombia. No. Asia? No. Can't be Muslim because it has pork. Oh, Spain? No. I don't know. USA. Canada. Canada, what the fuck, man? Oh, shit. Can people speak French too? Should have known. Oh, this looks. Oh, this has to be Korean, bro. Really? Looks like Finnish. I just saw the crackers. Can't lie. Maybe somewhere China. No, South America. No, South America. I would go for Peru. No. How am I so bad at this? Burgu. Germany. United States. What? Chinese, Japanese. And they did again.
Map, and yeah, I think they're a unique team where their identity has been around the Punisher, the Rocket combo, as you pointed out, the team up that's so strong. It's strong in your ranked games, not as much in pro play because less damage per shot. It takes a lot more to dwindle down, and with how on top these strategists are, it takes a lot more to kill from the Punisher or to eliminate from the Punisher. And then the Punisher ultimate's countered by just a simple invisible boundary that blocks that line of sight. And it's
what is this
we can at
cast?
least talk about all.
Did you guys hear what she said? She said Punisher is not useful in
Yeah,
in
I
pro
mean,
play.
they got rid of the Doctor, but then it's like that's what's so good about Luca,
I wouldn't
right?
say
You
he's
get
not
rid of the
useful.
Venom, he goes to Doctor Strange, and we saw what he could do there in the first map. Yeah, listen, this is the highlights have been a
She
lot.
said
of
a
Bucky, but I
Punisher,
want to highlight
a Punisher ultimate can be countered by a invisible shield. What? What? Of course. Of course. A lot of ultimates can be countered by invisible shield. What am I hearing, bro?
to take negatively from them. Fantastical around.
Yeah, Pizza Demon has been having a lot on his
Lemon
plate
kiwi.
of when to use those invisible boundaries. Had a fantastic push away of the Eye of Agamotto from last map, and you never give enough love to the strategists, but the invisible boundaries to cut off sightlines. It's not just about protecting your team, but excluding all the people who are not your friends, whether it's denying lines of sights from Hellas, Star-Lords on the Galactic Legends, and it forces a difficult decision of whether the enemy team wants to use their own invisible boundary within yours to create sort of their own healing zone and to try to take the fight within yours, or if the other team wants to wait it out. And that kind of
what she just
nightmare of
said.
stopping the pacing of Rad Esports is what really killed a lot of momentum.
It's crazy just how much Rocket Raccoon play we've seen, by the way. I mean, we saw a little bit of it, and now it's like it's everywhere. And we're seeing that these, obviously Invisible Woman's been banned so much this tournament, for a reason. Those boundaries insane, the pushaways, the complete package. But I'm impressed with the Rocket Raccoon play, might I say. Now, I'm curious to see what route they go map-wise. Again, inside detail a little bit. We're going to be looking at Yggdrasil's path. And this is always a good map. There's so many huge plays and clutch points, and this is definitely going to be a potentially ending
Bucky
to this match.
Punisher would go
Yeah,
good on
and
this
that's
map
where
too.
Rad Esports ended their series against Envy, which was quite close. And we saw some Chime Bucky, some Chime Psylocke, some manually Bucky, some
Isn't it-
manually Hella with a lot
Wait,
of
what's
the
the
Mag
map?
group, but also the
100
Spenny,
Thieves versus Envy.
Loki with the Abs Luna.
Of course, we are
which all
supporting
changes
Envy, by
and
the
all
way,
depends on how
for
the pick ban goes. But a
Sinatra's
very
friends.
competitive map for Rad when they went up against Envy.
Sinatra's
While as on
and
the other
friends.
side, Nightmare won that against Envy, and it was
Imagine
good.
if
A lot of
Envy
Star-Lord,
signed
a lot
Sinatra
of
for
rocket
$1 million.
action too with the Kendrick.
I don't think Sinatra will play
Bucky,
unless
so
he gets $1 million.
I think Nightmare have a solid chance of closing out the series.
I'm interested to see if Abs does get to play Loki. I think this is a phenomenal Loki map. Just great
Yeah, this
placements,
map's
good
OP
on
for
both
Loki.
damage and healing wise, and able to hopefully have manually do Hella, and then you've got that team up to roll things. Obviously, we're going to see probably some stop to the res comp. And will we see something different ban-wise? We saw something drastically different the second match. Heading into match number 3.
The
Today,
ban
we
Luna.
start with a Luna ban, and for the team Rad, they're going with a... Oh my goodness. Rocket
No.
Raccoon.
Finally, they banned Raccoon.
No
Finally.
way. So no Punisher throws phone? What the heck, Rad? But clearly they're gonna have to pivot off of that with just, again,
You
the
say
pressure
Wolverine
that you
here?
pointed out, just the flanks that they had to watch. Just Punisher is so weak to those
Or
flanks, not
maybe
having as easy of
fucking
mobility, I should say,
tank?
because you also don't want to grapple away somewhere crazy. The group is protected though from Rad to make sure they have some dependable Vanguard to work around.
Yeah, very
Okay,
good
Venom.
group map here. Just able to completely change the game. If you're able
I
to
wouldn't
pick
say
things
this
up.
is a
And
good
we've got the
Venom map, though.
save from Nightmare. Luca, like
Wait,
the
why are
way
they
things went
banning
last
Hela?
time, and I'm
Bro,
I'm
Melina's
honestly still
Hela
shook
is
from the
so
Rocket
crazy.
Raccoon ban. Was not expecting that. This high level of play, but also Hela. So they're going with the Hela shutdown yet again. They know that Millennia, Star-Lord goes well,
No
and
dress
they would
form.
rather have manually play something else.
Oh, they actually banned
Yeah, Nightmare have
Raccoon.
liked to ban this Hela a lot. And I think with how competitive
Actually
Manually was
insane.
against Melania on the Hela in the past, I can appreciate trying to force the Star-Lord mirror. This time it'll be Chime, Manually versus Kendrick on the Bucky. That went the distance. And
shit.
kind of different Vanguard lineups. As
Mantis?
Connie has said, please ban the Strange. They did.
I don't
And
think
then you
it-
had the
that
Venom.
works.
So pick your poison. Connie would rather try the Strange, and he may just be the only Strange in the lobby. We'll see how who's gonna match him and who is walking out with what, because that extra porter means you can contest an extra time.
Yeah, you know, this is going to be tough. I thought for sure Nightmare was going to play groups, but they saved the Venom. Luca actually hovered group for a second because the difference here on this first point, being able to close out the strategists, separate them from the team, stop the heals, and put out the damage. Groot's the total package here on Yggdrasil's path.
Yeah,
So
Groot
we'll
is
see
a
kind of what they end up doing. It is, you know,
Can't
offense
lie,
they can change it
can't
up.
lie.
Defensive-wise, though, Chime, Star-Lord, we've seen this before.
Kendrick on Black Widow for the first
Very
minute or
easy map to
something.
get
Oh,
good
I think they went
Loki,
Mantis for
plays
just
from,
to
and
boost
here we go, heading into
for a
the
few
defense
seconds
on
or
Yggdrasil's path.
minutes.
Chime's already on an off angle, and he can be a glass cannon. Remember, he can easily be picked, and with a Widow being brought out just for that initial shot to see if he can snipe that one from the sky. Kendrick goes back to the tried and true, the Bucky, that neutral fight condition to pull
Okay, they went
someone either with
to
the
Loki
Invisible
and
Woman or the Bucky.
Bucky.
You got the heals from the Loki. This is a lot to get through, but
Holy
there's a
big
dive in
slam.
from Luca, and some walls come up from Len to
Big
deny
fucking
some lines
slam
of sight
from
Nightmare
Luca.
to follow up with that Venom dive, but this has been good progression, and even better pull from Pizza Demon and Kendrick to punish Len.
Wow, I mean, I just don't think they're ready for the dive here. They thought potentially that Groot was going to come into play, in a phenomenal pull from Pizza Demon. He
Man,
played
Venom,
like a
bro, I'm
demon,
telling
full
you,
on
Lucas
Invisible
Venom
Woman, pulling in, getting that secured kill, not letting
has
any
good
strategists
tech.
top them off and get the heals. And this first point, I mean, they're half asleep. They were able to get this point without any pressure or really
They
any picks at all.
couldn't do shit. Okay, they touched.
Man, it's really hard to focus when Pizza Demon's playing. And then Rad, though, they have their backs against the wall. Another fantastic pull. Connie has a health
Loki has
shield,
ultimate.
and is trying to be brought back the
Okay,
fall.
nice shields.
And the Kraken impact, though, doesn't last a whole lot longer. Kendrick
Wait, he
shut
could have
down,
got a-
manually stays sturdy, and with the invisible boundary from Spenny, stabilization is found from the Rad side as they press
Okay,
further,
good
though.
good
They
ultimates.
kind of got too greedy again. Rad could have just played within the healing. Maybe they got pulled, but Nightmare still have more fight to him.
Yeah, Red, Spinny getting up that invisible woman boundary immediately, and Azor is going to capitalize on that and punish them not having something available there. We do have
But now
the
they have
Dragon
ultimate.
Impact trying to come out and do something there. Kindred going down, trying to get back to the fight as Spider-Man. And
Can't
Spider-Man
lie,
picking up, pushing them
but
out.
this is
And
another
you're right, a little bit too
GG.
greedy there, supposedly, for Red.
Chef just bad
Yeah,
then
that's
his
been
Venom.
their
bro.
issue in the previous map.
How are they
taking
afraid
a
of his
huge gamble
range?
of these duels.
Venom's
and
more
if
OP.
they get staggers on Rad, that's gonna cook him even more. But Nightmare still have to progress, and they've built up towards Meteor M and a copy and ult
They
from
banned the
Laser.
Raccoon.
But it's Chime that has to set himself apart. This Galactic
can't
Legend
believe
needs
it.
to be huge.
Yeah, basically going to the Loki.
I mean, of course, makes sense that I really like that they banned Raccoon.
Stop the Star-Lord. Can they get, oh my goodness.
Holy block.
They did get the block. Lanterns are down. And just like that, we do
Do we
have
use
the Invisible Woman
ultimate?
ult
Yes,
going up
Loki.
with it.
Connie, our goat. What a block from that Meteor M. But the Meteor M
And he
denying
missed his
it's just a
ultimate.
rock, paper, scissors match. But Nightmare one fight away from capping B. Respawn's close from the friends from the Rad as Luca's on the hunt. Kraken Impact to respond. Manually stomps down Malenia. But there's so much health from the side of Nightmare with the regen domains
reset
up
on
from
that
the
load.
Loki. It's tough to carve through with the invulnerability as Kendrick
Holy
catches
diff.
Rad, getting greedy, getting too aggressive, and now Rad head for the hills.
Yeah, Kendrick
Loki
stopping that
copied,
snowball from
I
happening.
guess.
Manually was about to go off as Kraken Impact. He put a stop to it. He got the clone, and that was going to be dangerous. But Kendrick making that stop happen, and there we go. We've got the pump on the boundary from Pizza Demon, setting up Nightmare for success
No,
here. Can they
it's
capitalize
both
on it?
ults?
They get no
Yeah, they
hook.
both
Kendrick
use
has
ultimates.
been a hook machine with the metal arm as we've got Connie throwing down the meteor.
Bro,
in,
shouldn't Magneto
Pizza Demon,
also
that slow from the invisible boundary was everything. The pulls as well.
also eat
Rad will collect
Bucky's
what
left
they
arm
have,
every time he
and
hunts?
now the punish
And
is
then
in
you have to go to
in
spawn,
Nightmare's corner.
get a new
Not
arm.
having Malenia, this could be critical. It all depends on this Meteor M, and this is a tiny room
Holy dunk.
with too many corpses in it. The response now from the Galactic Legend. Chime will fire through. Nightmare trying to bubble away, but there's just not enough manpower from the Nightmare side to keep this
Holy-
rolling. But really, as the dust settles, Rad will have more
Sheesh.
than enough to keep the convoy stable.
Yeah, and again, they have a much shorter spawn. That was a
Malenia.
house party in that little room. There was about 10
Malenia.
people there at one point. They got
I always
one
thought
take
it's a
on
girl.
the
It's actually
Invisible
not a
Woman, which I
girl.
thought was going to really help him. You know, at that point,
Malenia
I thought
is a
Invisible
boy.
Woman was going to stay indoors, right?
Maybe.
Because Magneto
Who
ult,
knows?
that's not something you want to see face to face. Connie now trying to
He
get over
sounds
his
like a
paintball that
fucking
is
boy
in
to
their
me.
way, and they're taking the fight to him. Lynn has an ultimate to set up clobbering time, but there is the
What?
Kraken Impact.
That bubble was
Shields?
that save Chime after he got pulled in. Kraken Impact from the offense. Invisible boundary from Spenny to block that away. This gave Chime an edge to hunt down Malenia, who didn't get the
Good
same
push,
love.
good
And
push.
charging in Haymakers, Len against the Magneto and the Guardian
Good
Shield.
ult.
The Guardians.
Okay,
I was gonna
ult.
save the Galaxy. There's not too many of them
Not
on
good
Rad's
ult.
side, but
Okay,
they
okay,
really
ult.
are ruling the Galaxy as Nightmare try to clap back. And so they do. Malenia's on
I don't
the
think that
field.
was
You gotta
necessary.
worry if you're Rad, and they
I
try to
actually
keep
don't think
themselves
that was
safe, as
necessary.
that's an
We
invisible
might have
boundary
just
from
threw.
Spenny. Now that that's
Why did
expired,
we use that
Malenia wants to
ultimate?
push
I
his
don't
luck.
know.
And how lucky or Rad feeling. They barely
Maybe
have
he
any space
copied
to work with.
already?
It's all up to Len to hold down this real estate.
Yeah, Malenia just getting a huge clutch fix here, really setting them up. Manually going in, trying to get this Kraken Impact to get something going, and you've got the Invisible Woman to help as well. He's just even keeping them alive. Now we've got Luca.
We have Star-Lord ult, and we have no defense ult. We had a healer down, by the way.
Malenia continuing
Rad,
to
I
put on
mean.
that pressure and has that Galactic Legend to
I'm
go
talking as a
alongside the
defensive
Kraken Impact.
perspective.
This is gonna be super tough.
I'll always talk as a defensive perspective.
Rad are just trying to stabilize. They're not trying to be aggressive. They tempered it well. And Connie fights back. But Nightmare are in trouble. It's all up to Malenia to tilt the scales back in their favor. But White Chime's on the flank. He's after the Loki. So many doppelgangers. Good bubbles come out of Nightmare. But how much can Chime do? Oh, it's
what
quite
are-
an impact. And Nightmare have nothing left
Whoa,
in the
bro,
tank.
what's wrong with
14
this
seconds left, and they need to get back on the convoy.
We didn't have to use that ultimate.
Chime getting that elimination on the Loki
I mean,
was
it's
massive,
okay,
getting
never
the-
mind.
getting the
It's
right
only
one.
zero.
They're gonna
I
be able to
didn't
come
see
in
the
here.
time.
We're gonna have our last fight as Luca dives in early, Lemon.
Let
Yeah, just
let
the
Loki
overtime
heal.
Wick started a
Only
lot
let
to
Loki
burn
heal.
through, and Luca can't get the extra health. The pull control, the execute manually. He's the man. And then you got emergency Spider-Man. That's when you know Nightmare are in trouble.
Imagine if Nightmare win this.
The backflip to dodge. If you
Okay,
can dodge
nice,
a
good
wrench,
ult.
you can dodge a meteor. And it's Nightmare that have to come
Okay,
in
they have
clutch to
ultimate
pass
too.
the convoy to go into the territory.
Holy.
Of this haymaker, and the ult
Good
was
ult.
the thing.
Now
He
that's a
does
good ult.
things, and Nightmare are left with
They even push
nothing.
them out
Can't
of the
even cap
invis ult.
point B.
The
Good
thing
ult,
is
good ult,
doing
good ult.
things. I mean, we saw finally Lin
Thing is doing
capitalizing
things.
off that clobber
That
inside.
was a
And
nice
honestly,
one.
we've been waiting to see what Lin can do on the thing, and that was great use of not trying to get everything all at once, not trying to get a team wipe, just picking out the Magneto, picking out the supports. Awesome play. And Chime, I gotta say, Loki, you know, Star-Lord can counter Loki sometimes with the barrage on his lanterns, but all those clones can mess up the ultimate, and they did a good job, Chime, there, eliminating Baser right away, and that really helped finish that
No, I
last
think you
fight.
just aim at the player, not the clones.
Oh man, for Rad to stabilize Poi B, the fight that never ends, they were just getting rolled non-stop. And even leaving their Invisible Woman boundary, which kind of costed them point A. But man, what a response from Manually to also stop the Kraken impact from Kendrick, which would have even won the fight faster for Nightmare. This has been such a back and forth, and Rad realized we need to stop feeding.
See, this
we need to
is they are
stop just
copying
pushing non-stop, even when we
the
have
comm,
an advantage. Our
and they're
advantage
doing
is
pretty
the
well.
territory that we have at
Their
the end of
comm
point
was
B,
just
with everyone
ass.
being
I don't know
close.
what they were
Protection
doing.
of the convoy, like you pointed out, how difficult it is for the Vanguards to maneuver around it.
They should have
needed
just
to react to Luca's
copied
dives and to
every
just play
time.
a reactive
And I
style.
told you, when they
Rad
ban
shifting back to that is
Raccoon,
what
they
helped
would
them
win.
take back point
Because they
B.
were not
And
copying
what I say,
the
Abs, this is a
Raccoon.
Loki map. Abs doing a great job here from start to finish, having the MVP role right now. And when you look at it, Rad, this is the get right map. They chose this. They knew this is what they excel at. And Nightmare now on the defense, having to have a
Yeah, they had to
very tough
duplicate.
defensive job here. And we're going to be able to tell the story immediately on how this first point goes, Lemon.
Yeah, the thing is just one of the tankiest Vanguards. It's hard to mess with them. He even has a damage reduction if he wants to give a big ol' hug to a friend, but Luca has to be careful of these dives. He can be pulled in two different ways from the Bucky and the Invisible Woman. And that extra health is popped. Bubble given
Look, his
over
Bubble,
to that
Star-Lord, he is
Malinia,
actually
doing as
insane.
much damage as possible. Chime
He is
a little bit
50%
low
already.
and is going to receive some love from his strategist. Good progression so far, building up towards ultimates. Nothing standing out to me except Chime with the perfect
Never mind, he's
spin
dead.
to win, facing his opposition. And Luca can't escape, could not find a good grapple and a web swing to escape. Nightmare hope to reset.
Rad's
in time.
Invis almost
I
has
mean,
a
Chime, do it on Bucky, he'll do it on Star-Lord. We were just talking about Millennia and their use of
Rad is not
Star-Lord.
bad.
Chime
just
says,
they
hold on. Hold my
I think they
mixtape
have
as
to
he just responds
understand how the
beautifully there.
comm
And we were
works.
just talking about how Nightmare had
Not
a
this
great
comm,
job
but
on
I
the
mean
first point.
how
And then we
their
were able to tell the story.
own
Here's the
team
story.
comms
Rad,
work.
This is their map.
Because last two map they didn't play
Really
good
is.
comms
That
and they
was a
lost.
blazing fast push from Rad. A lot more
The only
contest
reason they lost last two
came
games
out of Nightmare
because of the comm.
on their offense. We'll see if Rad has an advantage on the time. It all matters on the momentum they can build.
Even the last game was
And
actually
manually with
close.
the Kraken impact and the Galactic
If they
Legend,
didn't,
he's
if
a
they
piece of
went
victory.
Punisher and Bucky
Yeah, manually here,
sooner.
trying to get a nice hook here, trying to get something going. Does miss it and pushes up.
And
slowly
the
here.
fucking-
Ultimates galore. The fireworks
we
about
use
to go off.
ultimate
Michael
there.
Bay special. Here it
Yes.
comes. Legendary popping up immediately from
Nice,
Nightmare. Able to
nice.
get really nothing. That's Chime. I mean, Chime getting the picks there. Manually going
Bro,
into Kraken impact. Here's the double duo.
aggressive.
Can they get it in this first point?
Never
Lemon?
mind.
The Invisible Woman boundary
Oh.
copy from Abs is what single-handedly stopped the Malenia
Holy shots.
Galactic Legend. What a play. And they still, guess what, have another Invisible Woman boundary. And this is the final fight. With 4 minutes, it will be popped.
NT,
and the Strangling Prison is
NT.
thrown from Luca. He gets pulled out of all the fun. Meteor M and everything in the tank as Nightmare stopped from pushing in and joining forces.
That's not a
And
diff.
Kendrick
He
gets
had
the
to use his
last
ultimate.
like
That's not a
manually
diff.
was called Drake all along.
Actually,
But Rad have an
he
uphill
wasted an
battle.
ultimate.
A few more meters to go, and Nightmare
The
have
Bucky
respawn
one,
advantage.
the Rad Bucky one.
Play here from Abs. Double
Was the
eliminations.
manually?
Yes, the
Was it
Kendrick
manually?
Bucky matchup was close, but the Kraken impact made the difference. But Connie getting the pick and the
That's
deliver
not
on
a
the sword
diff.
here, and yes, it's a much shorter walk, but able to get that pick was massive as they're able to now roll into it. Chime getting a piece as the Doctor Strange now getting right to the fight, and Pizza
With
now
the
pushed
actually
away,
rolling
getting
them.
Manual out of here, and this is going to get ugly.
This is getting ugly.
We have no
Nightmare, they
defense
just have
ult.
to live.
We do have
Just
attacking
need to
ult.
keep contesting.
Loki has ult.
Now it's getting awfully close though to the cap, and this is for a chance
They
for
have
Brad
a
to come back
Wolverine
into the
now.
series. And Shime, he's in the
They have
back
no
line, and
healing
this
now.
is terror in the eyes
Oh,
of
me,
Nightmare.
only
They're trying to
Loki.
respond with
Loki
the
is
Capture
89.
ultimate on the Wolverine of all things. It disrupts, but it does not stop
What the
Rad,
fuck happened
and
to
they are
Luca's
gone.
skin?
They're also heading towards the
Okay,
enemy
Luca
squad.
gets
That's
one.
when you know things are hectic for Rad. There's still some people lurking around, including Chime that hopes to anchor, Khan that gets
Fall back,
pulled,
brother.
Connie that gets
You have a lot
pulled
of
in.
time.
They're dangerously low, and I don't know if Rad have the strategies to keep this going. But speaking of that, Spenny will heal everybody back up with the invisible
They
boundary,
both
and
have.
Nightmare
Both
will
use
try to challenge
defense.
and do
I
the
mean,
same
both
thing
use
with their
invisible.
own ultimate. Manually waits
Loki
in with
TV.
his turn to go for the Kraken
Exact
impact.
for
Once those
defense.
strategist ultimates are gone, and Chime
Imagine they
can
lose
set it
now.
all up with an Eye of Agamotto. But this Luca Venobolt gets everyone from Rad low, but they
There's no way they lose,
tall,
right?
and the Kraken impact,
That's
and the
defensible.
block.
Bro,
A
play
short
time,
is
play
nothing
time.
from the
Just
Eye of
chill,
Agamotto.
regroup.
Survival of the fittest. I mean, they had multiple combos they could pull off there. And Chime going in.
What the fuck was that ult?
Able to land that.
Wait, why is Chime on defense? I mean, what tank?
They're trying not to capitalize on it, but Luca punishes Chime for the unfortunate miss as they did switch to the triple Vanguard, able to get things rolling. We have the invisible Spinny getting up
Okay,
the
I think
ultimate as
they
well.
win.
But Lin gets the,
Right?
the hit and the finish, not only on the Wolverine, but Luca as well.
Come on, he's 1 HP. Okay, nice shot. Holy.
Just get stunned. And
Yeah, we
I
win,
think
we
Rad
win.
have done it. They have all the eliminations. They zoned off Nightmare, but Nightmare needs to stay home.
Holy
And
shit,
they
never
got
mind,
these,
wait.
but there's a visible boundary. Wait, I was trying to hype you up. And Time's going crazy off the strange.
Never mind,
and off to
GG's.
something
Never
that
mind,
is
wait.
the Star-Lord
Wait.
to clutch up one final time.
Nah,
but it
GG.
needs to be a team.
Wait.
Needs to be an ace. And the Joker is out of the sleeve. And we have Kendrick making a
Wait,
complete
wait.
special now on the Wolverine. Slams it to Spenny. And this is a fight
Holy
that
shit,
never
actually,
ends.
wait.
With Nightmare, you think they're down for the count, but they come
Wait,
back
wait,
to
wait,
life.
wait.
Warlock is so
Wait, what?
able to swap counter. He went to the Wolverine to stop the triple Vanguard, and then Chime went back over to Star-Lord, getting good value, but Kendrick doesn't
Wait, we
need triple
regroup?
Vanguards to get his value. He was able to get
We wait
a
for
huge
Chime's
victory,
ult
and
because
now
they don't
we've
have a
got
defensive
less
ult.
than a minute
Not
here.
even,
Rad's got just
Magneto
Kraken
ult.
impact, and as for
We
Nightmare,
let
they don't
Charm
have
do
anything
all
else
the
to do.
damage.
Agamotto that's
Wait.
gonna come in clutch. This is a make it. They've got to hit this.
We
They
break
have to hit this Agamotto.
Loki clones for him.
Make it a
Or maybe
right, they're gonna
the
spend
clamps,
blocks,
not cones.
and it's up to Connie.
Holy shit,
Time
40
with
seconds.
base
Do they actually
shield,
lose?
Not as flexible as the Strange, and it's Rad stepping up. And there's been so much effort from Rad, but Nightmare, they keep coming back because of those respawns. There's
Yes.
the Galactic Legend
Break,
capitalized on
Loki
Kendrick
lamps,
with the
please.
solo, the great poke from Rad. How do you stop Chime? And there's been the invisible woman barrier.
Yeah, okay, we get the-
To try and support him, and Pizza Demon is constantly
Nice,
a
nice,
victim.
okay.
Baker is
GG.
still alive, there's still
GG,
some healing left, but
Definitely
Connie
GG.
manually is on the job. All the strategists are in
Fine, yeah,
trouble,
GG,
and
GG.
now gone completely. No healing left unless Pizza Demon has been ordered hot and ready, and I don't think it
That
is.
actually was close.
Bought themselves another
GG,
life in the
GG.
series.
Oh my goodness, that point is so hard to cap because you have to get consistent eliminations or they come right back into the fight and they know exactly how to stall the point.
Actually,
whether
the
it's Spider-Man or
choke after that
Triple
is
Vanguard.
more annoying.
Absolute wonderful play to now make the series 2-1 and stop the sweep from happening. We saw a reverse
have a
sweep
low-key
yesterday with Envy and the Sentinels. Could we see it again? Lemon?
MVP.
Rad swapping to everything with
41.
triple Vanguard.
Jesus,
We saw
insane.
some
The healing diff
Wolverine
was
from
crazy.
the other side of Kendrick, who's now somehow on the
Bro
Spider-Man
is
lane.
bro,
Hats off
bro
to
was
these
not on
strategists.
rocket and couldn't
They
heal.
deserve to have
Fucking,
pizza
I
ordered for that.
fucking hate
Whatever
rocket
they
one
need,
tricks.
give it to
He's
them,
a rocket
because
one
Pizza
trick, I'm
Demon
telling
and
you.
Phaser bought so much time for Nightmare. I almost died of old age by the time that fight actually stopped, and it all
What?
came down to finally some focus fire from Rad to access the backline of Nightmare, who were so far back as it is. They were in the back rooms, and I'm not talking about horror games. Rad, though, it was quite scary to watch how they were able to pull that off and how resilient they were at the end of the day. But this is just the, I guess, halfway point through our series.
Bro, he
Nightmare
looks like,
one away from moving on and eliminating Rad, but they still got some
the
fight left in
how do
them.
I
We'll
forgot
see you
his
guys
name?
after
The
the
Paul.
highlights.
Doesn't he look like the Paul? Oh, he doesn't. He looks like this, no? Am I? Wait, doesn't he look like this? What the fuck? Well, he actually looks like the Paul. Messi's actual bodyguard. Messi's first bodyguard. I fucking love the Paul, bro. The Wolverine book was nice. I think maybe they should have kept Wolverine. Even the Star-Lord all the time and we go food guesser again. This has to be South America or fucking Africa. Gonna get me copyrighted. Let's do Peru first. Okay, this is South America. About Colombia, no. Brazil, no. La 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 la. Bro, I don't even know more countries in South America. Nigeria, no. Wait, I went Africa. Wait, bro, I'm actually dumb. Mexico, no. I. The fuck, I got scammed. China, bro. It has to be China because I see fucking. No. Don't tell me it's Japan. Don't tell me it's Korea. What the fuck, Korea? French, German? No. USA? No. The fuck? Mooncake? Has to be China. The name said it all. Pita, Mexico. Of course, bro. Fucking Mexican food just. Fuck is this? Pig feet? Who the fuck eats pig feet? China? It's UK? Borders UK because it has sent. Borders UK. What the fuck borders UK? France? What borders UK? I don't know. Bro, who the fuck eats pig feet? Hello? Country famous for vibrant culture, heritage, and rich culinary traditions. I don't know, Iceland. Bro, what borders United Kingdom? I don't know. Borders United Kingdom. Fuck this shit. I don't care. Ireland. Bro, I was supposed to say Ireland. Whoa, listen. I was going to say Ireland because Jacksepticeye said they don't Ireland doesn't come inside United Kingdom, but I was like, he's just saying because he doesn't like being in United Kingdom. I thought, bro, no, I would have actually guessed Ireland. What am I doing? It looks like China. China. No, it's Spanish, South American. Wow, Brazil? Yeah. The fuck is this? Glass noodles, Japan or Korea? China maybe? Or maybe Vietnam? China. Have you guys seen the guy? China. Oh shit, kind of looks tasty, no? Like something. India, no? France, border France. Germany? Does Germany border France? I don't know. Italia. What the fuck borders France, bro? Spain? Yeah, I think Spain does. Well, I was in Spain. I've never heard of something like that. The fuck is this? South America. Colombia, nope. Nope, not South America. Maybe Africa? No. Borders United. Canada? Wait, Mexico? The fuck, people of Mexico? This looks like fucking European. Already South America. Let's try Europe. Germany. Nope. Colombia. Nope. Peru. Nope. United States of America. Borders. Canada. Or maybe Mexico again. Bro, what is wrong with Mexican food? This is not Mexican food. I'm getting scammed. I'm telling you.
We even saw Lynn and the Thing in crazy
Go on,
clobbering times. That was, as you would say, a doozy of a last match.
I wonder where's this from.
Nightmare went into that point B with like 4+ minutes and they kind of speed ran.
Oh
their
shit, I
offense.
wonder
then
where is
Rad,
this from?
Rad
Let me do a
had to
random
speed run
guess.
on their
Oh
offense. I
my
forgot they had the
god,
better
I am
offense, which
actually
was
right.
kinda crazy.
How did I
And they had
know?
so much time
Wow.
in point B, and it was just a fight that never ended. Really good resilience, and for Nightmare
Golgappe. What
to
did it?
keep
This
that
is
as long as it
Golgappe or
did,
it's not
but
Pani
also
Puri?
Nightmare get our
Pani Puri.
first choice
Motherfucker,
of
it's
map
called
this
Golgappe.
series,
It's
and
called
they could still win on a
Golgappe.
Our predictions could still be right. Just saying.
Yeah, we were
Golgappe, Pani Puri, क्यों खाते हो चोरी चोरी?
This one could still land, or we could end up having Rad again. Listen, with Shigagami winning, who knows what's about to happen?
You're
But
right.
I've been in that situation
Will
so
the
many
match-
times, Lemon, where you're trying to
This
get
match
the
be
last
in
point, but
another?
the spawn is right there, and then they're able to counter pick easier because they have a quicker walk. And I mean, when they went triple Vanguard, I mean, I thought that was going to be it, and then the Wolverine pick happened, and from there it just snowballed.
Snowballed, and yeah, everyone crashed
Will it be
out,
the
and
same
I guess in a good way for
stream
Rad
or
with
different?
how far they went, how long that fight lasted, because there wasn't a moment of reset. There was
It is the
just
same.
almost every hero being brought out as an emergency from both sides.
Maybe it just starts
and
after
I like
this.
that Chime finally went back to the Star-Lord after the strange shenanigans and kind of locked it
So
down
excited
with
for
the final
this match.
galactic legend, and it kind of set Rad to go after the strategists. Because a tip for everyone trying to watch this at home: just look at how many strategists, how many healers are left from both sides. That will really tell you how the fight will break down, or at least how long it'll last. Because as long as those guys are alive, especially someone like Pizza Demon, if you did not eliminate Pizza Demon, you were not winning that fight. He was too good.
Yeah, I mean, truly a demon of pizza.
What is this guy doing?
Combos like ready to go with clobber in time in the Bucky ult. Or
What is
as we
this
were
guy
talking about,
doing?
Giant
Look at him.
Motor was almost there, and then it got delayed, and they had just great counter strategist ultimates. And this is
What the
after
dog doing?
the patch that made strategist ults take a little bit longer. So just perfect use of that. Abs played a perfect Loki game.
I think bro had a
altogether,
rough
and this
night,
is going to now
rough
be,
drinking night.
in favor, technically, of Nightmare being able to pick the map, and we're going to see what they go with. Is it going to be domination for the first time? We haven't seen much.
What the
success
dog doing?
I think we got a convergence map coming up. This is gonna be super fun. And
No
if we're gonna
domination?
get our game 5, because guess what, guys? Every reverse sweep starts from an 0-2 spot. And Rad had promised me that they were gonna win 3 maps today. So I don't know. They gotta
be.
put their money
If
where their mouth
they play good
is,
comp,
'cause
they'll
this is a
win.
tough matchup
Because
to go
these
up against.
dumb.
Yeah,
I wanna
wondering
say
what we
something
see,
bad, but dumb
how
people,
Nightmare's gonna adjust here, right?
I don't know
Obviously,
what they're
confident
doing with their
having played
comp.
The first 2, do they stick Luca on that Venom? Do they
They
keep
don't
him on the
match.
Strange? What do they want to go with there? We saw the Star-Lord matchups were absolutely nuts, and Millennia having a tougher time against Chime. Chime being able to do it all. As we head in to the next one, can the reverse sweep happen? Can they make it 2-2 as we have that Rocket Raccoon ban once again limit for Rad and Luna being banned from Nightmare with the Atom save?
And what do you protect? I'm surprised this Venom
That raccoon
is it gonna
ban.
be is it gonna be protected? Is it
They're
gonna be
actually-
banned? Because that was an issue.
Bro, they're
Luca
actually
was so
beefing
scary
with
on
my
it.
boy,
It has
Raccoon.
been so important for
The
Rad.
rat.
They keep that in their arsenal. But is Venom being floated at all for Luca?
I think that Adam was like a bait a little
With
bit.
the
I
same
don't even
Adam?
know if they were gonna do a res
I think they're
comp. I
gonna-
think they just put
yeah,
Adam
they're
out there
playing
to
a res
force the
comp.
hand of the band of Mantis. Ensure
They've
that
had
can,
Mantis.
have everything they want in the Venom, and then there's that Hella band that they were waiting for. So it could have been a part of the strategy.
Yeah,
We'll
res
have to
comp
see.
is
They win,
actually
we
OP,
get to
bro.
interview
It's
and
actually
ask them.
annoying
But
to
for
play
now,
against.
Here are the bands. A lot of strategists out. Luna, Rocket, Mantis, No Go. It's gonna be a lot of Invisible Woman, Loki, and probably not Adam.
Maybe it's Bait Nightmare, one of the few teams that play that super revive comp, you know, with the Atom, the Mantis, the Star-Lord, and with how good Malenia has been on it. I think maybe the Mantis, I would gamble and try to get rid of that, but that does open up the Strange Mirror, the Venom possibility. But on defense, we'll watch to see what Nightmare will do first, because they are on the brink of advancing into our bracket to face the loser. And
Wait,
don't quote me on this.
isn't
Sentinels and
this
FlyQuest will show you the
domination?
bracket later on today. We got a ton of matches. We're eliminating 2 teams. We already said goodbye to Shroud X. We're gonna say goodbye to one of these teams here, and then we're gonna go into the final events: 100 Thieves versus Envy, Sentinels versus FlyQuest.
Yeah, listen, Malenia, you're right, has played such a good Star-Lord that they'll take just the Atom and Star-Lord. They don't even need the Mantis, and Chime did not get the ban.
Wait, they're actually playing Star-Lord and Adam?
Star-Lord, so we'll see if that comes back.
Oh, they are.
Luca as the Hulk, we haven't seen that. We'll see how
Not enough
angry
heals.
he can get. Can they get the monster to come out? Luca, tremendous player as of
But
now.
they do
And
have
here
Gamma.
comes our first bit. They're trying to break the environment early, Lemon, because that gets the wind going and everything on this map, and the little symbol you see there.
Yeah, Hulk, a lot more
TP.
selfless than Thing, you know, can give the shields to everyone. It's kind of like a death ball type. We've seen Luca bring this out on Midtown in the
Give
past,
shield to
so
everyone.
this has been in the back pocket for Nightmare for some time. So they're gonna wait to see. And having that second life as Hulk too, a lot more survivable, as Rad organized. And I worry about how kind of this went with the Spider Islands and how disjointed they look there. But man, after winning that map, I'm sure that hyped them up a lot. They are getting walled off though, so an alternate path needs to be found by Rad.
Yeah, Luca and Hulk is so much better with healing, and they got the triple heals. We saw this from Sentinels and 100 Thieves. We got the triple heals going for Nightmare, and we'll see if it pays off. A lot of supports coming manually, getting the pick though on
Look at the
base.
Adam
So
is
a
already
massive
dead.
First pick to get things going, and now trying to get that hook, but there's too much clutter in the way with the Groot walls. Now Exor's just trying to stay alive, and
They
they're
don't
honestly
have
bullying
enough
them at the
heals.
moment.
Even though
How
they
did
have
Malenia
a
get
res.
out of that? They were so low, they were isolated, and they flipped out using those iframes.
Holy.
And they get the diff against Chime. What started off as a 6v5,
Never mind. They don't need enough heals.
devolved into a big ol' L.
Kendrick is
Incredible
playing
solo heal
Invisible
potential
Women.
From Pizza Demon. We've
Woman.
highlighted him before, and they get to farm off all these eliminations to get more ult charge.
Now, Malenia just flipping the script there.
See
just
how they won?
completely able
Like,
to get,
they
what,
killed
3
Adam, but he just
eliminations by
reses.
themselves, just absolutely
Imagine 3 more
craziness
people
right in
doing
the
that.
playbook.
You
As
kill
one might
Star-Lord,
say.
he reses.
Now
You
we've
kill
got a little bit of
Mantis,
top
she
ground action, but
reses.
most of them going to be taking that main street, having to get
Or it's
back
actually
together.
cancer.
For this next battle, we do have double strategist ultimates ready for Spinny and Abs. That's going to be huge on the attack here. But we have a decent response as all of the strategists can have their ultimates alongside the Galactic Legend and Ivalgamoto. It's about to be an ultimate.
Oh, they
party.
have 3 heals. Wait, I just realized.
As Rad
Never mind.
stay
Nightmare
put
wins.
For now. An alternate angle from
They have to
Chime
go 3 heals.
push
They have to
away
match
from
3
Kendrick
heals.
As Rad build up,
They have
maybe
to.
looking for a group up 2 with the Strangling Prison with the Galactic Legend. That's gonna hurt a lot, and Nightmare keep themselves safe, and their strategist backed away. Galactic Legend first, and Spenny protects him with the invisible boundary. You don't know where these shots are coming from. Oh man, and
How
I
are
don't
we
think
not
Kendrick
killing
wants the smoke,
Invis?
but that's a full team CC from Azure with the Eye of Agamotto. And man, Rad just explode.
Wow, tremendous Eye of Agamotto and great patience from Kendrick there, not worrying about the pellets coming in from Star-Lord, and they didn't
Nah,
use
they're
anything
not
there,
getting
just the one
single.
eye and the follow-up, and that
I
is
mean, they
gonna
have
be
a lot of
massive moving
ultimates.
forward as they have their resurrection.
mean,
they can play a little bit more unsafe with
Defense
the
have
passive,
more
with the
ultimates, though.
revive there. Luca able to just
They have a
absolutely
rare
make it a nightmare for
and
these strategists going
yeah, they
in
have
with
to go
the
both.
monster
See, I'm
Hulk
telling
that
you.
decides to pop it soon.
Every time they
How
gonna
far
match,
back
they
and
will win.
How split up Nightmare play? It's so hard to find a good straight.
Nightmare is
Poison
just
and
playing
Lens
better
gonna have to
comp.
go for the critical critical pick and gets pulled in by the Invisible Woman. And this Doctor Strange is trapped. Azure will get out. Meteor M looking for the strategist.
He went for the Star-Lord.
The fly out of the sky of
Okay.
the Star-Lord and
Star-Lord when he fucking raises. Oh my god, he raised.
So stabilization, but Resurrect's coming from Nightmare. They're back to all 6, and Abs copies an ult, and there's a lot of healing from the Rad side.
Come on.
But what's important is Nightmare's Vanguards pushing those strategists and causing chaos. Abs and Spenny are in trouble, and there's not much help coming from the rest of the team. And if you can't protect your strategist, you're getting a void from me.
Yeah, Lin was playing great. That wall separation was fantastic, but unfortunately they were focusing more on that backline and not on him.
GG.
We saw Azor trying to get skinny and get past that Groot wall. All of this happening while those strategists were just suffering below. And then we saw right there, that's where the Resurrection comes in massive clutch mode, right? Because you're able to play that more aggressive nature, and from there they were able to finish it off. They got the huge hold. Let me say though, that is a very hard point to get, so I wouldn't even be shocked if this would happen as their same result for Rad.
Yeah, Nightmare.
Oh, bro.
Looking down
Match
the
3
barrel
heals, bro.
of a
What are you
win
guys
and an
doing?
advancement into the bracket. All they have to do is capture that point, and it doesn't even necessarily mean like a clean sweep team ace type of win. You just need to zone off Rad, and they are already hovering over the Thing and other Vanguards that can put up a lot of strength in the front line. And just what Nightmare's defense was so good at is constantly backing away. You couldn't have a valuable Strangling Prison if you were Rad, and Eye of Agamotto was countered by all the strategist ultimates, and Chime got to keep resurrecting. It was just really, or not Chime, Nightmare got to keep resurrecting, and the fight just never ended. You couldn't get a clean win from Rad.
I mean, coming to a theater near you is the horror movie of Groot closing in on Doctor Strange. Azor was trying so hard to get past through that wall and could not get through it, but it didn't matter. It just didn't matter at the end of it all there. Fantastic play, a little scenic view of the map here, and Chime getting a little early peek, little spy action on what they might try. And here we go, Rad setting up on top of Magneto and Groot, and it looks like they could be potentially getting together for the portal here. Yes, they are.
Yeah, and Rad can also play for the win because they did manage to get 2 ticks, so don't have to worry about the draw.
That is a
Nightmare.
nice wall.
We're going to be coming from behind with Luke on the Venom. I was worried about this slipping by in the ban pick phase, and Rad are not going to sit idly by. They're pushing in, but you also don't want to be randomly walled off by a Groot or anything. Actually, it's Rad that have the Groot, but it is the dive from Luca, tossing up the entire team, slowing them down with the grab.
But he just raises. Star-Lord just fucking raises, right?
Luca cannot get the finish. Great heals
So
as
annoying.
Melina will come back into the picture, and Nightmare can start off.
Yo, it's
with
5v6. Go, go, go. Never mind, it's 6v6 because this dumbass can just raise.
Like butter on toast.
My goodness, I mean, Lucas just almost got that Invisible Woman elimination there, and just barely being able to escape. Spinny got out of it. Luca on Venom, just a menace, low on health. You're trying to survive, get to that health pack, gets out of it, and now this sets up Nightmare to have plenty of ults. Kendrick has the
wait, they both have a
legend hit, and then of course Luca can open it up
zone.
for probably the combo with the Star-Lord here.
Use, yes.
Luca can play his life using the Venom ultimate to go underground, but just will not die. That dive alone forces out the invisible boundary from Spenny, and all Nightmare have to do is really wait it out and retaliate. But there's a Strangling Prison. Len jumps up, tries to slam into Nightmare. The meteor
Please don't die.
The damage takes care of Chime as Nightmare still are working.
Holy big dunk.
Tick, and that's all they
I want Nightmare Rad to
Play
win.
for the tie, and Nightmare are playing for the win. They're playing to advance, but Rad are still alive. The regen domains, the Loki is lurking about, and manually the Kraken Impact looking for resets after the strategist, and will get the finish.
Connie with the 2-piece on
Yeah,
the
but they have more defensive
massive
roles.
there, and great job holding on to that Bucky ultimate for the resurrection, trying to clean up here as Millennia does in fact.
They only have
Invis.
GG's, I guess.
Doesn't do much outside of Kendrick's Spider-Man. No, wait, his demon goes down. Now Millennia, hold on now.
Wait.
Yeah, I can't believe
Wait.
this is like the last map all over.
Wait.
Rad are so good at these long sustaining fights, but they focus down the last of Nightmare, who are so close to getting the only tick they need. And to correct myself from earlier, Rad are playing for the draw, not the win. And this is still an insanely difficult challenge to overcome.
Yeah, Connie hitting that double meteor was huge, and it wasn't just
how is
potentially a Vanguard.
the quality for you? It's so bad for
the
me.
strategist to really set it up, and then to have the Bucky be able to deal with the resurrection, massive there. Now, Lynn does have access to the prison here. This could be a massive setup. We don't have Kraken Impact, nothing really to follow it up, but they can at least punch the damage-wise. It's going to be high ground versus high ground here, and if you look at the ults here, there's pretty much nothing available for the offensive Nightmare here.
Yeah, Luca will see if he can force out the invisible boundary there from Spenny. Abs can copy and be as flexible as he can be. Whatever the team needs, he should.
Okay.
What
the fuck is that ultimate?
The shield cooldown was available, but the wall from Len was beautiful. You remove a Vanguard, and this may set Nightmare behind, because Luca, he can take space, but not keep it as easily with the Venom.
Yeah, stopping Magneto, that's such a big hit. And it's okay to use that Groot ultimate there because it slows them down so much with only 19 seconds left.
I don't know why they're not.
Now, barely able to escape is going to be
They do have Star-Lord.
That's what it's all about. Not using ultimates for everything. Last fight here, and we've got one Galactic Legend as the only offensive ultimate.
Man, this Venom comes in like a missile, but it's gonna need some help, and that's where the invisible boundary is forced out from Abs, who copies it to stabilize Rad, and the Meteor crashing down, not wiping away the dinosaurs quite yet, and it's the Galactic Legend from Melania to help Nightmare get the win, but it's overtime, it's the draw, or it's the win for Nightmare to advance, and it's difficult to find yourselves as Rad are trying to pitch from both sides, but they're losing the point.
They will get brutalized really fast.
And they're so close to getting it. They only need the zone, and they just are running out of.
And he somehow wasted his ult. No, he got one.
Pizza Demon. Nightmare are gonna have less strategists, less healing. As Rad, their ultimates come online with Spenny. The invisible boundary cuts off the sight lines, slows Nightmare if they approach the point. The Meteor M. One last touch from Nightmare, and. Did they get it?
The overtime was so
Wait, what happened?
The cap did not happen.
Oh my
it was
God.
one to the other. We both were frozen
Did
because
this
it was that
C9?
close of the matchup there. It's gonna be a draw.
Wait, we draw?
There was
How can a draw happen?
There was a sliver left on the overtime, and my goodness, that was pretty much what we just saw from the last matchup. We have our first draw.
Wait, what happens on a draw?
We got dual MVP as well. We're going into I guess a game 5. Holy, first we got the upset for the Shikigami match, now a draw. What resilience, neither team able to capture the defense, being able to shift to a passive style to dial
I don't know how Rad managed to do that, but they somehow did it.
Prison to take care of a Magneto. You might think, oh my god, that's not enough, that's such a throw, but you talked about how key of a pick that was and how Luca wasn't able to lead the team to success because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if it's the Venom that could get back super quickly and they can still make that fight happen, but that's what the massive difference is, I think. When you look at pro play, they know just the small thing they need to do to turn the tide of battle, and it was that right there. We said it going into it. I don't know if that's the easiest map to cap. In fact, I do know. It's very hard to get that cap, and they were able to do so. It was that close, and great kind of dodge and back and forth that we've had with them keeping a little bit on the point and then have the overtime clock work for them. Beautiful finish there from Rad to get it to be a draw.
And the series will extend with the Nightmare still having a choice of map coming up next as we go back to square one. The series is still 2-1 for Nightmare, and they're one map away from moving on. Or we're gonna have the longest series ever, because Rad, maybe they're taking something out of Shikigami's book about the slingshot theory or whatever. They need a hashtag too, but we got some highlights ready for you, so don't go anywhere.
I think this Chime did really well. I actually don't know how Nightmare lost that. Magic. Food guesser? We go food guesser again. I don't know this. It's like pancakes to me. It's like somewhere here. Which I don't know what borders. Vietnam. What borders Vietnam? Indonesia. What borders Vietnam? How am I supposed to know? United China. Where China borders Vietnam? Wait, really? No, China doesn't border Vietnam. China actually borders Vietnam. What? I never knew that. I actually never knew that. Sausages. Definitely. Oh. Wait. Oh, fuck. Let's look for hints. Can't read. South American, maybe. Colombia, no. United Kingdom was one. Wait. Germany, no. How about Belgium? No. How about France? Croatia. Okay, but this is Turkish or Azerbaijan? What? Or maybe Kyrgyzstan? What borders Turkey? Georgia? Wait, what? No. Uzbekistan? Iran. Everything's just same. The fuck? I don't know. Just random guessing. Looks like French to me, can't even lie. United Kingdom, I would have never guessed it. What the fuck am I watching? India? No. Vietnam, Korea maybe, Japan, China. Philippines. I really want to go Philippines, man. What the fuck is this? A dick? Oh, shit, I want to shit. By the way, Ireland. France. Germany. Greece. Leaves. I don't know, France. Right. Give me something I can, Lebanon, right? Okay. China. Kimchi, Korea. You see kimchi and you see Korea. You say Korea. Chanchi. Now, okay, I've never given. Bro, I hate getting one fucking. Wait, Japan. Okay, never mind. I could have. Grasshoppers? Nah, fuck this shit. Actually, fuck this shit. Let's do one. But I don't like getting one. Ooh. This has to be. China. No. Bangkok. Bangkok. Yeah, well, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Canada, what the fuck? How? Bro, really? Spaghetti Mafia, you're big girl. Shari. What? There is no way. Okay. Could be Swedish too, by the way. No. Filipino. What the fuck? What is a Filipino spaghetti, bro? Spaghetti is spaghetti and it's from Italy. Oh wait, we have Valorant too? What the fuck?
It's of their attack side. I think one of the big things.
Wait, now do we watch Valorant or do we watch Rivals? Oh shit, Valorant started a long time ago. What match? C9 versus NRG. Holy shit, I wanna watch this. Oh shit, what the fuck? Wait, I didn't know Valor was on too. Sliggy is watching.
Thing chasing the Wolverine earlier, I'll never forget that one. But yeah, it came down to a couple plays there. You know, I gotta give tip of the cap to Lin. Great group usage. The walls were different, like self-surviving, and then being able to capitalize how they did. And then Connie getting that two-piece. I don't actually think that we would be talking right now. We'd actually have the next matchup up because that was that much of a game winner. I mean, at this point, it's like, what do you change if you're Rad? What do you change if you're Nightmare? I feel like, you know, it might come down to who's more flexible and what they have, but they've been able to answer the problem, which was Luca on the first couple of maps.
Yeah, for Rad to kind of let that venom float and to just decide, well, let's not focus the venom too much because you're able, the more damage he takes, the more health he can get back with his cooldown, that they just eliminated everyone around him to go for that secondary tank of the Magneto, to go for everybody else around Luca. And Luca, though, did a fantastic job, like completing that venom role, forcing out invisible boundaries and setting up Nightmare to have less cooldowns and less ultimates on the other side to worry about.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been in those overtime with one sliver matchups, and for me at least, I go from trusting my teammates to trusting nobody. I'm like, I've got to stay on this point. I'm going to be the only one that stays here. Pro play, a little different. I'm sure they have their roles, or they're calling out who's on point, who's not. But we've seen that happen now, and I've been on the other side where I thought I won, and then I looked down, and I mean, I lost, or in this case, it was a draw.
Okay, they ball.
Map coming up
go
next,
back to
and they're
football.
Talking to their coaches, talking to themselves, and this is a team that's been through thick and thin and has built the ultimate roster. And I mean, you got insight right from Nightmare that this is an important match for them to win for the obvious reasons of.
I want to watch Valorant. Maybe after this.
On the line too.
Yeah, they look to really again. I talked with some of the higher ups at Nightmare, and they said, hey, look, you know, our roster completely swapped, and we love these new guys, and it's now their time to have their story. And I mean, they were up 2-0. It's 2-1 with the draw, but you know, they could definitely kind of stamp their way into.
What are casters yapping about, bro?
Into the lower brackets. It's still blowing my mind that this is all happening on the bottom of the bracket, and I mean, we know what's gonna come from the upper bracket elite.
Oh
play.
wait, this was the bottom. Wait, what? I'm actually fucking stupid.
If I'm Sentinels, if I'm FlyQuest, I'd be looking down and be like, man, I thought I wanted to play these guys, but they're playing great.
Which Shroud team lost?
For some reason, Rad is like watching our top of show, and we brought out the predictions, and I think we kind of poked the bear, and we made them angry, which is how many like 3-0s. I was nice. I gave Rad a map, and I could still be right. I didn't count for the draw though. But we will go
no one did, bro.
See if this 3-1 will be right, or we're gonna get our first game at 6, because that would be legendary. The map picked from Nightmare though is Hell's Heaven Domination. And if you thought that the last fights were chaos, wait till you see a domination map.
Yeah, honestly, we only saw domination once today. It was the very first battle, I believe, was Shroud X, or maybe the second. But it's been a lot of convoy, a lot of convergence. So finally, we should now see some comp switch ups. I think we're going to see how Nightmare plays and what Luca decides to do ultimately. Guys, don't go anywhere. We got our next matchup right now. Nightmare, Rad, first ban. It's an auto raccoon now, and I expect there to be the same as we've seen here from Nightmare as well. This is what tells the story, though.
In Nightmare, last time they went to this map against Sentinels, they went all the way to round 3. I was casting that.
Domination,
it was
finally.
So winnable. It was like 99 to 99%. It was the Malenia, I guess the breakout performance when we were expecting maybe like a different player, and then the substitute comes in and just breaks open faces. Malenia's Hella was insane. And if this floats, I think we could see that matchup against Manually once again, which that went pretty back and forth, but it still takes a team effort to support that, as we got the Adam Warlock protect,
which is huge on domination. That last match, they were not able to capitalize on it. Now, I love the group ban. That's just respect to Lin. They saw what Lin did last time. They're like, okay, we don't want any of that. That was honestly what shut us down. We get the Luna protect, though, happening over from Rad, which is
I don't know what's happening. Why Luna?
Honestly, a couple of potential bans here. Mantis going out yet again. Will this be a Namor ban? Could this be a Loki ban? Or do they stay the course and go with Hella?
Yeah, I think Nightmare. That's the thing. Is
now you ban Hella?
Happen
no more.
Or not? Because then, of course, Namor is super popular on this map. There are other domination duelist options. No Hella, no fun for me. I think after how that matchup went from Nightmare versus Sentinels, they realized that's just a lot of pressure to put on Malenia.
Yeah, and I mean, as we see here, there was no Namor ban, so we got Chime going for the Namor with the Luna. This is going to be interesting.
If someone
flexing over
watches
Loki,
Necros,
Abs played a great
the
game
things
there
he
on
do
path, as we saw. Not much change up we do
on the map in
you
which
you
can just pull off
switching on over as well.
This map I'm talking, not this one.
Crazy as we head into our first domination match between these two teams.
I think it's this one, yeah.
And Nightmare and
the Spider-Man
Rad
where you can pull guys, bro. I think that's too OP, this map.
And a different top dog that they have to face, as Rad, I would say, didn't have much of a challenge.
I think of one pro guy,
that's a team that no one
every team should just learn that, and whenever this map comes,
which gave us
just keep on pulling their tanks out.
To keep our eyes
that would be too OP.
And what they're gonna show up with in this bracket.
But you watch him play, and he's
reset.
every 10 seconds he's pulling someone.
And I think that's too OP. Of map. This is their playground.
Yep, Luca's going to be portaling in the team for Nightmare, and then it looks like that we're going to have the Shark try to boost them to the point. No Doctor Strange on their end.
Oh shit, they also went
no more. To hop right to it for this high ground push. And here we go, as they're going to be meeting at the top. We have Lean once again on the thing. We'll see if we get the same result.
And because of this position advantage from Nightmare, they can set up their squids and how the slows, of course, when you have the Luna involved. So Rad will have to bully their way through, but
don't let them cap for free.
To unlock, so they're going to focus on stabilizing, setting up there. Rad are coming down the stairs. You have to worry about.
So he sent them one of the turret way back.
Nah. These duelists can do, including the Namor.
We let them cap for free, bro. This quality sucks. I'm sorry. I'll change after this fight. After the first fight. How is Twitch quality worse than YouTube? This is the first time I'm seeing this. Holy shit, it's so bad.
Malenia has to stay safe and beautifully played around the pillar, but this map, this round can change a lot. It's very dynamic in the bubble for Lent.
There's no way this is actually this bad.
Ratter played so aggressive off of thing. The double shot from Manually takes care of Malenia, and Nightmare would have to turn around a 4 versus 6, which is just not going to happen.
Yeah, we've seen Lin play the thing, but the thing about domination, the thing is, I mean, that's going to be the joke always.
Okay.
Right? The thing about domination.
Now we can go.
The thing is able to get so much more value on the double shield comp because you are in their face all the time, constantly getting honestly pressure and ultimate charge up. Even with Luna ults, the thing can charge up the ultimate and get so much use out of that big AoE hit. And then when you're one-on-one, you go with the single punches. But the thing is a huge pick here. big AoE hit. And then when you're one-on-one, you go with the single punches. But the thing is a huge pick here against them.
Oh
We'll
God,
do the
choke stuffing
glitch,
already from Brad.
second fight.
Keep an eye
After
on this
this fight.
Meteor M. They are so confident.
Bro,
Connie
how
says,
is YouTube
"Let's go,
quality better?
boys."
I don't get it.
Rolling in, and it's the coffin.
Bro, this
spinning
combination is
ultimate
actually
of the
OP.
Luna. They still have abs in their back pocket. Comboed with the whale. That was deadly.
Yeah, I mean, damage boost into the Moby Dick. I mean, that was a beautiful use of just
Bro,
a
this
couple
quality
of
is
ultimates,
so
and now
much
we
better
see
than
there's still plenty to be had within it. The sprays are coming out. They feel like confident. Lemon love this. They want to make it 2-2 here, and they've got plenty to do so.
Good scouting too on the right side.
So much
Chime
better than
finding
Twitch.
out
How?
Where they're rotating from.
Twitch has
And
always
with
been
the
better,
backup, good
but how
Magneto
is Marvel
bubbles
Rivals
just to ensure Chime's life.
done
Now
this?
playing through the choke. There's gonna be some trouble. The Luna ult from Baser helps force Nightmare through the choke, and it's so
Okay,
difficult.
don't play
because
together.
The impact. You got the whale.
Bro,
You
it's
got
too
the
obvious.
look
Why
out
are we
from
playing together?
Melania. Oh, that is terrible. And Rad will not be able to keep this point any longer, but getting up to
Oh,
80% is a huge start.
Yeah, perfect
80% is
timing from
nice.
Baser there on the damage switch. I mean, that was absolute cinema, as one would say. Great job there, just getting the double piece and able to have that thing roll out. Clobber in time was
But
setting
this
up
is,
something
like,
big there, but
of
Luna,
course
or
they
the
are
Baser
damage
obviously getting
boosting.
The Luna ultimate.
I mean, of
Now
course
we
they
go
are
in, we
Luna
have an
ulting.
Eyeball
They will
Gamodo.
damage
Not a lot to
boost.
Follow it.
Why play
but
together?
Rad having Crack and Impact and Meteor M.
I understand they
definitely
also had a
stuff
Luna,
chaotic
but
battle
for
here.
like 5 seconds you can
Shields
move.
up from Connie. Moving forward, Kraken impacts is off the rip, mostly blocked in manually, drops to the low ground. He's well supported, but this did not put much of a dent
Wait, waste of
into
an again.
the armor of Nightmare. Is ready to retaliate, playing behind cover. Luca looks for an
Loki
eye
is
of
too early.
Akamoto. He is going to step forward, and the shield that has to block it is Connie, and it's a
Wow, what
double
an
hit
ult.
manually, and Connie eye of
What an ult.
Akamoto, if that's even a verb. But either way, only one is dropped from Brad.
This is the map I was
Copies
talking
the
about.
Luna ultimate, the whale, the combo blocked off by Luca. Not too much affected. Nightmare stabilizer on the invisible boundary. You got the second Luna ultimate coming out.
Okay.
Abs and
They
Baser
have a
making
will.
this a dance.
Surely we
But
play.
Luca is a critical
Okay,
vanguard to
nice,
miss
nice.
at this point. The Kraken impact as Kendrick looks for the trades, and Rad back away behind the healing of
We are
Abs that
learning.
was still sustaining them through
Okay,
the
nice.
Kraken impact. And at an angle,
No one
Melania, you
gonna
cannot
do
forget
anything
what
about
he can do. The Tridents have to deal with all the Loki
the
clones,
more?
but
Just
that's
shooting
his
you
little
guys?
game to
Hello?
play. And
Hello?
it's still Brad with the point capture and seconds
There
away
is
from
no
winning
way.
round one.
Yeah, wow, that
There
is,
is
I mean,
no way
you
Loki,
can open and you
Namor
can
is just
open.
getting free
Awesome
damage.
things happening, I mean, from that Kraken impact, not getting its damage, but there is Spinny getting a huge kill on Kendrick there as they're having to come to the point immediately.
Namor is
99%,
somehow still getting
99
free
is gone,
damage.
our overtime, and right
Now
now,
finally
Zork,
Stain
he
goes
gets
to him.
the pick with the Meteor M, and he goes
Holy
for the
dunk.
Oh my, but down, gets Spinny.
What a risk to go for the Loki, who could quickly teleport away. What a critical strategist removed. It's all up to Abs, so close to the fate of both worlds, and it's fate in Abs' hands to save this round number one, to set up Brad for a possible reverse sweep. But not if Nightmare has something to say about it. Not when Pizza Demon is ordered on the menu with a beautiful invisible boundary.
Nah, I
to
think
get real
Nightmare
estate
won
back
this.
in Nightmare's favor. It's an overtime that
Oh,
never
wait.
ends. A Loki
What?
copy with another Luna ultimate. A Eye of Akamoto from Luca that's blocked.
What?
From manually, that
did he
also
got
gets nothing.
booped?
The ultimates, the slam
Never
down
mind.
from
Nightmare
Melania
won.
drowns out some of these strategists, and now Melania locks in.
I mean, 48 seconds of Luna ult they have to deal with there. And
Holy
huge
movement.
use of the whale collapsing that. I mean, we've been saying the Michael Bay special. At this point, it's a Rad
They're
and Nightmare
still-
special
okay.
with them going in overtime over and over. But Nightmare able
GG's.
to take the win there. That could have been anybody's
for like
matchup. We went from
1
the
hour.
Kraken impact coming
Actually,
very
2
early in
hours.
that fight to
Namor
trading
was
to
just
two
getting
missed
free
whale
damage.
opportunities to finally the whale hit 48 seconds. It was ultimate. The fireworks all over the place.
Nightmare one round away, clutching up when it matters the most. To get the underdogs
For
of
like
Rad
1,
to
2
win.
hours,
We
no
will
more was
see
just getting free
how
damage.
far this series will go.
No one was
'cause
disturbed.
Rad,
Not even
they still
a
have
single
hope,
person
they
looked
still
at
have
him.
Hope. They
Hey,
know
man, there's
everyone
a
doubts
Namor.
them, and they have to beat all those expectations.
tank
down. They
had
gotta
to go
shut up the
and do
haters for
something.
good. And we could still go the distance all the way to round 3, only if Rad will it.
Yeah, we got a lot of momentum now. Nightmare got to be feeling pretty good here. Looking at the Ultimates heading into the first fight. About even, but we do have Kendrick with a Wolverine ultimate to set the battle straight away. Lynn's got the thing ultimate clobbering time to set up, but nothing really to follow, so they're going to have to build up a little bit. If I'm Nightmare, I would look to try to get things going fast here because the first cap usually ends up for the W.
Yeah, playing through these chokes is so difficult. That's how
He goes
Nightmare had a good, strong start.
Yep.
Keep an eye on these off angles, and of course the Luna team up with
Your
Namor.
number is
How
really
difficult
good.
that is with the slows produced, but it's already a clobbering time saved up, especially
Nah,
for
bro, he's
Nightmare.
getting
But
free
somehow
damage
this
again.
tosses up Nightmare, and they sustain. Kendrick goes for the Wolverine ult, but gets frozen by Abs. This only buys them time
Nice.
until Len gets back in
I
the
would say good
picture
trade.
to deal with that frozen Wolverine. And now these
No, in
Vanguards
Psylocke?
are in trouble as the invisible boundary from Pizza tries to salvage what's left of this fight from Nightmare.
Okay, I see you. Nothing to follow up on that clobbering time.
No, he
And they
went
got the
Bucky.
pick on the Winter Soldier, but Lynn taking the battle into their own hands,
Baba.
getting rid of the Wolverine now. And Azor, though, trading with the spinning. We've seen it before.
Holy
We've
dumb.
seen it again. Zhao goes both strategists by Azor. A huge sub-in today.
Nah,
Lord
bro.
Mace playing out of his mind on this last point. A tremendous use of the Meteor Imp.
Yeah, for Azure to
Someone
step
heal
up
him?
as that substitute to
They
fragging
would
out
know
of
he
his
does.
mind for Nightmare to start with that first
Fall
half.
back
Look how
TP,
extended
maybe?
Luca is playing. The Eye of Agamotto is going to be everything. And you don't have an easy counter. Like I said, that Magneto shield not as flexible, but it's all up to Connie.
Absolutely here as we have now Chime coming in with the whale. We do have the Abs and Chime special, the Namor whale boosted up, but we have it on the same side for Nightmare. So it could be who lands the whale first. And this is going to get crazy as Luca is getting a lot of poke in and distraction, slowing things down. 31% now for Nightmare. We're about to see a lot of Luna.
Okay, Nightmare has one
Whales.
ultimate
Who's gonna land
extra.
it?
Oh, he's trying to float above and levitate to get the timing of the Eye of Agamotto and gets close to the
Oh,
shot. As
shit.
the shield has been brought out from Connie. That's on cooldown. And you got the combo from the Luna plus the
Only
whale
FPS
ults,
drop.
and Chime has something to say.
Nah,
on the
bro.
response.
This is on the mod
Melania
diff.
hangs up the phone. We have equal numbers, but no strategist left from the side of Rad. And
No
with
heals.
Baser still kicking, there's still a chance for Nightmare to punch back.
Holy diff.
Wow, Baser. Luca unable to use that Eye of Agamotto because they did get pushed by the Bucky. Didn't matter. The whale usage was about the same here. Now Rad just trying to fight up for the life. No health left. Trying to get this elimination, but he's staying alive. It is so hard to take down Magneto
How
here,
is-
as now Nightmare is able to tick up this point, though, over and over. So they're in the win here, even with the great trades. Azor going for the
Nah,
double
bro.
strategist elimination.
This
Yet
is a
again, Lemon, this
GG.
man is unstoppable.
These
GG.
staggers are killing Rad if they don't get their things together. And I mean literally, they are going to lose and get out of this bracket. 8% left. Oh, the spaghetti's
mag
on the
is killing
floor.
everyone.
Rad tried to push solo, but here is the teleport in from Len. The one last chance. The Meteor M connects onto a strategist and
GG.
traded onto Spenny. The Kraken impact from Kendrick as he puts up another mixtape.
Nah,
And
bro.
Rad scatter, and they can't live much longer. Nightmare, they unite one final time to stop the comeback from Rad.
Holy
That was
against.
anything but Rad. Nightmare will move on.
Good
Kendrick
try
got
by
the
Rad.
pixel of the shoulder of the Namor there to stagger, and then you have the portal. And the unfortunate part is we had the Loki trying to put down the Lokis to get more of that lantern down, but that just fueled the fire that was Kendrick with Kraken Impact, and it gave him limitless Kraken Impacts to end that
Yeah,
game.
it was-
Nightmare,
this was
it
number
was
one
close.
and a
We
Magneto
almost
diff.
saw a reverse sweep potential, but Nightmare
Almost.
closes it in, and it was a great performance overall. They felt great.
71% accuracy.
20K?
That-
Melania?
crazy.
Okay,
Insane.
20K
I bet
damage
you
is
about 10 of
insane.
that came from two whales. I mean, it was so much damage pumped out there, and we saw it. It came down to some of those ultimate fights. I mean, goodness, look at these stats.
19-3. And that doesn't even get you the MVP.
Yeah.
I don't know what does, but
Tell you
Azure
insane
just
number
dunking
diff.
on kids with the Meteor M2. This was a team effort for Nightmare to also not choke. Like, I gotta say, this must have been so frustrating to deal with the draw, to deal with the insane fight on our convoy map. It it took a lot out of Nightmare, maybe more than they expected, but at least my prediction was right. Sadly, happily, whatever side of the coin you want to be, they faced the loser of Sentinel's FlyQuest. So this was just their first challenger. And then they got the final boss of North America coming up, whoever that's going to be.
Yeah, that draw was able to slow down the momentum of Rad, luckily, because once that happened, Nightmare was able to get things going and rolling for them. And honestly, Azor got the MVP there because, well, damn, the Magneto play was awesome. I mean, from the Meteor Amp picks to the amount of times that Azor was able to pick off both strategists was crazy.
What's happening
and
with
we don't know who we're
Valorant?
going to get to interview here. Could be any of them. Excited to talk to one of them. I know they are gassed up. We're gassed, but they're probably pretty tired as well because that was a long performance to ensure that they kept their record and move on from the
Loud one.
Yeah, Nightmare just in their very first match of Swiss went toe-to-toe with Sentinels. I know it was a 2-0 loss, but to go to round 3 on domination sort of told us Nightmare have something special, and it's only going to build, it's only going to get better from here on out. And look how much every team got better over the week break that we had between Swiss and the championship bracket. And obviously, you wanted to show up from day one because then you would have set yourselves up for the upper bracket, but Nightmare are hoping to make the ultimate run through that lower side, along with Shikigami, who pulled off the most insane upset. And then we had the draw in this match. Like, we have so much content here, Cozy.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Really having all that extra time. When you've been playing together for a long time, you know, extra time is great. But when you're new, that extra time goes that much further because you're able to come up with new game plans and counter strats and really just get the team more comfortable with the call-outs and what they're trying to pull together there. Nightmare, obviously getting the job done, but Rad, we didn't get to see a lot of them with the 100 Thieves of the first matchup there, but great job. I think they did well and definitely has showcased who they are. Even though there was elimination today for them, they did good. Good tip of my cap to them. Nightmare, though, they're moving on, and they definitely have maybe a couple things to clean up, but they got to be proud of how they played.
Absolutely. And Rad, just proud of their effort to look at an 0-2 series and to still say winnable. To approach this series like it was 0-0 all along, to win a map, to force the draw, fights that would be minutes on minutes on minutes on end. And this game is so difficult because you have 6 people trying to yell at once and to communicate, to organize, to bring up good ideas, to shut down bad ideas, for Rad to trust each other, because a lot of the people on that team have been together for years. Like, I'm thinking about Manually and Len on other teams have been sort of this duelist strategist combo in the past, and I'm really proud for Rad to put up that good of a showing against the team that a lot of people thought they were just gonna sweep.
Yeah, hey, you brought up a good point when it comes to you know, call outs, and I've watched a lot of different pro teams and how they operate. Sometimes you got the one-shot caller, sometimes it's everybody getting a piece of the pie, and I mean, taking out things from like 100 Thieves and how they call things out. And again, they were able to clean everything up, make sure that they landed their combos, and again, great job there. Also on the counter bans, they were able to stop Lynn from playing Groot, who did obviously a really good job on that last matchup. And they were comfortable with the Namor pick. They were comfortable. We saw they didn't ban against it. They wanted to roll it themselves, and it obviously came up, you know, for them in favor.
And Nightmare, I feel like we only got some of the looks of what they could present us. Like,
okay. Why is everything from D? Hello? What? Okay. Trident, triangle. Trifle. What? I don't even know these words. Nah, this is too difficult.
And
So this one is too difficult.
You know, ready to go, stepping up. In 3 days, they missed out multiple matches of just, again, that team coordination. And it just goes to show the preparation that Nightmare had and was really able, you know, to get everything together. As we're trying to get together this interview for you guys to talk to our guests and the winners before we take a look at our upper high bracket.
And Spenny, I just want to
Tuberculosis.
shout him out from Rad. This is a
Tuberculosis.
breakout player and rival, someone who didn't have much of a career really built up esports wise. Like, there's so many players who are coming, yes, from other games, some that have been competing for like a decade, to some people where this is their first esport. And I just got to congratulate, like,
Tambourine
it's
is
the
a
temperament that you build up. We talked to
Pinjam.
Nevix earlier,
What is
just
this?
how calm and like no pressure he feels at that age, and with that experience, to players who are like freshly 18 trying to get into rivals are now having sponsorships and banners and all this stuff behind them. To
What?
not stress out. And it's not
What
even
are
just
these
how
words,
to
bro?
win sometimes, it's how to lose, and that could be what
Oh.
really breaks apart teams
Oh.
or what makes a team really special.
Yeah, we have a cool mix of
Oh.
players in this
Oh.
tournament. Again, as you said, the young guns, we have
Oh.
experiences from other games, and it's cool to kind of see it all meld together, from not only just being there before and that experience of if you're down 2 match points, you know, can you make up, can you get that sweep, but also just kind of the lights
Oh.
and everything on you and the pressure that builds up
He's
on
an
communication
animal.
and performance. So good job to, honestly, I would say we have tons of
Bro,
new,
what are
brand
these
new to the
words?
scene players under the new orgs, as we've said so many times in the Invitational. This is truly feels like the birth of the Marvel Rival esports scene, and it has delivered so far. This has been a blast.
Small object that is
For
decorative
sure.
rather than
And
strictly
you guys
function.
thought that these matches were good. We still have 100 Thieves Envy, which who knows what's up with Envy after that reverse sweep against Sentinels yesterday in a different tournament, to Sentinels versus FlyQuest, where now people, and no shade, I'm just saying what the community has been talking about, like, is there doubt on Sentinels still being the number 2, number 3 team,
this
and
cheating,
where
but I
does
don't care.
FlyQuest, some people think FlyQuest is number 2, and they've been back, they've been hot
Do you
and
search
cold in the
this,
Swiss
or it was
stage,
an
but it
animal?
all depends on what you did this week and what you prepared, especially because now we're going into upper bracket matches coming up,
Oh, we already
where
searched.
you have a second chance to
No.
come back and work through the lower bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw again Envy yesterday.
I
Really,
am one
you know,
away from this. By the way.
show who they are. They had a couple rough days here in the tournament. They've had some good matches as well, but to get off, you know, fresh off a win of Sentinels, you know, previously in a at the Rival Fight Night, that was awesome for them, and to carry that momentum
like
going in. And if
Tromo?
you're
What is
Sentinels,
Tromo?
it's, you know, looking at your identity,
Did we
who you
search
are as
this?
a team, resetting, reloading, and knowing what you're going to play for. Talk to some of the players there, and they're ready to
Oh.
get at it today. They're like, you know what, we're going to leave yesterday behind us. We're ready to move forward. 100 Thieves. Being the best is awesome.
This is
You
actually
have
cheating.
to continue that success, and
Okay, I did
everybody brings
this.
their best when you're the best.
This.
Speaking of the best, I got the GOAT, the hella extraordinaire, the Namor that no one can really talk back
this,
to. Let's get
this.
Melina on the line for our post-match interview, fresh
No.
from the Nightmare W, a series that took
Trinket was
quite
the
a
shiny
while.
thing,
So we
right?
wanted to make sure Melina was ready, and hopefully we've been saying their name right. So
Yeah,
let's
we're-
get Melina on the line. Hello, can you hear us?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Bro, this.
What's going on? What's going on?
Congratulations.
I'm telling you, this is he's a
Thank
guy.
you so much.
Thanks for making your bed, and you made
wanna
us
see
very
chat here.
entertained with the
How do I
series.
see chat?
Talk to me. That there was a draw. There was a bit of a comeback. How'd you stay?
Did
cool?
everyone know?
It was some nerves, man. Some nerves. When we drew that, or when we lost that first map, I was like, all right, we gotta stop trolling. And then we drew, and then we, come on, bro, we can't be doing
Yeah.
that. That should be a 3-3-0, 3-3-0 for us. But I'm glad.
Hey,
I'm
it was
proud of my team. They played so well.
It was
Okay,
entertaining.
well,
You
just,
definitely kept
you
us
know.
on our feet over here. And listen, I mean,
This guy
I wanna
thinks-
speak to
guy
how
fucking
well
thinks
you
he's
played with
Sinatra
Hella
or
and
what?
Star-Lord. If they ban one, you play the other. If you guys ban one, first of all, which of those do you prefer? Because I feel like you play both at such a high level. And what did they bring that maybe you weren't expecting?
I hate to say this, but we can thanks
I
Black
wasn't
Panther
expecting
and
them
Captain
to
America
not
for
protect Hella
Bucky-san.
permanently, because I think that's like their key strong point is just auto protecting Hella, because Manuel's a pretty tough opponent in the 1v1. So it was shocking that they weren't doing it, and I thought that if we just perma ban Hella, and like, that's like their key component, that's their bread and butter. So we ban that, you just get it out, we win. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And as to the other
You
question,
guys-
Starlord or Hella, I think my Starlord is way better than my Hella. I've only been playing Hella for a little bit now during scrims, so I still got some work to do, but I'm gonna lock it in for y'all. Don't even trip.
Hell yeah. Did not trip. I watched you in that first match, and I was like, okay, I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. And but I was surprised you guys were also so stable with not having your other tank or your other Vanguard in the picture. So how were you guys able to kind of integrate Azure just so quickly? And did that kind of stir a lot of
minute
things
sub,
for you?
His first warm up was today. Played
No.
played like a god. He played like a god. You see his performance? That performance is
Yeah.
crazy. Actually crazy. I'm so proud of that guy, bro.
We were going off and just saying how much of a step up that is into Phil Mace's shoes, who obviously had so much time before that. And for you guys, having only one, sub, how do you, get that communication to him and really make sure that he's set up for success? And tell me a little bit about your game plan to involve him today more as that Magneto.
I think our synergy just works well. He's a collegiate player. He plays Overwatch semi-professionally, I guess professionally as well. He's used to this comp. He knows how to play the game. He was really good at Overwatch, and he's picking up Marvel just like that, bro. Like, it's so wild to me that he can play that character so well. Like, he can play Mag, Strange.
Bro, this is fucking bullshit. This is actually fucking bullshit. What the fuck is Kiknak? What the fuck is this? Okay. Whatever. You think a trillion is... Okay, never mind. Triffon. The fuck, man. Fucking bullshit. I hate this one.
I chopped it up with them instantly. They're all amazing.
Dude, I love the vibes. Love your vibe. And I think it's something
Thank you so much, bro.
so special for you guys to come in and fill what was, the nightmare
Bro
roster
thinks it's
before, right?
Sinatra.
Coming in, filling those shoes, and then being able to deliver like you have today with the confidence that you have, my man. Excited to watch you guys in the rest of the tournament and what you guys are going to bring. I mean, I think the hard question now is when Mace is ready, you now have this beast of a backup, and you're going to be able to have, throw kind of everything, and your opponents aren't going to know what hit them.
Exactly. They're gonna have to look out for us, for real. I'm telling y'all right now, look out for us.
I'm watching, and you guys played so close to Sentinels, and then like NV2 that was competitive. You may even get your rematch against.
Is everyone in everyone nightwear like this? Trying to be a hood guy.
We should have won that second map. We should have forced third map, and we would have won on my life.
I believe you on
On
God.
my life.
What is wrong with these people, bro? I'm trying to be too cool.
So cool for you guys into the esports scene here, delivering when
I
it
wanna
counts.
see what
And
Sinatra's
just thank
talking
you for putting
about
on a
it.
show today. Even with the draw, we had so much fun. We had so much fun today. And chaos.
Of course,
and
of
thank
course.
you guys again for coming on.
Nah, bro. Bro thinks
This
he's
shit
hot.
is hilarious,
I
bro.
told you,
What
bro.
was y'all's reaction to that Suo? Because that was crazy. Y'all see it?
There's like 1,000 Sue ults, but we'll do
No,
the VOD review. We were bogging off.
On the last point, their Su, he Su ult our we strange TP'd, and they Su ulted through our TP into our spawn.
What? I
You
didn't even
gotta
see
watch
that.
that
Oh
back.
my god. We were watching the
crazy.
fight.
Oh, did they? I
wow.
missed that,
So
actually.
crazy.
Yeah, we were on
Reverse
the
interview.
monkey, taking down the monkey clones, and it was snowballing from there.
I
so that
can't,
would
bro.
be something I check
Yeah,
out
no, if you
in
guys had our
replay.
calls, we were dying. Like, I was dying.
What?
I need a YouTube
Yo,
video.
this guy's hilarious,
Guys,
bro.
love that, please.
My mission
that.
there. Thanks for the
Bro,
shout-out.
try
Bro
to-
started interviewing
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
bro. Like, what?
Your next
Yeah,
matchup.
of course. I appreciate y'all so much.
What
He's
the
young.
fuck?
Cut the VOD. But also, we need to go back through the VOD because apparently there's some shenanigans through the spot. Like, guys, Nightmare are some of my favorite content creators. I was also told
Balena
to
from
download
O Block.
Jekyll and Alter Ego of Luca. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, bro.
Jekyll?
Nightmare are so fun.
Flirting
Yeah,
dominance.
I don't know what it is. These guys have been playing for so long. They make the most hilarious videos and somehow are laughing through
XR2,
matches
they said
seriously.
Bro
three.
thinks he's from the hood.
That guy's funny, bro. That guy's funny.
That guy
That
killed
was
his
5,
fucking
5,
self.
5.
I love the confidence. I mean, that was awesome. And again, that's been my favorite thing of this.
Fuck,
Is just
it is
nearly
sick.
like 6 hours of pure chaos, as Scarlet Witch would say. Lemon, it's been so much fun. That battle was crazy and fun. Let's go ahead and check out the highlights.
That was actually insane, bro. Funniest interview ever. On my life. Fucking insane. Rad had a good start here, really good. But this is where they fucked up. Yo. How does he kill that? Oh, it was 60 something. $15 minutes? What the fuck are we supposed to do for 15 minutes? Probably watch some Valorant.
Let's say 3 and 4.
You wanna watch Sniggy or we just watch Valorant?
Pyro TFT, thank you so much for the 20 months. Thank you.
Composition being able to do so, so they have to face check.
What the hell? I didn't even know what that one is, Pyro.
I don't think I'm allowed to watch Sniggy.
Coming in from Mazino, pushing Kesnet up forward, did give the rotation over for the first Verso to get away, but now they realize that play was not the one. They were in garage for the side of Loud.
Wait, we have no
Oh dear.
Tejo for attack?
Finally, it's just going to be Util getting thrown left and right to see if they can get an engage here. Shy and Mazino able to pick up 2 quick kills. It's now going to be left up to Tui's creeping into the site from behind, and they've already got the read. But he takes out his opponent.
TNT.
Mazino's there for another 3K. And chaos just being lived in right now by Crew as these flashes and blinds come out, but they're still defending the
I like both teams.
And that's the
I like Loud and I
being a
like
lot more mobile again. With Crew, it's pretty much their playground, the defense.
What the fuck is that, isn't it?
Haven. Bind, they're just good on both sides, both attack and defense. Haven so far, since kickoff, has been the defensive side. But that is also thanks to the delays. Although you're not able to scan to get, you know, the mid-round information.
That is
Kismet.
What the fuck happened to Kismet?
Utilizing these initiators to stall so they could at least have more players inside the site to just brawl. And they want to do the brawling.
Okay, he's 140 HP.
For a position take to see where things are, throws out another one.
Yo, what happened to
This is what
Kismet?
Kesnet would be doing here. Always trying to get a
Bro,
read on Loud
breakup or
position
something?
that allows an insert with that Yoru to be a little bit more of a problem. Loud feel happy just hanging out here as they start to default around.
And that's a good thing from Loud with this eco to add that aggression on the A side long, because now this is 2 rounds in a row that they've identified that Kesnet has been fairly aggressive at the very beginning at long A.
I think he saw
And
the
now they were
trip.
able to force a TV.
Surely we break
away,
the trip
so
and then go.
Going into the later rounds when they have weapons to work with, this might be a good conditioning opportunity for Loud to utilize and work out the lurks to maybe take down Shy, because both Sentinels so far for both teams, Riv, have been
We
really
didn't break
good
the
in these
trip
lurks.
on garage. I mean, C technically.
Right now, that lurk's trying to get into garage here for Loud. A little bit of help. All the find and initiator utility on that side for now as it starts to rotate over as well with Vinny. So it looks like this is going to be a pretty hard C hit.
Not too convinced with the dimensional drift moving forward, though. Yes, he gets a bit of information, but what do you do with that? Now you don't have that piece of util for the retake. And Shy's alone on a C site with 4 players closing in on him.
They got to know where he is. Having this trip here means, or that gate means he's just going to try to fight around it. The smoke
We
goes down
gave
as
him a
well, and
smoke.
here comes the push in, a little help from
Yo,
the
yo,
Yoru.
Shy, yo, what's up, brother?
Beautiful flash over the shoulder. Shy just gives him enough time to fire in as Mazino starts to clean it up as well.
Good cleanup.
House of Mazino and Shy closing down C-side.
But holy shit, Shy was whipping.
Again, 4 players moving up, pops up the cages, hides behind the boxes.
I think
He's
their
just
Jet
trying to
gave
make
him
sure
a
that
smoke,
nobody's
which was
looking
kind of
across
dumb.
behind the C site to just try to overtake that side for Loud. So with him just containing that moment is another one of those scenarios where now on both extremities, not only on the initiator, but also from the help of Shy as a sentinel on the C site, he could delay long enough so there's already 4 players.
So the
inside
Jet
site.
didn't break the
By
trip and
time
also gave
Loud is
Shy a smoke to play in. Bro is actually throwing.
Crew is just in a much better position once their utility is going off to work off the team's utility to be able to do things. On Fracture, we kind of saw them like when they retake from defense, sitting in canteen, trying to get the peak first, doing it dry, not having the util since the util was weighted out by Loud, but not this time. Loud's gonna have to call a timeout to figure out what's going wrong here as we're getting a flip on the game. Now Crew 5-1 here on Haven.
Almost seems like it's what's expected now going into the series. But again, if you want to follow that story, it's just Crew on the defense, at least for now. I won't bring my hopes up yet about the 3rd map until I see a cleaner Crew attack side. The thing is, at least The amount of rounds are able to get into victory, the first victory they're able to get here on Haven out of 3 attempts since kickoff was a victory against Loud. So there's at least that. But overall, I guess I understand as well the value of Kesnick going into the ult on the previous round, because the really only thing that they have to find information, is Kesnick's ult or the drone from Adverso in the mid round. So trying to get that ready, get them perked up to delay here on the other side. And that allowed here Shy to do a good job here in his role.
Still playing this combination for Crew over towards A.
We have
Initiator
3
set up. Kesnick.
defensive ults.
Kesnick even gets his gate crash out this time, so he throws another one. They're not using it for info on these rounds.
And
as
almost
much
3
anymore. They want it for the pure
Ragnar.
play, the trade if they can get it. Ooh. DG on an adventure.
Did he mess up?
Okay. A very early Armageddon here, thinking they have the
Wait,
positioning to go
what?
down towards
That was the
bottom.
worst
A short area.
Tejo ultimate I've ever seen in my life.
Really trying to get Loud to
Holy shit, one tap.
Again, another great lurk by 2Es. The hat gets the information that they're already close towards the 8 connector.
They find him. Clone's not gonna fake, but that's a blind right in the eyes of Vinny. Rolling Thunder
Imagine
comes
it's
back
not
out
a
as well.
fake.
This is just for map presence here. Crew says get off
What
the
are we
engage.
doing?
And they'll go ahead and set up another line of scrimmage defense. You can see him just across.
Oh, that
all
was
the
a
sites
defensive
now. It's up
ultimate,
for
my
Loud
bad.
to
I
choose
know that's
where
an
to go on
attacking
this.
ultimate.
4 strong. It looks like they're gonna hit A site.
And that's the
Breach
good call by
ultimate.
Vinny. Already, the lean that they had, the lurk from 2Es already pulled out the rotations, forcing out the Rolling Thunder. Yeah, even if they lost 2Es in the process, they've already cleared out the A site, forcing now Crew to play the retake.
Just on the edge.
He could have planted.
6 seconds left, getting it down. Whoa, Jesus, actually saving the life of the planter, and they're going to still get into the site here. Out of ammo is Mazzino, but Kesnick
What
comes
is
up
attack
with
doing?
in the end,
First of all, he could have planted.
is where Crew thrives.
They're not giving a chance here for Loud to breathe once they get into the site.
Crazy.
Bro, still 8 minutes?
Different style
Holy
from what we've
shit.
seen on Bind in the past of kickoff. Bind, they were just playing passive but good angles and finding these opportunities where their opponents are trying to get space and it just cap them when they run into the crosshairs. This time though on Haven, they're just making sure that they're
what happened to
retaking
Kesnet,
before
bro?
the plant or the setup even happens for the attack side of Loud.
Who was
This is
Kesnet
all very
dating? I
nice.
forgot.
A change of pace and a
What a
brand
name.
new different look, at least from the fracture that we've just witnessed previously on the first map.
Just imagine if Adverso's salvo didn't hit that edge and make him replant. It looked like Loud could have had that. Just the little things right now, Crew is getting in their favor, and it works. You don't question it because they're getting the W's.
This is what I'm liking, at least from the change of Loud. So far, since the timeout, they've added a lot more presence towards Garage in B, just to try to find their own early information, which they haven't really done at the beginning of this map. It was maybe recon darts towards the A side, but even though they're doing all of that,
still
the
have
finish is still towards
2
this A side,
dying
still the same.
ultimates, by the
But by
way.
doing that Aldro, look at how you only have Adverso alone in the site, and he's now
We
forced to
still
fall back.
we somehow didn't use
Instant
it.
in.
Did we use it?
I think this is what
Wait,
makes
we
Loud
didn't have it
so
next last
scary is that how good they set up after this as well. Great call. That's going to be an under window plant. Instant Rolling Thunder to deny here, so giving themselves breathing room, feeling like they still have good control over the map.
And that's the thing.
Wait,
having to use a Rolling
what?
Thunder just for
Attackers
space to
use
at least
that
try to get a
ultimate?
plant, and they haven't even got it down yet. That's how scared Loud looks now on the attack.
The delay has been fantastic here from Crew. One after the other, they're choosing the right thing to use. Rolling
Nah, this is actually
Fury
crazy.
rather comes out right up
We
the
are
gut, that
what?
entry
This
into
we are
space.
just throwing.
No pings come through, so that's going to be a very healthy Crew.
Loud's just throwing.
Until some flashes
I don't
from
think they
Keswick.
wanna
Mazino's
win.
Ready to throw everything in with the paranoia from Melzer. They
I
should be
understand
able to
they
hit this
wanna
perfectly.
Wonder if they're still
block
waiting a couple of
this.
seconds here before they get the salvos up, and now it's up.
Paranoia goes through. Here come the rest of the flashes. Vinny goes down instantly with his eyes burning from the sun. Kawanzin and
Pancada.
doing their
Pancada.
back, and they got a beautiful crossfire as it's the
Pancada.
as they enter the
So I
site.
understand they wanted them not to rush in, but they had 4 on site already. You could have probably fight that just how you fought afterwards.
Util drop it against him. Hit by an ult, thrown down by Shy for the retake, and he's still able to
Pancada.
jiggle well enough to get a 3K, but not
He could have got the
without
float.
the help of Tui's jiggling back from his spot in the back of
You still want a 3v4
Great bait and switch coming from both ends to convert here. What
on
2
inside,
versus
onside.
4.
I mean,
Yeah, in the end, and there was so much time too, right? Everybody was prepping their skills, prepping what they had. We had a moment, like 10 seconds, where there was almost nothing. And then when the hit does come in loud, it shows they're ready. Another push through. So much.
he's somehow alive.
After the fault line comes through, but there's still somehow
He is somehow
surviving.
alive.
One down on each side here. Pancata limping away from the situation.
Ooh.
Oh my God!
And he does get out.
How
of the
is he
coattails
alive?
For the cape of Omen.
This guy's getting hit by everything, and it's actually his duelist that dies.
Bye bye. He feels like he can still get spammed in that spot, so he's going to go ahead and shadow step, and then from the shadows.
Surely
out of
they
the
heard
position,
that to cancel, right?
and they still hold short A. A big push here, however, by Shy could get behind. Tui's in garage.
Ooh.
Sometimes that's the hardest shot.
Imagine he
picks it up
missed.
and he gets a Vandal now to reset and give the team a little more power on
Oh,
that.
what the shy come from?
It's always nervous.
Bro flagged the flanker.
Especially when you think you have it and you have weird movements, and then suddenly, boom. They turn
We are
around.
using a universe.
Not this time around from Shy. Dimensional Drift, as we mentioned before, ready here for Kezit, finding information, and spots them all here on the A side.
Oh shit, his location got revealed. How?
Looks like they're trying to reposition. One heard it, but they're still, you see, focusing forward, knowing where the threat's going to come from first. A nice flash comes through. The Guardian can't ring true for Cowanzine as Kesnick comes
Some
up big.
phase
Just
happening
after
here.
now. Kesnick finishes 2, and Shy will find the third.
Bro, who was scared with girlfriend? I
Crew
wanna
is
see
just
it.
closing down on Loud so fast, they do not have time to think.
And again, a dimensional drift that just allows you to get mid-round information. And with that, he gets out of it. He's not trying to do any flashy Yoru plays.
Yeah.
He's just containing the last 3 players inside the site so that you see almost like a pentagram or trapeze of 4 players getting to close in on different angles, right? One towards, exactly. One towards the spawn, one towards heaven, one towards sewers, and then they all converge. And there's just no chance, no way for Loud to get into good spots. Even though you're in a scenario where Kezit is potentially on a 2 versus 1, he still gets 2 individual 1v1s, and you can't play 1v1 against
Another
Kezit because
timeout.
he usually comes up
That's
on top
2
of it.
timeouts before the first round,
So
by
this
the way.
one called by Loud.
What was I
Adam
seeing?
as well
Get
able to
this
speak
girl
with
from-
the squad over on the crew side, and they have to be feeling so good as well. Adam seeing the turnaround of what the team needed to do, and he said they needed to wake up. I feel like they have woken up. They're getting almost to the dream state now of where they are capitalizing on every advantage like Loud did on Fracture.
Bren thought that crew was knocked out, but at this point, looks like they
Bro.
finally stood up at the
Somebody
8
got
count.
the smell assaults out.
Exactly.
They're ready. Absolutely awake after this one.
Getting up at the 8 count, the bell just rang. A lot of water was thrown into their faces, and now we're seeing a very strong crew on the
I don't
defensive
see
side.
anything.
But now
I
Loud is on
think
an
Bro
eco.
broke up.
The best thing they have here is a Blade Storm.
Nope.
There's even a
I don't
Regen
know.
Shield Sheriff for Pancata.
No wonder he looks
so
like
maybe
this.
trying to get a little bit of usefulness to support behind the knives out of DJZ.
Yeah.
But this may be another one of those rounds where you're creating the pressure this time on the A side to start and maybe activate a double lurk now from both Tui's and Pancata. And you
No-
see this starting
no
already
way,
on the
right?
C-line split.
They actually broke up?
Much like their pistol round here,
I mean,
actually from Loud.
why am I so...
Not that though.
Nope. Not
Holy
the same result,
crew.
though.
Mauser and Shy, and they will find the last
Holy.
one. Kesnet alone. He's been kind of holding the spot for quite some time.
Bro shooting the body now.
Here on the Omen allows them to know that Loud does still want to play towards that long C on some of these rounds.
How
Some
do I
really
follow?
nice
What
map
was her
control,
name
really
again?
nice early pushes from Crew, just identifying
I think I
everything
follow
Loud
her.
has wanted to do. And Kesnet has been out of position sometimes. That rush forward. and
Yes,
crash back has
Katsumi.
been providing them with so much knowledge.
I think it was Katsumi.
And even drone at the beginning towards the garage. It
Yeah,
seems as though
yeah.
this compositional change coming out here from Crew is really throwing Loud for a loop. They don't really have a good read of where the positioning could be, of where the pushes could be coming down from, and this is a look of Crew taking full control of mid. Thankfully, there's a camera up though from Tui's. It gets instantly broken, and even TP's away to that one. So this might make it hard here from Loud to rotate back. They have to commit it to C because they can't really rotate back with 0 B control.
Through the smoke. Kesnet clears, Digis in. Oh my gosh, just on the other side, Shy is ready to like push in with this, but he decides not to, knowing his team is there, but they don't hear any more action. There's a walkout by Loud, but an insert in the site.
That's the most important thing. Keeping one in the sight, but you have Pancada that did find that position towards that B side. He cleared towards that window, and unfortunately, also dies by Kesnet. With all of these inserts, it would allow Crew to rotate back and forth based off the successes that at least.
Yeah, I think it's GG's.
In this first half on his.
I think yeah.
But now it's just probably gonna
GG's, man.
For Loud.
Oh, look at, they feel so comfortable on the map now. Kesnet lurking, knowing these angles can easily be
Bro,
his.
transform into
He's
fucking.
still looking for more.
Who does he look like? I don't know.
Yeah, Tui's good to clean that one up.
He does look like somebody, but I can't. I can't understand very well. I don't remember very well.
Right now, and it is not giving Loud
He does look like
room to
somebody.
find their trades or anchor kills for their own team.
And you're moving into the last round of the half for Loud.
I mean, he looks like a typical guy.
No real economy. Half shields across the board.
I
Thankfully, at least
have
on the
no
side
idea
of
what I'm
Crew,
talking.
we haven't seen any outlaws, ops come out on the side of the defense. It was a lot of these contact walk up from Kesnet to get the early control.
Yeah.
Verso just adding the
I think we are back in round.
Teams do play if they do lose instead of an immediate.
Absolutely. And just the way Crew is kind of accepting these strats, or I'd say not accepting Louds, like when they inserted
9 and 2.
Cowan's
9-3 curse maybe?
Crew reading that easily. Before on Fracture, it seemed like they were a step behind.
Hello.
Here, very
I thought my mic was not
use their
working
util
for a minute.
knowing they're a step ahead.
And that's the difference of Fracture being so new to them to test out in an official game versus Haven. They know
Holy
spam.
Exactly.
Already with a first blood, so that's how you could start, but sometimes you gotta add a little bit, sprinkle a little bit of luck in there in what you're cooking here. And Kesnet, that's the second, at least, that I could count.
Yeah.
Smoke kill that
He
gets
only
at the beginning
puts
of the round and allowing Crew to
on-site
get an early advantage, forcing now the hand of Loud
traps.
to just
It's
activate
not
a little bit
difficult
more
to
into his
lurk, I
left
guess.
side, and funny enough,
Oh, hello. What the fuck?
a lurk duelist.
What's wrong with the
as you have
Chrome these
Digizine
days,
currently
though?
walking down towards the sewers.
Creeping. I wonder if
And
he makes
it's-
noise first.
Wait,
Unless he brings him back.
what is happening
Oh,
to
yeah.
Chrome?
He's going to know that's a clone. And he knows he probably has the rest of the team if they're trying to clone into the site.
Breaking the camera to
Wait.
thing here for the C side that allows here Digizine to get the backstab.
My Chrome's bugging.
Perfect.
Oh
He
shit,
makes-
what a
he
look.
gained so much ground before they started to run away, so
Gotta
he heard
hurry up,
all
though.
the footsteps. He's going to be moving.
So if I zoom,
Right
we
where the
lose?
original drift goes, and now
No,
they're gonna
it's
follow
not.
up with that util from Azino, so Digizine have to be fast here.
Bro, go fast.
Few kills coming in. Loud's able to clean those up, and Mazino's going to be doing some damage.
Yo,
He's
yo,
trying to
yo,
run to
yo,
get the
yo,
shot, but he
yo,
can't
yo.
get the swing. And Pancada is looking for Digi to come out of that left side.
Holy
Oh,
shots.
He
He's
gets the shot on Shy Soldiers. He sees the hat go behind the smoke. 53 to 87 on that.
No,
HP.
he's not sticking. Why are we peeking? We heard him. What? We are throwing.
And the defuse to come through.
We actually throwing.
10 to 2 here.
10.
As Crew do the same
Bro,
thing to
we
Loud
heard him
they
move.
did on Fracture.
And we saw him not sticking. So we wait for one more tap, right? And then we swing. Since it was half. Okay, so he saw. Never mind, he tapped.
Of their defensive side of Haven, but we talked about their defensive side.
Yeah.
There's been multiple 10-2 has for Crew.
Damn.
where they
Isn't
couldn't
it
close it.
transform
We remember-
into a
Signals
heartbreaker?
from what I've got here, but outside of that, just clean sweeps. Do you think we're going to see something like Sentinels from what I've got here, but outside of that, just
I
clean
ran
sweeps?
Shib.
Do you think we're going to see something like that today, or do you think Envy's going to step up?
Yeah, I mean, I
What
think
are
we're gonna
these
probably sweep Envy. I
words?
love Envy. I love the players on their team,
Stole
but I don't know,
in-
Shib. I mean, right now their team is just so
What
good.
is
I mean,
this?
they have pretty much the
I'm
best
curious.
slot in North America at every single role, and I'm sure they're playing it like that, right? Even if they don't have the confidence right now, they've been so consistent last week in other tournaments and third-party tournaments since the MRC. So right now we might have a super team on our hands in North America. Obviously, they would have to 3-0 Envy. Envy's looking better, Shib, right? On the other side, this team is constantly improving. You know, even though in third-party tournaments, 100 Thieves 3-0'd them, this team was able to match against the 100 Thieves to get into that grand finals. So, you know, their team as well has veteran players of the hero shooter genre. And they're competing as such. So I think 100 Thieves
I want to try
are
IEMs.
showing
EIMs.
like an incredible hot streak right now are still going to have a formidable
What's it
opponent.
called?
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you mentioned them
right.
just improving, right? Day 1 lost to Shroud X 0-2, I believe, and then since then came back, beat Rad 2-1, and took on Nightmare and 2-0 them as well. From my understanding, I mean, that is a massive step up. It's a confidence boost, and you can just see it in the way they play, the way they're being a little more aggressive, not playing on their heels, getting up and taking these fights when they need to, finding off angles. We spoke with Cal, just the way that Cal was playing those off angles with Adam was just a ton of fun to watch. And, you know, getting to see them running those triple supports, playing them a little more aggressively, and then, you know, fitting into the metas in terms of those 2-2-2 comps as well.
Yeah, they've done such a good job overall. I mean, Team Envy to sign this roster, I think a lot of people didn't expect them to do as well as, you know, get into this upper bracket to get ready against the 100 Thieves. So, you know, they've really, you know, fought against the odds potentially in this case. And also, you know, it's very important in this current meta ship, as we both can agree probably, that it's important to have a really good mag player, right? Or super good Magneto player. We've seen time and time again, you know, good mag players with that Iron Curtain, block ultimates that were huge. Space is one of those guys, right, for Team 100 Thieves. Huge Magneto player, was so talented. And then also in the lower bracket, we watched Shikigami and Nightmare. A huge part of some of their wins was
he always gets 1 or 2, always.
Having, you know, also incredible media M's. So, you know, the Magneto play
What is happening, bro?
has been huge this tournament. I think it's going to continue to be huge considering the guy can just one shot, as you say, Shiv, just dunk on people, right?
Dunking those meatballs, man. I mean, one of the things that kind of surprised me, which is something I should bring up to you now, is you wouldn't believe this, at least not for me, but I just went back and checked out the data of the last week of what we saw, and Magneto was the top in terms of locked in for the team. Him and Wolverine at 7 locks into those games, took the top for the people, you know, they wanted him in every single team composition, so it's a good call there.
Yeah, I guess the character is just so good at fitting into other compositions. I mean, you could probably talk about it, Shib, with the dive comps. I mean, just able to shield Wolverine, like you said, being able to shield your backline if they're being dove on by a Venom or something. So the character's just so versatile right now, and also on top of the fact he has that one shot, it's sort of similar to how Invisible Woman is almost kind of in that same thing whenever she doesn't get banned with Sue, because, you know, that character as well just has so much that it could do that could fit into like every comp, right? You could throw the shield onto somebody to heal them on top of them, giving them, you know, more shields, or the ultimate just being an absolutely impossible time to get rid of somebody in it. So there's so many things this character adds, and there's a reason why, you know, Magneto, Invisible Woman are 2 of the top characters right now.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what kind of numbers we're adding to those stats as we get into the bans. Immediately, Groot gonna
Don't let this guy NK go to Bucky. That's the win condition. That's the first win condition.
Luna, Hela, Adam, Groot in that order. So we're going to tack another one on there, as they are going to remove that on the side of Envy. And I'm looking forward to Loki. Would not, you know, doesn't surprise me very much. What do you think they're going to lock in here? Ooh.
Bucky.
Winter Soldier Bucky. Well, you talked about how Bucky's been a character that's been, you know, not banned, not really touched throughout Shiv. You mentioned to me off broadcast, you know, the stats show that Bucky's like never touched, right?
Luna.
Yeah, see, that's surprising to me, right? We've seen so many team sweeps here when he drops that Kraken impact. It is just one of those hypeable moments where we're up on our toes watching it happen. But yeah, Bucky's been banned twice. I don't know. I don't understand the take on that. I know they do like running Bucky instead of Punisher with Rocket to deal a lot of damage to those Groot walls when there's a problem. They were mentioning, you know, just the sheer survivability. And they're talking about Bucky, and I'm wondering to myself, well, then why is he not banned, right? Like, I just don't understand that.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice to not ban him a lot of the times, but obviously for the
they are playing. Let's go.
Know they've got Terra on Bucky, or I mean, whenever Delena has to play it too. But you know, the fact that Hela just went through is kind of insane, right? We've seen how good Delena is on.
I think Cal is the best player in
this
game.
Not the best Hela in the game.
I mean, in this tournament,
on top of the fact
best
that
player,
Terra
bro. He's so insane.
Role, you know, it's very cool to see
Hela
all
on
these
Adam.
different things. Now banning out the Rocket Raccoon's going to stop Terra from getting that team up that we talked about, Shib, between Winter Soldier and Rocket Raccoon. But you still have to deal with both Harvey and SJP having those huge ultimates with the Invisible Boundary and the Fate of Both Worlds. So, you know, this is a terrifying roster to go against. And, you know, on the other side, Shib, they left the Adam Warlock untouched too. So we could see a triple strategist composition come through as Envy likes to run.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you mentioned this, Delena, on, going ahead and on the Hela. Well, here's the thing that kind of makes Hela even crazier. When you get that Guardian Shield from the Invis, it just makes Hela's pressure on those off angles terrifying, because now you got to burst through a shield prior to even starting the damage up, while she's just raining and getting free poke on the back line. You know, it's been a comp that's been run a lot here, and I'm surprised to see, you know, the side of Envy letting 100 Thieves here run through with this, you know, composition, just something they're comfortable with.
Yeah, I guess it's to prioritize making sure none of their characters got banned because they love to run that triple strategist. But like you mentioned, yeah, just to let the Hella go through is unique.
Even
considering
Delena
how
and
good
Terra.
that man has been, dude. So, you know,
Delena
obviously
is
maybe
very
they
good.
have a plan in this case,
Hella, like...
but for 100 Thieves side, I'm sure they're happy with that draft.
And here we go, taking the high side. The initial fight going to be owning this high ground, a very strong import. And yeah, Envy not going to be running that Hella. So there is going to be a poke advantage on the side of 100 Thieves as they start this fight. TTK going to start dealing some damage. One of the few control players immediately going to take out Remix. Nice start there. Numbers on the side of 100 Thieves. Will Envy retake, or are they?
I know. I already know Sinatra is too, man. Bro, we are letting them cap for free. Hello?
They would do owning this.
Nah, bro.
Great pick there, and immediately the numbers. 100 Thieves dropping them like flies. Envy.
Why are we raising there?
Gonna start off in
Why are we raising there?
Tough first
Bro,
fight for Team Envy. They walked in, took too much poke from both Terra and TTK, and then Vinny obviously going in. Vinny might be one of the most flexible tank players, Vanguard players in the game. Like we've seen ban onto the Groot, now he's on to the thing. And,
why do we always let them cap for free?
A lot of great the thing performances so far, but if anybody could do it, it's probably Vinny and 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You talked about, everyone talks about, you know, Vinny on his group, right? How comfortable he is and how, you know,
why
he might be the
did
best
we
player in the world.
there?
And you know, you mentioned not a lot of people running the thing in terms of getting a ton of value, but
and the thing is, we rest in front of everybody.
The only ones, Remix actually last time they were on the stage here, 2 MVPs in a row on the thing. So we are going to see a little bit of a brawling battle, rock on rock. And here we go with the next fight. Immediately cracking impact, going to hit 3. Going to get an early pick on Cal. Nice start there to the side of Terra, who plays a mean Bucky, ready to reset again and dive into the back line.
Yeah, Space going to have to go huge
nice,
with this meatball, and he does so. I mean, SKP getting shut down, that's removing the fate of those rolls out of this fight shit.
Yeah, that's a huge meatball right there for Space. I'm not gonna lie, it's a great retake, but still, you gotta be looking at the point here. 70% already from the very first push on the side of 100 Thieves, and now they're starting to get that back, but still maintaining position on point, buying time to just get as much charge as possible as we do see the all pop right here on the side of NK. Gonna take out Selena, nice early pick, but the team is pressing in now. Nice pull there to try to shut it down, but no return on the NK, and the strategist ult will be stall things up a little bit as Terra's trying to find an angle.
We do have
to the back line, but no connection.
Holy shots.
He gets 2, going after 3. Terra, a menace, trying to get this reset, but unable to do so. Great pick of the health.
Oh, he got that. Oh, he died.
Almost makes it happen, but is going to fall to the side of Vinny.
They're attacking this fight because of the res, but no, they don't touch the point shib. Oh my god, Terra.
This is why we don't let them cap for free.
A little dicey for sure, but I mean, they get the job done on the first map.
Bro, what a fucking throw.
It's tough, right? I mean, that first fight really just dictated everything. It seems like they own that point, and from then on, it was more so on the side of Envy. Hey, we just got to get a win, and then we'll take the point. But at that point, 70% on point, he got to be taking the fight towards the ring. It just didn't seem to work out for him.
And that's unfortunately, I don't know if that's either an aspect of lethality with the composition, right? We talked about how Magnetos kind of need to go off in a lot of these compositions. Space did so. I mean, shutting down SJP, but still, they ended up getting 100 owed. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're very ult reliant to this composition. I mean, NK went huge
Vinny
with his
and
ultimate as well, but then eventually SJP was able to come back with that speed boost.
Hella didn't ult once, right?
Snow, who just runs back from spawn faster. So 100 Thieves, I mean, terrifying team to go against, and they're showing it right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it always seemed like Envy had a valuable ultimate, and then for some reason, the team fight just didn't go in their favor. It's just, you know, that is one of those things that you don't see in the moment when you're in the room, and it could be a comms issue,
it's just not him on Bucky.
Issue, prioritization. It's just very difficult to understand where those
he's not even her on Bucky.
In their favor as we start up the next
Hopefully
one.
I'm wrong.
On the side of 100 Thieves as we do have Hella ready and Vinny ready to start up the clobbering time. Will we get a combination here as we start the first fight? 3 seconds on the clock.
Envy playing it slow, and it works out for them. Shib immediately finding Terra. I don't know if it's a bit of a mistake.
Don't let them cap
for him, but him getting picked early is terrible for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I'm surprised that worked like that, but you know, here we go as Envy is going to start taking positioning priority.
See, they didn't let Envy cap for free. And we had to use their ult. Bro, Cal is insane. Cal is just insane.
As the numbers are just going back and forth, trying to find one more. Unable to do so. Point still not taken on either side. Oh my goodness, Harvey. Incredibly weak in the aggressive push. And tries to get
reload!
Unable to do so yet.
Oh, he still got him.
Swing with a melee pop.
Insane, bro. Cal is actually insane.
And NK on the side of Envy, holding on firm, and they still have yet to get the point.
It's still yet to get the point, and just as we're about to sing the praises of Cal, here comes the one on the backside. But
nice, good cap, good cap.
Come back through to the point, regroup.
See how 100 Thieves didn't let them cap for free. They had to use ultimates, fight,
I mean, that's 2 in a row now for
and the last, they just let them cap for free.
But at least they have ultimates for this next fight.
Yeah, they found their footing, I think it looked like there. I mean, they got their confidence back, saw some good picks, great positioning, taking the fight when you need to, not worrying about getting that point too early. You know, it is a little bit of a panic moment, right, when you're getting in there, but that's a great call. Here comes the dunk, looking for the Luna. Will it land? Yes, TTK!
Both.
Gonna take
That's
out
both.
2 as Pain, Sleepy, and now Space go down. Terra gonna complete. Lee Sweep,
okay.
the rest of them as remix. TTK finishing up on Cal, and 100 Thieves gonna retake this point.
I mean, what an engage there.
That's an ace, no? They got them all.
Things, right, making Envy feel a little bit weird, right? Obviously, Space went in, got hooked. They had to fight around it, had to commit those ultimates, and TTK understanding the situation they were in, just absolutely dunked on that back line. Had to follow up, and also Cal committed a late hella ultimate. 100 Thieves put themselves in a good spot.
Cal, I'll use the
here comes the next fight. Tough positioning here from the side of Envy, trying to find a way through this. Taking off that left angle. Vinny doing a great job. Just haymakering through the doorway, trying to build up that charge. Ready to release another clobbering time.
How did
when
they
is
lose
the
that
time? Is it now? Yes, it is. Gonna start off the fight, but we are immediately gonna get counteracted there. Well done by Harvey to keep the team moving, but it is going to get matched on both sides. No picks yet on either in terms of everyone besides the Vinny, who did get dropped early in that fight. But the point is still being held here by 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Vinny died so quickly because of headshots from Cal. Now it's a 1v1, but the invisible shield, or invisible woman shield, comes onto the side of Cal. So in the front line, they have the advantage.
Use your
comes out, but the target focus there. It doesn't matter for Delena, though, who just hits the shots after. However, Sleepy comes back for the trade.
I thought Luna had it.
Huge for Envy.
Sleepy doing a great job here of getting these final hits. I've seen, I think, 5 already so far, which is great. You know, Luna does a great job dealing insane damage, but Terra gonna take to the sky. Space going to fall early, but out goes the dance. Luna just holding on with the fate of both worlds, but a dunk potentially going to land on Pain. Down goes Pain. 100 Thieves doing a good job retaking this fight, and we are gonna see a fall here from my remix as 100 Thieves is at 81%.
GG, bro.
So daunting right now. Team Envy
3-0.
Such a good spot, but unfortunately,
actually a 3-0.
Perfectly came back into that fight, able to keep control of that point as well that entire fight. So right now, 100 Thieves game plans are really working out to a T as they have to run and touch last second. This is going to be brutal, obviously, as they try to touch in desperation hours.
Bro, has this guy done anything on
number 1?
Yeah, I mean, I like what you called there with the Delena, you know, using the ultimate. Yeah, it didn't get any value.
They need to start,
an immediate pick, and that started.
and we need to start banning Bucky just so NK can't play it.
Still did get value, but when they landed, they made things happen, just showcasing that that damage had value no matter what. You don't always need to get the final hit up there, as long as you come down and keep playing off it, which they did. That damage was pressure, it was space, and they were able to own that point and take it all the way.
You know, obviously, I don't want to, go on about a team too much here, but, for 100 Thieves side, it was so clinical, right? It's just constantly being able to touch the point. We've never seen them really not touch the point, give up the objective. Focusing around that objective play was huge, right? I mean, Delena was constantly on absurd flanks. I mean, only 7 eliminations, 5 deaths on his side, but the team really played around it because of Delena being such a nuisance, being such an important target for Team Envy. It results in the rest of the team finding a ton of value in the front line, as you see with Terra in 17,000 damage. But, I mean, it was just constant back and forth. TTK had really huge Magneto ultimates every time with this Meteor M. So right now, Team 100 Thieves, they're looking pretty goddamn terrifying, if I'm honest with you. Shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you talked about Terra, 17k damage, 10 final hits, over double the other side in terms of leading. It's becoming a commonality, right? I've seen Terra now the last 3 games, MVP, SVP, MVP. Although no MVP here, goes to the side of Harvey. Harvey doing a great job, obviously only getting KO'd 1 time. That's what you're really looking for from your strategist line. It's all about positioning, right? If you have the least amount of deaths in the game, you're doing something right. Good ultimate pops and keeping the team up. So well deserved there by Harvey, who does a great job, obviously, in the back line. Seen him play a ton. We used to talk about the Loki from Harvey, but it seems like 100 Thieves is now on the method of just banning out Loki every game and just taking him out of the fight, and instead just running that Invis, which seems to be a commonality with virtually every team now. Invis just seems to be in every single game.
Man.
Really, really strong hero, and love to see what they're doing there.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that. Kid,
Surely
because,
we could have find a better
generally
use
with
in
the
him
100
than
Thieves,
Dog, man.
yeah, like you said, Harvey is just such a good Loki player. I really wonder what the reason is, because they've done that even last week too. They just ban out that Loki first. So I don't know. Why do you think that is? They want to ban out that Loki so much. Is there a reason behind it?
Give me a second.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about, you know, the most banned hero in the game. Right now, that is Loki from my calculations. I just think that his kit is incredibly strong at this point. You essentially have a reset button, which can shut down ultimates in and of itself. Although, you know, Bucky plays well into Loki, which Bucky at this point is, I would consider very high up in the meta, especially for teams of this caliber. Just team wipes after team wipe, just playing so aggressively, the pull, you know, but we're not even talking about, but outside of Bucky, just Loki in general, right? So firing line does a ton of damage, ton of burst healing, has invisibility, which gets away from things like Psylocke ultimate, you know, just in and of itself, outside of the crystal usage, which is also another reset to a ton of damage and to other ultimates, and then can copy something like Luna and just start dancing again and just keep the team in the fight. I just think Loki's kit's insane.
I would agree with you on that one. I mean, it feels like overall, since the like Moon Knight nerfs even too, I mean, just going back to that, feels like, you know, there's not even like a direct counter to him either. It's like, I mean, you, like you said with the Bucky, sure, but you know, if you're already disengaging, if you're running away, and you talked about it too with Bucky just being such a strong hero right now. I don't know if it's necessarily a counter to Loki. It definitely helps, but overall, it seems like with Moon Knight removed from the meta and being kind of out of it, it doesn't feel like there's a direct,
I still feel like Moon Knight is OP,
terrifying
bro.
character
I
to go
just
against
fucking hate
because,
playing against
like
Moon
you said,
Knight.
you can just go invisible. You
I think
can
it's
go on
OP
by,
in lower
I
ranks
don't know,
because
Venom or something,
people
and
don't
then,
know
like,
how to
you just
aim.
run away or hide. So there's a lot of different things that character brings, and you're 100% on the mark there.
Yeah, and we talk about dive being strong. You and I have had this conversation a ton, and I think another thing is, you know, with Venom being in such a strong spot, Loki is one of those heroes that is selectable because there's not a ton of anti-dive outside of the very commonly banned Namor, Bucky, and then on the back line, you really want Loki, right? Loki just does such a good job at shutting that down. So if you are thinking about running something like Venom and you want to be more aggressive in the back line, you better get that Loki out of there as well. So I do see it from that standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, like, instead of Loki, you have like Luna Snow, for example, or something, and then like, okay, Loki, all he has to do is press shift and he lives, right? It's like, it's that simple. Or press right click and he can sneak away. And then meanwhile for Luna Snow, you have to hit the CC, you have to hit the freeze, or you're literally screwed. So it's brutal in terms of his kit, you know, how much there is compared to the likes of Luna Snow, and when it comes to counter dive, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if we're going to see some shakeup. I know these teams have mentioned us as they get deeper
Why are we talking
into
so
this
much?
tournament.
Just
We're going to
start
start
the
seeing
second
some
match.
surprises, right? So we did see a sneak peek the other day of a Penny, at least for a single KO, which was fun to watch. I know Penny doesn't do an insane job
Should
of
we
just
check
shutting
what
down dive
happens?
exclusively,
Can we
especially
got-
at this level. It's more so off-angle shutdown.
I have money to buy
owning
one.
some sort of
I'm
weird
waiting for
positioning
a
around
good
a health
Vandal
pack
skin.
that's going to keep you just distracting and annoying the team. So I'm wondering if we're going to see stuff like that. Do you have any... You know, do you have any idea
I'm
of
not
something
showing
we
you, man.
might see that would surprise you, or at least something you want to see?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we might see some variation with the Penny Parker potentially coming back.
I don't
through.
have
We might see some other duelists, but
to
Chip,
think-
let's talk about that after a short highlight, and then before we get to the match with the 100 Thieves versus Envy, Matt number 2.
Oh, we talk so much. What the fuck was this Riz? NK guy is a little bit dumb. I don't know how has he managed. I can't even lie. There's reason. I told you the number one win condition was he doesn't play Bucky. Oh shit, I'm gonna buy Marshall. I don't have Marshall, I swear. See? Nah, I'm fucking buying this. Sheesh. Wait, what? New skins? Sucks. I mean, the classic looks nice. But I have the RGX. How much RR do I have? 55. Should I upgrade? I should not upgrade classic right now. I'll upgrade this. I don't play Valorant, so I don't have much. I don't think I need the finisher right now. Let's try. We have 4 minutes. Which song? Oh yeah, I can put you. I can find.
My ultimate's ready.
Which Drake song is this? Turn on a you that no one can find. Put you where? Desires. Yeah, desire. I don't really want to listen to music, man.
My ult's ready.
Oh yeah, I thought, what the fuck? RGX? When did I buy RGX? I mean, it's alright. I like this knife a lot. The fact that this song keeps increasing is insane to me. See, things keep happening. Now more things will come. I haven't played this game in a while. Holy shit, my aim sucks. I'm washed. Washed in Valorant. I wanna buy this skin. How much is the Loki skin? Fuck, I fucked it up. No.
Double the failure. Double the
I haven't played Crown Rumble yet.
Watch out, turret's armed. Heavy weapons. I'm in love. Flush the other flank out. Denizens of the deep. Typical air breather. Maximum pulse.
This is actually insane. I mean, it looks fun. I should try it.
Welcome back, everyone. As we just finish up our first game of 100 Thieves versus Envy. 100 Thieves looked really good out there and swept the first match. What did you think, Dogman?
Yeah, I mean, overall, really just amazing no notes, right, for 100 Thieves right now. They just figured, how to play the game. Their coach, too, Intensa. This whole team really,
I know Nate showed that.
They're like future Marvel proofed right now because every other team's sort of catching up right now. Like they're in a boot camp. They've got their coach there in person. They've got the support from their owner, Nade Shot, and the rest of the 100 Thieves organization. So right now, they're just ahead of the curve, it feels like, overall. And to sign them, too, leading
all thanks to Nade Shot, by the way,
was massive because this team is the one to beat, and you can see exactly why that was on map number 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's teams that play the meta and there's teams that create the meta, right? And that's the kind of team you want to strive to be. And I think right now 100 Thieves is in the conversation to be one of those teams. And they're not afraid to play a multitude of different heroes, whatever it calls for. But they may not even need to do that in certain matchups, especially when they're running it like this right now, absolutely dominating the first game.
Yeah, I liked how you brought that up with creating the meta, because, you know, Terra, I think, was like one of the first Winter Soldier like players really out there, besides even some streamers. Like, I think it was just Terra. It was like Jay Wanted. There was only like a few Winter Soldier players. Now everybody
we need
plays
J1 instead
also,
of
he was, I think,
NK
one of the first people to start playing Wolverine. So, you know, Terra,
we never lose.
Formerly After C, not sure why he changed his name. After C was such a sick name. But yeah, Terra now, I mean, just such a flexible player and is a linchpin in why 100 Thieves does so well.
Yeah, I remember that initial conversation about
just
Wolverine
ban
when everybody,
please
including
ban
myself,
Bucky,
was like,
bro.
this character is
So
just
NK
not
can't
it.
play it.
But could have been more wrong, as he is absolutely incredible, definitely in one of the top, if not the
Surely
top,
we understand it too.
Maybe Hella, but we start off with, what do you know?
We just tell yo NK you are a really good DPS, but I would like you guys to chill.
Yeah, nothing too strange. Luna Snow Protect, that probably means 100 Thieves looking to keep the Hella in the lobby, protect the Bucky again, because I mean, you talked about it earlier.
Even they know that NK is so bad at Bucky,
so Envy maybe
and a lot of things that they protect Bucky so he can play Bucky.
So, shit, it looks like it's the same for the side of Envy. For the side of 100 Thieves. We'll see if Envy wants to make any adjustments. I mean, they definitely should. What do they have to do here, though? What was the problem last round for them? Was it that, you know, the back line, potential strategist? Or
see, my personal opinion is they ban Hella here. I think you need to shake up the duelist side a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, there was 100 Thieves. But even on the side of Envy, I don't quite get the bans. I think you try to get rid of the Hella if you're not going to. Oh, they are going to match it. Oh, maybe not. They switched off again. And my thought is, if you're not matching the Hella in this meta, it may be worth banning it. But it looks like Cal's going to be making that change back and forth here a little bit. We'll find out when game time starts, what the actual selection is going to be. But yeah, I mean, I think Hella or Bucky is my personal opinion. When things aren't working out for you in a game, especially when you really struggle, I think you need to make a severe change in your banning thoughts. But you know, I'm not the one at this level of play, so there is reasons that they're making these decisions.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, they've. I think what happened. This is my educated guess, I guess, because I think Envy played against 100 Thieves in a third-party tournament, right? And they played against the Rocket Raccoon, you know, those insanely coordinated tempo moves by the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. And maybe they just really got, you know, honestly dookied on by that. And, you know, maybe the response is, okay, we just permaban Rocket Raccoon, and now we're in this case. So in this
ideas
scenario.
as in?
And, you know, at the end of the day, like we talked about earlier, Shib, if you're against the 100 Thieves, they are kind of meta-proof at the moment. They have so many looks they can show you, and that's what you want to see when you have two bans and a protect available.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about the moldability, the flexibility, and they do have what it takes. As we are going to start off here, Envy holding the high side. I love this defense, maintaining that height, utilizing it, and they are going to fight in this choke as Envy begins here. Remix going to get some haymakers off, start building that alt charge as, yeah, I mean, when it comes to the thing, the amount of alt charge you can build in team fights or during strategist ultimates is his superpower. Oh, and TTK with a great right click immediately down goes NK. Great job on the side of 100
if I'm Envy, I'm
with an early space advantage,
NK.
pushing them right back into the doorway.
Yeah, this is what 100 Thieves do so well. They're playing that macro, right? While the 1v1
how his brother already did
is unfortunately being given a lot of resources against him. 100 Thieves push on the other side, give up on that 1 versus 1, and take perfect advantage off the fact of NK being caught out.
Yeah, and here comes the 1v1 as the Lena is going to take that early on to Cal. Just a great sense of awareness, understanding the backline play and shutting that down before anything can happen. I did like the idea there from Cal. I really did like the potential play as we are going to start popping ultimates now. Immediately going to see the Fate of Both World pop on the side of Sleepy Envy with the early utilization of the strategist ultimates. It's going to go in the favor of 100 Thieves as they return back immediately. Using one right back at him as Harvey.
He protected him.
Are popping ults.
Holy shit.
Some value. The dunk goes out. SJP gonna take out space. Return right back from Cal into Terra. Sleepy into Vinny. And right now Envy ahead.
Yeah, Sleepy is still so good, keeping the team in. I thought 100 Thieves played that well to keep SJP alive. keep him in the fight, also to build that Fate of Both Worlds, which is close on. But if space can be queued with that meatball ship, this could be brutal for the side of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it is scary. You know, when in the sky, look for any shield possible, natural cover in.
NK is like my teammates I get in run.
Pressure here on the side of 100 Thieves. Sleepy, great positioning, great heals, keeping the team up, eyes on everyone at the same time. Good hold, as there is no advantage yet, and SJP did pop Fate of Both Worlds.
Okay, nice pull by NK.
Return right back into remix. Numbers are even, but down one Vanguard as Cal's trying to deal a ton of damage. Does have ult ready on the side of Hella, Goddess of Death ready to be used. Will Cal trying to make a play before the strategist ultimates come back around?
Bro, they don't have any defense up. Why is he not ulting?
Going for his flank. Now he goes for come back for Terra, so they're going to do a triple Vanguard at the current moment. Ultimates pop. Sleepy with the Fate of Both Worlds to keep the team healthy. Meanwhile, the top
now they
side,
have a strange. Oh my god, bro, these people are. I actually can't.
So. Now with the Magneto ult of Terra, what if he hit? It's blocked by another shield and a bubble. They avoid it until now.
This gotta be. Bro, if he ulted fucking 10 seconds ago, they would have won. They would have actually fucking won. Holy shit, bro.
Well done.
How are we so dumb fucks?
This early fight, really back and forth there. Great positioning on both sides. Fight was really stalled out. Just not a lot happening.
They would have definitely won.
3 unsuccessful ultimates, just strictly like you mentioned, due to the shield compositions. And yeah, although it looked great on the side of Envy, did fall towards the end of the fight. And 100 Thieves just kind of owning the space.
Sheesh.
Yeah, owning it at the current moment. 100 Thieves sitting at that choke point.
Nah, bro, I'm actually pissed that he didn't
They played earlier. We'll see if it works out. Armed and Dangerous committed earlier by NK, immediately countered by Harvey.
We matched result.
Yeah, Harvey and Payne just matching the boundaries, buying a little bit of time, but as soon as this drops in about a few seconds here, yep, the fight will begin. Trying to find these off angles, finding out where everyone is after the invis does get dropped. Delena chasing Cal again, the 1v1's back.
Nah, bro, he's actually getting diffed.
Again, and Dome Cal.
Nah, the diff is crazy.
TTK, one of the most strong, if not the strongest.
Bro, this NK guy, I swear, bro.
They still are owning these numbers.
I will pay Envy to remove him.
Trying to take space as he does, and
nah,
just
bro,
like
GG's.
that, Harvey gonna be dropping remix. Space is gonna fall to
Surely we drop
NK.
NK.
He's gonna keep this train rolling.
You gotta feel good about that if you're Team Envy.
See, this is
coming back in at least.
I'm saying it again. If Hella ulted before, this would have not happened.
But, you know, earlier in that engage, I think 100 Thieves just played it perfectly to counter, and then TTK now available with another Meteor M. We'll see if he can go big yet again.
Yeah, we are going to see the retake and fight.
Holy bro, this NK guy again is dead. Oh my god, he's so. Oh my god, I don't want to say it, but holy shit, he's fucking bad.
Off-angle chases, finding value in every open space is going to fall there from space, though. Numbers still on the side of 100 Thieves. Terra trying to find Sleepy, does do so, as they are going to try to take point 2, looking towards their favor space. A little bit weak. They're going to just hold on to this ult economy, not play a little too aggressive, take this space without overutilization. Really smart play here on the side of 100 Thieves, and they are going to come back into the next fight with ult advantage.
Yeah, the difficulty is Team Envy is really good at this hella composition,
about to lose my mind.
but 100 Thieves, you know, seem to just be better, right? I mean, Delena hits those shots. Even when Cal hits the stuns, he got the second one, able to get the elimination on the Cal. So that's like 2 or 3 times this game that Delena's got the better of Cal. And at the moment, it's making a difference as there's 2 minutes and
Surely we're not talking about Delena and Cal, right?
Yeah, there's no disrespect.
What about Becky, NK and Terra? Oh my god.
Really smart,
this guy is.
It's just being read as we say that. Cal, nice pick there on Terra. I just like this positioning.
He's getting divs, so I won't hype him right now.
As the building does reconstruct, we are going to start using these boundaries again, and we are going to drop back here with Envy, just trying to buy time.
But that was a good shot.
Ultimate almost here for Cal. Incredible position there. Knew what was going to happen. Perfect timing. Owning this height is going to get thrown out though, and ready to try to find some more pressure with Ultimate.
Give him. Yes, finally.
Get the numbers back towards him.
NK finally gets a kill. Yo, Carl, how are you missing?
Dude, he just got jump scared by Delena, bro. Just ran off the top. Delena just shows up in Cal's face. Cal's like, oh hey, I'll just get rid of you. That was definitely an interesting play
good
for
fight,
Mr.
good
Ant.
fight. Finally, NK did something, so they are winning.
Yeah, I mean,
they are always playing 5v6 because of this NK guy. Holy diff.
pick there again. It's all about those 1v1s popping that E. If you get that mini stun reposition back, you typically will win the fight as long as you do it first. And yeah, Cal showcasing that, hey, I'm not done yet. Let me get these numbers back. Didn't like how they were favored on your side at first. So holding this angle here, forcing TTK to look in this direction instead of towards the rest of the team. And if he doesn't, then Cal just finds this opportunity, just barely missed Terra there. NK falls from Terra during that fight.
Both baitable towards Pop just to give each other's team a little bit of time, but no Winter Soldier, like you mentioned, with NK getting picked off again. We need to see him kind of come back, get back into this fight. Vinny creating a lot of space too for Delena.
No.
That ultimately cracked.
Why did we ult, bro? What is this guy doing?
Cal holding on to not feed the meteor, and that's a great play. I believe Cal was worried about the
what are we doing?
The clobbering time on him in that
we wasted 2 Hellas, by the way.
Still in the fight, numbers dead even, and here comes clobbering
now,
time.
this is
remix immediately gonna get popped up with the barrier on the side of Harvey. Delena,
this is too OP.
The goddess of death in the sky, where they find value. Not quite yet, as the numbers have not moved. But will we see Cal get this pick? No, unable to do so. Relocating directly back into this position, and honestly, I'm learning something new here. This is
nice.
Spot as Cal
nice. Both healers dead. Both healers dead. What a bubble, bro. What a bubble. Oh, holy diff. Nice.
Hold on point 3.
Shout out
show me stats. Show me fucking NK stats.
Turning it around that third map. He's been playing well too on map number 1. It's just Delena.
Come on, please.
At least the attack was just kind of getting the better of him. But towards the end, right, just consistently playing that top angle in that window. Back and forth, right? A lot of players maybe not used to the destructibles that are in Marvel Rivals. And obviously, Cal showing that he is. Dude, that defense, it's so hard to deal with that Hella up top. You have to commit so many cooldowns just to get there and match him. Really, the only one that can do that is the other team's Hella. And unfortunately, Delena just, I don't know what happened to cooldowns.
NK is the Bucky I get on ranked games.
Not to have that angle, just wanted to commit his ult in main. And it was really good disengage by Envy that saved their lives.
Yeah, talk about positioning as a duelist and how strong that is the entire time on an off angle. But you'll see a lot in ladder. You may be saying, oh, you know, the DPS always behind me. Oh, I did a ton of damage. Yeah, but you're just shooting through me, where something like Cal on those high angles, getting picks, forcing eyes to look in another direction is almost as valuable as getting a pick on a strategist. If the team is separated in their focus, that's how you take advantage.
8 and 6.
Really
this guy is fucking 8 and 6.
I
mean,
it
does have 14k damage, but it doesn't
more
matter.
On this front line, you know, just looking at his stats alone is not going to.
He has died the most in his team.
Right now,
I'm telling you, bro, he's just not him on Bucky. He's not even her. He's nothing. I mean, I won't say nothing. He's a problem. But holy shit, bro, just get off. Get off, Bucky, bro. Please. Go punish her.
That would be big for Envy moving forward.
We do see consistency on the side of defense here. TTK, obviously, you can get a look here at the controller scheme. You gotta love to see it. Controller players, I'm sure, are hyped up in that moment as we are gonna hold the same exact angle. Will it play out similar?
Yeah, this match, 100
thieves. Will they get
100. Holy shit, what a pull. Never mind.
They are gonna pop that Magneto. Ooh, Sleepy. Great pick there.
What a pull, NK.
To give advantage towards Envy. 100 thieves. Gonna be losing Terra. No more
we tell him
for the moment.
we appreciate him.
Good play until
Another Hella did by the way.
He's still sitting in this back. I don't know how Cal unfortunately could not win that, but we talked about the hook. He's still up there, by the way, still sitting above Envy, making them look around. That was a huge pickoff from NK. If he could do that again here, bring this fight back into Envy's control, that's exactly what they needed to get this cart pushing and get to the second phase of the match.
Yeah, you thought it was going to start, the momentum was going to shift towards Envy there, and then you had to
let
it even out numbers. Payne, nice pick there on Terra. Well done, great position.
But as a Bucky, I think it's easy to give down.
Play this natural cover, and yeah, tries to make a play onto the height. Unfortunately, not able to make that jump. Got to be careful. Throws the shield to protect themselves. You gotta love the play from Payne. Very smart play to pop that shield on someone close by and utilize it yourself. And here we go as we start the next fight. Odds are in the favor right now of 100 Thieves with 3 ultimates.
Holy!
As we do see a pick there from Cal, given the advantage in numbers.
What a block
towards Envy, and 100 Thieves are going to start popping these ultimates. Harvey throwing out the invisible boundary. Vinny still holding on SJP. There goes the clobbering time. SJP going to start the dance. Will they be able to make anything happen through this? Space does have the ult. Will he dunk the meatball onto the dance floor?
Okay, nice.
That one, not the dance. Terror goes down. Well done by Space. Owning Space, if you will, going to pressure with the.
Surely we heal.
But no.
Space there, right? We have both healers alive.
Yeah, they're still holding on to this corner, right? Just consistently playing this objective, right? Having both vanguards.
How
there,
did we
also
not heal
keeping
space
everybody
there?
alive,
How?
right? You might have
I
lost
just
the
want
run,
an
you might have had some
explanation.
earlier tough fights,
We
but
have
they've
both
already got
healers
2
alive.
minutes off the clock. They're doing a good job just playing that time, making sure Envy doesn't push forward without having to commit some ultimates right now.
Yeah, you saw a textbook masterclass there in natural.
We are
cover.
also not
100
healing.
They may have
Remix.
a bunch of pressure on them, but all the Vanguards have to do is just drop to that natural cover behind the bus, let the strategist get an eye on you, and just hold that corner. There's no reason to do anything else, and just buy time until the team can reset.
Another
And
waste
they did
of
it, and it just worked
arm
so
and dangerous.
well. You can just see the confidence, the understanding, and the lack of panic. You cannot panic in those moments. Elena with a nice pick on paint there, and Envy's gonna have to drop back and reset.
Oh my god, I feel like Envy played that so well and are still losing. It's like, that's actually just absurd. NK found those 2 opening picks on their engage, but then everybody else disengaging ultimates, perfectly timed bubble from TTK to keep SJP alive, into now, you know, Vinny jumping from player to player, turning your team into mini raid bosses is just absolutely brutal.
I still don't know how we did not heal space there.
Yeah, it's just like the play. Like, once again, I mean, just the way they're playing off each other, the comms got to be so smooth and fluid. They know the cooldowns. They understand who's got what up, when to pop the actual cooldowns they need in the moment.
4 ultimates versus 2, by the way.
Getting picks and then playing it slow, because they're not going to win the long fight if you are up on numbers and you play it correctly, unless they burn a ton of ultimates. But if you're looking again towards
And
the
then we use that
4 ultimates, almost 5 up right now.
I think we should have let
against
them
3,
use.
but they are going to start building as we do see the fate of both worlds. Will they be a pick as we start with Terra trying to make a play out of the back line? No luck yet, but Terra does have ultimate. Here goes the return, immediately invisible boundary. Did we see? No, I thought they did double strategist, but no, it's just back and forth in the invisible boundary. No pick yet on either, as Cal still holding the off angle. Early pick
Cal
there by
gets
Cal.
one, NK gets
gonna take
one
it
again.
or TTK.
Nice.
Terra goes down by NK, as we are seeing the jump from the Kraken Impact. Take Impact, make that 3, as they are going to take over. Point 1.
Chill, brother, chill.
These are absolutely wild fights. We saw committed ultimates both from TTK and Vinny, and then also with SJP to go in, try to find Sleepy, but Sleepy dodging all of that Meteor M. The rest of the backline to avoid it, not relying on the bubble, was huge in terms of cooldown management. So Envy clutched up when it mattered most. NK as well with a huge Kraken impact to follow up his team.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that. These players do not make that mistake. You got to find that early pick. If you get the reset, everything changes. A lot of people, you know, as soon as they see an opportunity, they see a team bunch together, they try to start that off.
Okay,
but you got every
holy
eye looking at you. You got to find a window when things are distracting.
Holy
in
space.
Early pick there on Harvey. That's a massive early take, as they are going to keep the pressure on, bubble up that thing while he makes space. And the thing trying to just build charge. Off angle here. Again from Delena, but Delena's not taking any damage, just holding that space, trying to find a pick on the back line. But still, it hasn't happened yet. Waiting till the team comes back in for distraction's sake.
That's a good mark
Gonna
from
take out Remix. Very unfortunate there.
He keeps
not
on marking
the
the hell
follow-up needed because they were afraid of the Delena on the high ground. But Cal gonna make that problem no more, and the numbers are back to even.
Ult?
Yeah, Delena was going to try to ult there, but I think he had a ceiling over him, so he could not commit the ultimate. Now Cal has full advantage, like you mentioned. Terra taking so much poke from this left side. Armed again, or yeah, ultimate committed from NK. Also, Cal went down as brutal though, so a bit of a mistake on Team MV side. Huge clobber in time from Vinny.
We got the first pick and we still lose.
Obviously, the thing in these tight quarters is a terrifying force with the CC strictly from the shoulder check. Yancey Street Charge is not only a great defensive ability, but if you just hold on to that, run in circles and keep bodying everybody, just shoulder checking them into the sky, it makes team fighting very difficult. And then following up with the clobbering time after that, the CC train is obscene. And they do make a playoff, and now they're holding on to 5 ultimates on the side of 100 Thieves, but it's almost 5 right back at him with Envy. This next fight's gonna be insane.
Space got the first pick on a healer that too.
Both teams sort of feeling it out. 25 seconds left. I have a feeling this is going to enter overtime as this fight is going to be extended.
Yeah, and we start here. TTK trying to get ready to throw this Meteor M, getting ready to bake this meatball and dunk it on a backline strategist, but NK gets an early pick there on Terra. Clobbering time on the side of iRemix. Doesn't find enough value to get some picks. We're going to see some strategist ultimates be pop Sleepy. Going to be launching that. Harvey use the invisible barrier back and forth on both sides. They're going to take out the Lena early. And once again, they're making the space when it counts. And here comes the jump. TTK looking for Invis. Unfortunately, not able to find it as it does connect.
What a wave on his ultimate.
And they're still holding on, but they're running out of ultimates.
There is so much we have to do to stop 100 Thieves. They also come back in the clobbering time, but they're totally fine right now as Space comes back in with the Meteor. Who is he going to dunk it on? Can he even hit anybody? Doesn't look like it. Now he's kind of caught out. People can clutch on 100 Thieves' side. Also, NK with the impact, trying to come through, find eliminations, but nothing is found just yet. In fact, it's the 100 Thieves and TPK who have somehow rubber banded back into the fight. No Cal on the flank, looking for eliminations. He has to find.
Surely we win this, right?
Harvey, are you kidding me?
Bro, Cal, holy save.
Holy
save by Cal.
To witness, clutching up when you need to, not
Actually insane.
Just
Whoa.
heart right there. I feel like I just watched an actual movie. Gorgeous play by Envy to turn that around.
Space actually carrying this team.
Dude, they're heating up, Shiv. They're warming up right now.
Sleepy is nice too.
You know, I was going to say,
even
if they were to lose this map, Shiv, they look like they're on another level right now. They're leveling up.
But the work
100 Thieves is
Cal and
keep having
Space
Cal
do is
in the
actually
team play at the level they're playing at. I could see Envy competing with the 100 Thieves in this series.
Yeah, I see the confidence now as we're getting to the map win potential right here. 1 minute on the clock. Now it's all about making things count. Do not play scared. You saw what you can do when you have the momentum in your favor and you're still using it. Try to make a play as we do have all the advantage again on the side of 100 Thieves, but still trying to gain space. They are holding on. 40 seconds on the clock. Punches are out. We'll see who gets value out of these popped ultimates right now.
Space, hello?
You can see this mini micro
How are
fight
we not
happening on the
healing
left
space?
side with both Selena and Cal. Selena first use the ultimate early. We'll see if Envy disengage it, and they do shit. They just walk away.
Really smart play. I mean, you have the time. It's all about one fight. You don't need to try to make this 2 fights. It's not worth it. Wow, Delena gonna break the map apart, I believe. Take out SJP. Wasn't sure on the angle there, but wow. That is a really important pick. As Sleepy did have ultimate there on the side of Luna. We are gonna use this early. Should be able to get back in time. 6 seconds on the clock. Let's get the touch with 3. Is gonna bring it to OT, and here we go as we start the Fate of Both Worlds dance.
Holy shit, nice.
NK. Pick up Delena. Start the dance. Crack it impact, and we are gonna see another dance floor here. Holding on to buying time on the side of NK. Now it's all about after these are done. Where does the meatball land? Does it connect?
Fucking Sleepy died.
It does. 100 TTK gonna take out Pain. Oh my goodness, Cal gonna get a pick on Harvey. It's so back and forth.
Cal, again, could be the hero. He could end it right now. He needs to fight
Holy Cal.
But then he traded back NK. Both Winter Soldiers are removed out of the fight. Cal needs to find something to freeze some from
Kill.
Also goes too far. Sleepy took him down. And so does Cal. Are you kidding me?
Let's go.
They're going to get it done in overtime.
Holy Cal. My king.
What an absolute change of events. Great play on both sides.
Cal
what
is
a fight
actually
to
insane,
witness.
bro.
It's always back and forth, down to the moment, clutch moments.
Cal
showcases that positioning, driving back everyone. Will not even had
they almost lost because Invis had to use her ult early. Sleepy MVP, I told you he's under.
Wow. Sleepy,
the Invis had to use his ultimate because
Sleepy's just absolutely
Sleepy died. 60,000 healing is insane, bro.
He got picked towards the end, obviously, but that's just in Sleepy fashion.
30 and 8.
You know how it is. But you know,
30 and 8 is insane.
Right now. You talked about it, Shiv, in the clutch both times, right? They just came back. Perfect timing.
The Cal dip.
Yeah, that was an insane thing to witness. I had so much fun watching that game. Cal, 19 final hits, right? Delena, 14, great damage on both sides. But NK, something we didn't mention, 35k damage, playing very aggressive and making that thing back down a little bit. It's scaring Vinny, you know, forcing him back towards his team, using that Yancey Street as a defensive ability instead of something that could mess with the strategy on their side. I just think that this team, when it comes to clutch moments, stepped up and they showcased that 100 Thieves is not impenetrable. This can happen for them as long as they keep it moving.
Yeah, as long as they keep moving, we'll do the same thing. We're going to go to a short highlight and then come back for map number 3.
Back for map number 3. But this positioning is actually insane. It shouldn't be allowed. This 3k from cowards. This was a throw, can't lie. I think he was trying to ult, but no space. No space. I can take you where no one can find. I wanna listen to songs. I wanna listen to We Go Food Guesser again. I know. What the fuck is this? No. I mean, it's Colombia. No. Nigeria. This is the only countries I know. Bro, are you fucking kidding me? I don't wanna. Italy? What? Nah, this looks shit for you. What the fuck? Okay, bro. Really, bro? If I get this wrong, I should just kill myself. Rasmalai. Okay, bro. Really? Bibimbap. Oh, this is bibimbap? What? I just did this. What was it again? Philippines, right? I'm so good at this game. Ooh. Korean? No. I say Korean because fried chicken padak. Oh, gochuga. I should have read the. What the fuck is this? But what is this? Watermelon? What the fuck? Nordic? No. France? No. Tomato sandwich. Oh, that's a tomato. What? Who eats a tomato this big? Oh, that is a tomato. What the fuck? Wait, that's a big ass tomato? I don't know, Mexican. Borders Mexico. Chile. No, wait, Chile doesn't. USA? USA people have the worst, dumbest food ever. China, maybe? China. No? China. Wait, it's Nordic, maybe? A soup like this. France. Which language is that? Italy? What the fuck? This looks Nordic. But no, it's French. This could be France. Borders France. Spain. No. What borders France? Oh, I need to learn. Germany borders France. I need to learn map very more. This has to be African. I don't know why. Oh, no. Maybe South America. Peru. No. Wait, what is this then? Dim Lama. Sounds Myanmar? What the fuck? Dim Lama. I don't know, bro. Uzbekistan, of course. This has to be China. No? Maybe Japan? No? Wait, it's not Asia. Is it? Looks Asian, no? I don't know. Let's just see. Indonesia. That was Asia, bro. Give me a fucking worm, not a coal. Fucking dumbass game. Looks like Iran, maybe. Afghanistan. I don't know what borders Afghanistan and Iran. Pakistan? Pakistan, India. Wait. Huh? India? Wait, I didn't know that. Japan. Korea. Jumkpop. We just saw this. It was. I forgot. Portugal. Oh. I've eaten this. I don't know where I have eaten this. Maybe Finland. Denmark. Sweden. Norway. Iceland. Fucking Switzerland. Where are you in Switzerland? Okay, this is Korea. I've eaten this.
Hundred Thieves had won the game, but we've been in games ourselves in ladder where you look at the stat line of a team and you won the game just because of clutch moments. You look at the stat line and you're like, oh man, we should not have won that game, and that is not always the case because you know you can get KO'd 1,000 times, but if you took the point, you took the point, and they always took the point.
I just read Booty official here.
Yeah, that really is all that matters. And, you know, moving forward for Team Envy, they have to feel good about that, right, Shib? So, you know, moving into this next one, the only worry that I would have for Team Envy is like, okay, now you've pissed off 100 Thieves, right? I mean, we're going first to 3. We know these guys like to talk a lot of trash on X, not Twitter. And they like to mention a lot of, other teams' dog water, terrible, and all this sort of stuff. And that's what we love. And personally, I love when, when players talk a lot of crap. And, 100 Thieves definitely do it as well as show love. So this team, when they lose, Shib, it seems like on them at number 3, they get angry, right? They start to let it fester a bit and play better. So that's a worry if your Team Envy now is maybe you've let 100 Thieves warm up.
The best teams love winning, but they hate losing more. And I think, like you're saying, the Hulk approach, this is just going to make them angry. 100 Thieves is now taking it to them, no holds barred. They're going in hot. And I'm excited to witness it because I know how strong of a team they are. You mentioned a little bit of the trash talk. Obviously, when it comes to esports, I love that stuff, witnessing it as a caster, as a host. We just have a ton of fun with it. But yeah, I know there's going to be some conversation now, and I know they're not going to let that slide.
No, yeah, 100 Thieves now, going to the drawing boards, can maybe pick a map that they prefer. Right, I'm trying to remember. I mean, obviously I don't have the stats, but it does seem like whenever 100 Thieves play on Midtown, they kind of struggle a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the map or whatever. Obviously, for Team Envy, they know, the maps that the 100 Thieves are weaker on or that they're better on in practice, and same thing for 100 Thieves. So they're going to pick a map on the other side that, maybe the side of Envy aren't that good on. So I'm curious to see what they pick.
Yeah, I was trying to think in my head, what mode do they like more? Are they a domination team? But in the end of the day, their stat line, they've been just winning no matter what, right? So it's difficult to have that understanding, until we start chipping away at some of these round losses here to see where they may struggle, which map they may struggle. I'm curious, do you think they're going to pick Converge? They're going domination? What do you think they're running here?
I mean, they're hovering on all the Joel. I would say, I can see that they're doing that, so I don't have to fully... expect, but I don't know. I think a lot of teams like to play on these sort of long maps, right? These maps where on Convergence or some of these other types. I feel like people love to play on those map types right now. And I don't think 100 Thieves are really outside of the realm of playing on another map that's like Midtown again.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a weakness thing. It's just more so comfort. I like finding out where teams like to play, what maps they like the most, because everybody's got a different take on it. When it comes to me, domination, always love domination, right? I know it's a strong suit, so I try to stick to it. I'm sure coaches got all that information locked down. The coach, data is key, right? When it comes to coaching, their Excel sheets are disgusting to look at, I'm sure. So they've got all this figured out, and they're going to make some changes. Do you think we're going to see a composition switch here?
It's probably going to be the same for both sides. I'll be real with you. I imagine. The Loki ban comes through again. Maybe you let it slide this time if you're 100 Thieves to mix things up. I think even it's so funny because you know, not to spoil it. Obviously, I think the players should
Rudy
keep these things
officials,
close
not
to
Rudy.
themselves. But I think one time I was watching Terra's stream, or it was Harvey, and he like literally pulled
Lost
up what their
Olympian.
ban phase was gonna look like. Like he showed like on stream like the spreadsheet you talked about okay, this team's probably gonna want to play Groot, they probably want to play this, and then this is what we're gonna ban. So it's like some of their strategies are definitely complex. They have an idea of what the other team's gonna play. But like you mentioned, it's about adjusting. It's about figuring out if you do want to ban something again or if you're feeling confident, because 100 Thieves, I mean, you win one or two more of those fights. Was it really a compositional diff? Was it really that? Or was it more, you know, slipping when you needed to clutch up?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think we looked at those stat lines. Their stat lines were insane. It's more so, like you're saying, it's just when it came to crunch time, they just lost those fights. It was just that simple. And it's funny, we actually, in Shikigami today, had mentioned that they do have
I'll be
coaching
back. Give me a second. Oh.
bans in the ban phase. So the amount of data and understanding and how meta you can get in terms of map understanding, opposition understanding, what they like to run, what their stat lines look like, you know, where they feel comfortable, and trying to shut that down in obscure ways by getting rid of counters and things that help buff certain team strategies. That stuff gets so intense and insane. I just love to hear they have a separate coach strictly for bans as we get into game 3 here.
Well, I noticed how, like you said, like they've been smart to realize that, right? Because a lot of teams before, I feel like even MRC, like some of the bans have not been like that good, right? As a player, I imagine you can have a lot of bias. You can figure those things out. You know, why we ban this character every time or whatever. In this case, 100 Thieves first banning Hella. They have had enough, so they've mixed it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's who shows up in the day, right? It's no conversation around, oh, Delena got, you know, to be honest, the take really should be who had their moment and who's feeling confident. Once you're on your heels, it's very much a confidence game when you're a duelist. You have to believe that you are going to be better. So those 1v1s, you're not playing safe, you're playing them aggressively, because whoever thinks they have the win typically will have the win. So if they're not feeling as confident, to me, it makes a ton of sense for them to just take that right off the table.
Yeah, you might also force Envy into forcing Cal off of the Hella, right? I mean, obviously in that case, maybe have him play that triple strategist that really was like advantageous towards the 100 Thieves. Maybe you bait them into playing that, leaving the Adam Warlock on the table, getting rid of both Namor and Hella removes those two heroes for Cal, so he'll have to dig deep into his hero pool. Maybe play that Star-Lord alongside NK, or, you know, with the fact that Wolverine's gotten through every time, Shib, it seems like the meta sort of phased out, passed over that character, it seems like.
Yeah, at least with the team comps they're running, they're not giving him the chance to get in there where they're just raw damage at range. They do like to play those range styles like you mentioned. So just bursting him, having comps in terms of his positioning and understanding what his play is going to be is massive for this level of play. I mean, a lot of the time, climbing a ladder, you get surprised, right? You get surprised by the angles. You had no idea where he's at, but this communication, they've got it down. It's like a GPS system. They know exactly where everyone is at all times, and it does help counter a bit of that Wolverine play.
I like how, in this case, right, we've forced Envy, at least you've made a change for 100 Thieves, right? Cal off the Hella, now going over to Winter Soldier. Now you force NK off of Winter Soldier and onto Star-Lord because maybe that's something he's more comfortable with than Cal. So for the side of TTK and 100 Thieves, rather, they've sort of made these adjustments. You see how Terra is sticking on Winter Soldier and Delena's the one picking up the Star-Lord? Maybe in this case, right, they feel comfortable and happy to get, you know, multiple heroes or multiple players to pick different heroes leading into this next map. Maybe forcing Envy to be in a tougher spot mentally.
Yeah, and we did allow Loki back in, right? So we are going to see some comfort picks back there from Harvey, who, you know, well known as a great Loki player. Loki really performs on this map. Clones have really high positioning, and they're just obviously very valuable in general, but the sheer raw damage in burst healing output, as you can see actually through the wall here, the side of 100 Thieves taking a little bit of an obscure angle walk in, are going to start that fight on height, but there's no real luck yet as they burst right through the wall and just go directly on a point. 100 Thieves, a very aggressive strategy. Harvey gonna take out Cal, and it goes right back as NK takes out Terra. Numbers evened out, and it's just going to be a DPS burn down as we do start the fight 5v5.
Yeah, a little bit late crystals there from Harvey, and Remix now going over to the Venom instead on this map too could be advantageous, but the CC, oh no, Remix, no movement abilities to be used there because of what Vinny did. And now with that, right, they have so much presence towards this point, especially lacking him now.
Oh, great pick there by TTK. Keeping eyes on the strategist and not letting them escape. Knew exactly where Loki was going to be. Loki fell and then fell directly into his trap as they take point one with 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. You weren't lying when you said the Hulk is unleashed. Bruce Banner is now gone as they are going to keep this space moving forward.
And keep it moving into the streets phase. We saw Terra, after getting picked, also swap to the Doctor Strange to give his team the advantage with the teleport. So, you know, with that first point take, 100 Thieves put themselves in a good spot. Also, immediate tempo ultimate from Delay.
Yeah, just gonna put the pressure on Force. Oh, got a pick prior to the dance floor. Well done. As it goes right back, Envy gonna take out Delena right out of the sky, and we are gonna see pops on both sides in terms of
I was not playing the game.
Still gonna keep things relatively even as we are still holding
I had to go poop
on defense inside of Envy.
Kraken Impact committed, met by
what map is
we playing this? As he swapped, or he got the copy. Also, Vinny walking in, taking out
Envy on defense.
Massive for them. Space with the top, Meteor S. Not gonna
They capped the first point very fast.
Back out. Remix gets stunned, and 100 Thieves just sort of.
They bring the res,
the problem.
What were the mans?
The maze that is Envy,
well, you
right,
don't say anything.
Walking them down. 4 minutes and 20
I really
seconds
had to
left
go
now
pee.
in the street phase of the map.
Yeah, the Vanguards on the side of Envy are struggling. Just the sheer off angles back and forth, firing at the same time. Delena is going to force them to look backwards. Terra going to be fighting from the front side. Immediately, we're going to be losing space there, literally, and also space on the side of Envy as we are pushing towards point two. Just a ton of open area and ult advantage on the side of 100 Thieves. We are going to be seeing this clobbering time shortly from virtually both sides. Nice pick there by iRemix on Delena. That is a huge early take, and Paint going to take out Vinny, and they are going to walk this back, giving them a little bit of time.
Yeah, both teams, I think, are not uncomfortable per se, but this change, the switch up, right, results in Delena having to play the Star-Lord and getting caught up by a Remix, not really aware of maybe that spacing that he's usually supposed to play as Remix, you know, connects onto him, removes that mobility, and now Envy can potentially hold.
Yeah, really good ult economy there. Just the patience on the side of Envy, not popping anything. They do have 5, and as soon as I say that, NK gonna utilize that ultimate early. We are gonna see the meatball back on TTK, trying to land on something. Does take out 2 as they take TTK. Delena right back into Terra, taking out Sleepy. There goes Cal as well, and Terra's just on a rampage.
Terra is insane.
He's trying to find more, and will he make another play? Bang! Down goes the squad with a
Terra is insane.
4-piece. 5? Was I too early?
Why are we feeding him?
As they do take point 2.
Yeah, taking point 2 off of, like you said, the ultimate with TTK, connecting onto, I believe it was Paint earlier on. And now, you know, 100 Thieves consistently pushing forward. It's hard to retouch in that second phase as well without that Doctor Strange, and currently 100 Thieves putting the pressure on Envy right now. Although they had ultimates, they were never in a spot where they could have used them.
I need to copy his.
Yeah, I think right now, you know, I can just feel them leaning into their screens. You know what I mean? I can just understand the desks got a little more weight on them as all of them are just ensuring they show up now. They're frustrated, they're angry, and it's working. We do see 6 ultimates ready here. Early ult there on the side of Paint. No real battle back in terms of a cancellation of the ultimate. So I think they're just trying to read all the pacing here as it does get matched right back. A little bit of like a 4-second difference on the side of SJP. Magneto in the sky with the Meteor M does land immediately on Terra. Terra goes down. Nice pick there on the side of Space. Doing a great job finding value with each of these ultimates. Cal going to take out Vinny, and Envy now is finding their footing, and this is what you needed to see. Oh, as we do see a turnaround. TTK going to take out Cal. Delena going to find one on NK.
Where the labs at, brother?
Too soon, right onto the strategist. Great crystals there by Loki to retake and own the space.
Bro said great crystals by Loki after half of his team died.
Hit there on iRemix somehow escapes, I believe. Or excuse me, Vinny does escape Terra. Gonna get 2 with that one swing, make that 3.
Damn.
And Terra is dominating here again with the
Terra actually insane.
Yeah, I think this just goes to show, oh my god, did he get the reset? No, misses in the spawn, but this just goes to show that you can win any fight as long as you have Meteor M up. TTK came back through with SJP, down 2 members, and then Delena understood it was go time. Remix, oh my gosh, falls so low, but NK and crew now coming back through, regaining a bit of that momentum. Back towards the cart. NK somehow, through the crystals, was able to
holy.
But Terra, no way! However, Remix there to follow up, and now without those duelists, 100 Thieves probably just reset.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. There's just so much back and forth in these fights. Everyone is just playing so calm. Space, great pick there on Harvey as Harvey falls early in this fight, forcing them to retake a little bit, at least hold on by time. Oh my goodness, Space says I'll stagger all day if need be. Dude does have that Meteor. You had the discussion around this Meteor M almost being more valuable. See, in my Pee-wee brain, I'd be thinking that Strange as Agamotto is gonna get these strategist ultimates because I know how to make it happen, but no, just so much confidence from these Meteors in the sky. You just rarely see them missing, just dunking on these strategists every single fight.
Yeah, they're just so good at what they do. Early engaged by Envy.
How is NK dying
the ultimate from Paint not there in time. Crack and Impact at least committed from Terra, but here goes Space again with the Meteor over the top. Terra
holy,
sniffed
nice
out
shot.
in that back line. Also,
Don't let him.
connects on the NK for the supports. The strategist doing a good job keeping it alive. TPK forcing those out. Looks for the dunk. Connects on the
shit,
cow.
what?
And that's what you want to find on 100 Thieves side.
See, I don't even know how. Just an absolute 360. LeBron dunks on him, makes it happen. Cal goes down early, and they're just going to keep this pressure and run it on home as they are owning the space. TTK still fully healed up, owning this as we're going to have Vinny fighting virtually the whole team in an alleyway. Going to turn back on the thing. Remix going to fall there early, and this is going to keep the pressure on the side of 100 Thieves with 55 seconds on the clock. Got to show some respect here. Envy, when there was a ton of time on here, still bringing this down to the final minute, but no, it's looking heavily in the side of 100 Thieves as they drive this thing home with 40 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, once you lose Remix there, I don't really know if there's a way to come back into this, especially with how well we saw Vinny building towards that ultimate. I mean, just closed down with the clobber in time. Team Envy, unfortunately, forced into that spot, like forced away from the objective to try to stay inside. You saw Remix constantly bounce back and forth. Envy and the bubbles.
They tried nerfing Cal. No,
NK,
my man Cal
Remix
got nerfed.
But, you know, 100 Thieves side with Vinny. Nice clobbering times towards the very end. Also, the rest of the crew to follow it up. And 100 Thieves still in a pretty good spot after the captain map. That's a huge change, especially from Midtown Shib, as they were not able to cap outright, got stopped in third phase. We saw maybe why 100 Thieves picked this map versus Team Envy.
Yeah, I asked the audience to keep their eyes on the thing when it comes to utilization of clobbering time. We haven't seen a ton of it on screen, but there is a ton of value utilizing clobbering time. As we're going to see a potential pick here on the Penny Mines would be absolutely insane at this level of play. But what I'm saying is that ultimately, when that strategist ultimate ends, if you follow it up instantaneously with clobbering time, your entire team gets so much value as it does some damage there, but not enough to matter. Going to get healed up. That would have been hysterical if that worked out on the side of Envy. But yeah, I mean, the clobbering time post-strategist ultimate is such a strong value. You count that thing out, you understand when Luna's going to stop the dance, when the fate is going to end, and then you just stun the entirety of the team because they're all grouped onto that ultimate, and just you can just find so much value that way.
Yeah, and in Vinny following that advice to a T, exactly what you mentioned, and you know, we're going to see on this defense how Team 100 Thieves can deal with MVS's attack.
Boy, it's so difficult to cap this point.
Venom, like he ran earlier, so that's a bit of a change up as well. You know, considering like we saw on first point, I don't know if Remix is going to distract this backline or at least dive the strategists, make sure that Team 100 Thieves are uncomfortable.
I think we've unlocked a new strategy as an entirety of a source here for Marvel Rivals. It seems like this angle's really strong as they're going to match it to Envy, just trying to hold that, but not pressing through nearly as fast as 100 Thieves did. They played with confidence as they are going to drop back and retake. Remake, trying to find a way to get in there with the Venom. Nice bubble there. You'll see that consistently on Star-Lord, allowing him to build that ult charge really quickly. Just a ton of holding. They don't care about this right now. They'll play here all day. There is no need to rush. Let us build our ultimate. Loki Crystal's getting popped there early. TTK trying to find value. We are going to see the spin to win again from NK, who's now feeling confident with the crystal on. Nice pick there on Terra. Well done, NK, to find value as they are going to start pressing here again and give Envy the space they needed to take this fight.
Using ult.
Yeah, in the neutral.
You have 5v6 winning.
So well on the top side as well. Copy from Harvey now comes back out late, so they're trying to change that tempo, regain the point again, and be forced that ultimate from Paint, and here it comes late.
Great positioning there. Drop back behind Space. Force your team to look at Space. It's a nice hit there on the Lena. I believe through the teleport. I'm not sure. As 100. Yes, down. Oh, 100 Thieves going to keep the pressure right back. Vinny going to be taking out Paint. Cal falls to the side of Terra. As the numbers are now waning a little bit. But it is going to be, I believe, back towards the side of 100 Thieves. Yes, as down goes Space. And the fight is going to have to be started all over again.
I don't
Bro,
know
why did we use Lunar there? We were winning.
Terra, but Terra, every first fight on these first objectives just keeps going down first. He got picked on attack, swapped to Doctor Strange. Terra as well got picked again, swapped Doctor Strange. So now running that triple Vanguard comp on defense. He's going to look for an aggressive Agamotto, I imagine. But he keeps doing this, getting picked early and coming back on Doctor Strange. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you don't hear about 100 Thieves running the triple Vanguard comp, right? Like, that was always the Sentinel play. It was something we all made, you know, we made jokes about. But this might have been those secrets that we talked about. Not afraid to teleport immediately back. They may not be a teleport comp where they're utilizing it all the time. But when you get picked early, why not get back here and start the fight again and just buy as much time as possible? Even if you lose the first point, Cal gonna get a pick on SJP. Immediately turn back Harvey. Gonna take out Cal. Remix with a nice punch there. Haymakering Terra into the dirt. Vinny gonna take out Space. So back and forth here. Still a battle on point as Vinny is at 100 HP, able to escape there, trying to find another punch. Bang! No connection yet, and it looks like Envy is re-owning this again as they do take out 3. NK gonna drop Vinny, and there goes the fate of both worlds as I believe Envy takes this point.
These clocks from the thing, anytime we're on his POV, is just hilarious. He just bonk, bonk after each other. But in that case, right, I don't think it was SJP who got picked earlier. I don't think he expected Cal to honestly be that insane. Like, Cal made an absolutely you know, S-word insane engage there by just going deep onto SJP over the top side towards the health pack. So I don't think SJP expected that, and because of it, Envy just keeps up that aggression, keeps up in the street phase of the map.
Yeah, playing with confidence now, right? That's what we talked about. It's so important. Wow, Cal and NK early picks there on both duelists on the side of 100 Thieves. Sleepy gonna get a pick on TTK, and right now they're just staggering away. They're gonna run themselves in to retake. They know that's okay. That stuff happens. Do not be afraid to reset. One of the biggest pieces of advice that people at this level will tell you is that staggering is the worst thing you can do right outside of using an ultimate in a 1v6 thinking you're Himothy, and you're not gonna make it happen. I promise you that. Reset with your team and start all over again. And as they take that advice, they're going to come out with confidence. Almost gets the pick. Great bubble there to hold on.
Does force that cooldown at the very least. Also, Delana's
holy NK.
No. I feel like you can tell Delana.
Keep playing Star-Lord, bro.
They're trying to come back in. Impact committed, but he's saved by the rest of the team. The both worlds. Terra, though, with the hook, brings back Cal, so we can see why they forced this composition with Terra on the Winter Soldier and Delana on the Star-Lord. So they're still maintaining this point. They're staying in a pretty good defensive position. However, Sleepy commits the copy, goes back forward with Team Envy as they look for more.
Just back and forth, using that punch to try to escape. Good decision making there. Trying not to get dunked on.
Why did we ult
still gonna start spinning away. Great focus here by TTK, trying to get a pick on the back line. Holy moly! Oh, Paint did fall, but the positioning was insane. Well done by Paint to try to hold on, just dancing around it, but no. Immediately back and forth. The ladder gonna take out NK as Terra takes out Remix. Numbers are back on the side of 100 Thieves, and I do think they have a chance here at owning this second point.
I don't know how
he really did not have to.
Also, the late picks come on through. Double support ults committed, double shredded ults committed for both Paint and Sleepy. Now you have the edge on SJP's
just delay the fight.
Not a lot of time left, but we talked about this earlier. We're kind of heading.
You rush the fight. You rush your ult.
Or Midtown.
That means the fight rushes too.
Situations were able to
you didn't have to rush. You had to force them to use defensive ult first.
Yeah, this is where they've at least shown the last few games. Team is stacked. They're heading down center. There is ult advantage on the side of 100 Thieves, but they're getting close. As I say, that numbers even out there, and now it's about value. Sleepy early, going to copy on the Loki, just holding on until they need.
Holy, what a fucking
incredible work there by Paint. Just gonna put the pressure right back, and Armed Dangerous out. Immediately cracking impact lands, and it is gonna be potentially reset. No, it actually did not connect with a reset there. Does get bubbled up. Vinny gonna be taking out Space as 100 Thieves is now running them back towards their spawn. Strange teleport soon to be the only option. You typically need about 20 seconds, 10 seconds to get there and walk it on through. But we'll see if that happens here, as they do need to touch.
How was Cal still alive there? The back line keeping him alive. By the way, Sleepy just now built up that copy. I think it was a bit of a visual
Bro, your
thing that was happening.
guy is keeping touch. Go help him.
Now they come back to Sleepy gets the height. Also, they go into DK. Sitting back, tries to connect the Meteor M. Unfortunately, doesn't. Also, Crystals are forced in the midst of this fight.
And we are
if you want a lamp, put one Loki on side so it helps your team. Man, I don't know what he's doing.
Sleepy gonna match that. It is going to be an insane back and forth as we do see them dancing. Terra trying to find an early pick. It's two. Gonna take out Pain right back in 100th's favor. Here comes the dunk. Try to even out the
holy dunk.
Gonna take out two. Harvey and
What a clutch dunk.
Will this stay on the side of NV?
Reset, yes.
Cal gonna take out Vinny, and they are owning this.
No, he wasted it.
Once again.
He did the again to the wrong person. The team already killed him.
How did they do it again? How did they do it again, man? Like, what the hell? Somehow, Space hit the Meteor M of a lifetime onto the backline of
that
SJP.
was clutch from Space.
And another member of 100
Let's go, Indy.
minute and 15 seconds left to go. I feel like narratives to me always seem like a bit of a meme sometimes, you know, trying to force something. But right now, I think Envy in 3 clutch scenarios have been able to do it every time.
Yeah, there's something in the water right now. I mean, you talk about how do they do it. You know what? I got to say Space. That's how landed that absolute Meteor M of a lifetime, taking out a strategist and duelist immediately right after they popped their ultimates. And here we go.
No point. There was no point in our thing. They didn't have to right there. Of course, they didn't have
at this point, just trying to build it back. 4%,
ultimate,
5% numbers are in their
but
favor. But
there's nothing happening in the fight. Why are you forcing a fight?
That they need to show
Walk a bit. Let them use their ultimates.
Also off of the thing, Remix is on.
I know you will farm again, but come on, bro.
But it's into a huge
What
amount of strategist ultimates at least.
What a
and then goes down to the Kraken impact. And
you know,
another one from Terra and another. So he just shuts out Envy right now. Who can't come back? Oh no, wait, they commit a very late dance floor. I mean, I guess they can come back with the portal if Remix didn't use it. No, he used it, so they're not going to have it.
They have a portal.
No, I think that's going to be it. 100 Thieves Terra is on an absolute masterclass on how to hit that.
And this is why you don't use your fucking ultimate when there's no fucking fight, you dumb motherfucker. Oh my god, drop NK. Just drop NK.
There from Envy on point 2, but just not enough time on the clock to get enough of a push on point 3. And that just goes
they would have easily won.
They
would have actually easily won.
Because they'll fight you, and they made it happen.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a big fan of the swapping to Strange there for Remix, you know, building up that clobbering time.
I mean, he had to TP, what do you mean?
End. There was a lot of benefit, I think, that they've learned throughout the map.
I don't know,
man. On the Winter Soldier probably gets to warm up on
that
hero. I don't know
how
much
about
practice
this.
he's getting, you know, in warm-ups before the game, because having to go from a, you know, hella, you know, his absolute just, you know, point click and aim adventure to Winter Soldier, who it's probably the same way, but you know, in terms of just like dealing frontline damage, getting those hooks, it's a bit of a different play style. So, you know, making that swap was huge for them. Maybe Cal can warm up, get ready for this next map. And then also, you know, having Delena on the Star-Lord was, I would say, somewhat advantageous at points, right? We saw moments where Delena got picked off, maybe due to, you know, either using one too many kick flips or whatever it may be. It didn't really end up mattering because the 100 Thieves still won the map, but that's at least something to chew on for Team Envy.
Yeah, I gotta show some love to Harvey back on the Loki. 53k healing, top of the charts. But not only that, I have to show Terra 22 final hits. Opposition next closest is 9. Those Kraken impacts always had value, which is something we see very consistently with his Wolverine. When he gets on a rampage, he does not stop. You always see the kill feed just listing his name and no one else, and he's not afraid to just keep the pressure on and just fully commit when he starts. And yeah, you see it there. 22 final hits is obscene at this level.
Yeah, I think NK was potentially matching him, but, you know, obviously Terra's still one of the best Winter Soldier players in the game, and we're finding out why. Now we're on map point, I believe. Am I crazy? Before we go to this highlights, before we see this next map, obviously right now 100 Thieves up 2-1.
Oh, actually crazy. Let's look at the stats again, okay? Let's look at the stats again.
Trying to ride this momentum.
Okay, there's nothing happening, okay? Nothing happening. They haven't even walked up yet. They haven't even walked up yet. Okay? I mean, they have walked up, but you know what I mean, right? As a Star Lord, you would prefer to kill backline first. Look, bro, just ults, bro, just ults.
Right after they pop their ultimate.
He's not even sure if they used Loki lamps or not. Actually, they definitely had Loki lamps because there was no fight, so he definitely never used it.
Taking out a strategist and duelist immediately right after they pop their ultimates, and here we go again as they are in the sky.
I can't, bro.
NK gonna take out the Lena as the map does break down, not allowing that cover to happen. At this point, just trying to build it back. 4%, 5% numbers.
I mean, they used Star-Lord ult to counter it, which was actually more dumb. But holy shit, bro.
But they just gotta take this space.
And there was one more.
Is re-owning this.
Cal to honest.
The first point, Cal gonna get
Getting picked early.
See, nothing's happening.
On Doctor Strange.
Wait, nothing's happening.
Yeah, I mean, you don't hear
nothing's
about
happening.
Thieves running the triple Vanguard comp, right? Like that was always
Bro, use Star-Lord ult to damage tanks.
the Sentinel play. It was something we all made, we made jokes about. But this might have been those secrets that we talked about. Not when you get picked early, why not get back here and start? They may not be a teleport comp, or they're utilizing it all the time. But when you get picked early, why not get back here and start the fight again and just buy it?
Okay, actually here it's fine.
Even if you lose the first point, Cal,
It was not this one, I guess.
turn back hard, gonna escape there, trying to find another punch. Bang!
It was around the
No
second
connection
point.
Yet, and it looks like Envy.
Picked earlier. I don't think.
Spinning to win, great focus here by TTK.
There was someone
on the back line. Holy moly! Oh, Paint spinning to win, great focus here by TTK. Trying to get a pick on the back line. Holy moly! Oh, Paint did fall.
Yo. What's up? What the fuck?
Focus here by TTK. Trying to get a pick on the back line. Holy moly! Oh, Paint did fall, but the positioning was insane. Back and forth, the Lena gonna take out NK as Terra takes out Remix. Numbers are back on the side of 100 Thieves.
I don't know how Space lived. His Predator Assault's gonna be time left, but we talked Team Envy in these clutch
Going to copy on the Loki, just holding on until they need. Out. Immediately Kraken impact lands, and it is going to be potentially reset. No, it actually did not connect with a reset there. Spawn there and walk it on.
I think it was a bit of a visual. So they go into DK, sitting back.
I think it was this one.
Now they come back to
See again. Look where they are. Okay, I understand it's could be a not sure about this because I think he wanted to just pressure them. But holy shit, bro, look at where they are. They only have tanks here. I think one healer is here. DPS here. Other healer here.
One, now they come back to
no one here. Okay. But
they go into DK.
and look at this Loki. This guy.
Previous one. Now
I think he tried to put it here and shift. I mean, he was first trying to put here and shift, but then somehow he went there to shift. I don't know why.
Sitting back
for Cal maybe, but he could have put shift there and heal Cal because Cal was just like 10 HP, like only minus 10 HP, not like he was 10 HP or 1 HP something. Oh, this pool was insane. This is actually insane, bro. How the fuck do you throw that? Bro, I can have a better accuracy on Star-Lord. I wouldn't lie. I will definitely have more accuracy on Star-Lord.
Invitational as we head towards game 4 of 100 Thieves versus Envy, and these upper bracket games have already been insane.
Yeah, they have. I mean, I don't know. I wonder what the second game is going to be in store for us today. It feels like it's like everything's been flipped on its head today, man. Like, are we in Australia? Like, I thought that region already played their Invitational. Like, what's going on over here? Like, somehow 100 Thieves having an incredibly close-up matchup with the with Envy. And then what we talked about earlier, now that we're in the upper bracket, the lower bracket happened earlier with Shroud X losing to Shikigami. Every time I bring it up, I'm sorry to people that are fans of Shroud X, because that team, you know, out of the tournament now, unfortunately, is definitely huge. And same thing for Rad Esports. You know, they're going to have to come back better, stronger for MRC, which I know they definitely can. But in this case, like we said, it is a surprise, I think, so far with how good of a fight Envy is putting up against the 100th team.
Yeah, I'm wondering to myself, is there something to the thought that you have a safety net behind you, right? This isn't, I feel like the nerves maybe aren't taking as much of a driver's seat because